As long as I get rejected 99 times by the school beauty, I can get 10 million after being rejected for the 98th time. I happily cleaned all the toilets in the school. Everyone thought I was stimulated and stupid. And they all felt sorry for me, but they didn't know that as long as I was rejected by the school beauty once more, I would get 10 million. At this time, I walked to the downstairs of the girls' dormitory without hesitation, knelt on one knee and shouted loudly, "Lin Q, I like you. Be my girlfriend." After hearing this, Lin Q in the dormitory pursed her lips. Not knowing what she was thinking, her roommate next to her persuaded her. "If I were you, you would just agree it. It's been 3 months. From summer to winter. Yes, what a passionate boy. If it were me, I would have fallen for him 8 or 10 times. Lin Q remained silent, but just looked down slightly. In fact, she had already been moved. At first, she thought I would be like other suitors, and would back off as soon as I said something cold to her. But soon she found that I was different from others. No matter what she said, no matter how sharp and cold her words were, I would just laugh it off and then confess again the next day. Once, twice, 3 times until today, a total of 99 times. No matter it is windy or rainy, I will do this without fail. Confessing on time at 6 p.m. every day, but I don't know why. From the initial annoyance to now, she feels that her feelings for me have subtly increased a lot. Sometimes she wants to rush down and agree, but she is so reserved that she can't say it out loud. At this time, the girlfriend next to her reminded, "Girls can't be so reserved. Being reserved will become a stumbling block to human reproduction." Lin Q glared at her best, i.e., hesitated for a moment, and suddenly made up her mind. This is the last time. And next time is the 100th confession. As long as he comes, I will agree to him. At this time, everyone downstairs had dispersed, and I returned to the dormitory suddenly. My cell phone dinged. I opened it and saw that it was a bank account arrival message. I smiled. I persisted in confessing my love for 99 days regardless of weather conditions, and it was rewarded. To me, the school beauty Lin Q is like a fairy in the sky, and I am just an ordinary mortal. I never thought that my confession would be successful. Now my mission has been completed. I hurriedly transferred the money to my mother because my father was seriously ill and was waiting for money for surgery, and I sent a text message to inform my mother and went to bed. That afternoon, my roommates came back and encouraged me. They said, "We will go with you to complete the mission today. After all, this mission is of commemorative value. Let us give you some encouragement." I wondered, what mission? Confess to Lin Q? Isn't this your daily task? Why don't you clock in today? This is the 100th time. Don't worry, we have prepared the gift for you. It's a 3-layer cake. They paid the cake shop to make it. After that, a cake was placed on the table. The cream on it showed a few big words, "Confession for the 100th time. Hurry up, let us go out for a drink after we're done." Several people nodded and said it was no problem. I shook my head, picked up the knife and fork, cut a piece of cake and stuffed it into my mouth. Confession, what the hell? I won't go. After the words fell, several people looked at each other in shock. Damn, what did Lao Xiao just say? I don't think I heard it clearly. Did I hear it right? He said he would not confess his love. The 3 people in the dormitory were stunned, and then exclaimed, "Lao Xiao, you finally came to your senses. I should have given up long ago. The world is so big and there are so many girls, why bother hanging on a tree?" Although it's a little regretful that I didn't see Lao Xia and the campus beauty of Ling University together, I'm still happy. Let us not go home until we are drunk tonight. I raised my head and said, "That's enough." Aren't we happy for you? Yes, you just lost someone who didn't love you, but she lost someone who loved her the most. This is a sure win. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I pointed at the computer and asked whoever cheated the most tonight to pay the bill. At this time, many people passing by the girls' dormitory would glance at the gate. Everyone was expecting that figure to appear. Everyone was watching and discussing why the person who confessed his love every day at the girls' dormitory had not arrived today. Do you think Xiao Yang will be discouraged and not come? How could he have persisted for 99 times? It is so difficult to make an even number. Wait a little longer. Obviously, there will be a lot more people this time than in the past. After all, it is the 100th time. Many people want to witness it with their own eyes. At this moment, Lin Q had already changed into a pink long skirt in the female dormitory. She shook it a few times and said with some hesitation, "Is this too tender? Will Xiao Yang not like it? My Suha University campus beauty. You have changed 7 or 8 sets of clothes. Don't worry. He likes you as a person, not your clothes." Lin Q was shy. "You are right. This way, when he comes, we will help you find out what kind of clothes he likes, and then you can wear that when he goes out. He will definitely be very happy, and the decision will be made happily." Suddenly Lin Qiyu was stunned. "What time is it now?" "It's 6:30. She glanced out the window and frowned. "How come it's 6:30 and I haven't heard his voice yet?" "Yes, It's already 6:30, why hasn't Xiaoyang come yet? He usually arrives at 6 o'clock, could something have delayed him? Or maybe the gift he prepared is special and needs some time to prepare. Lin Qiu frowned and said worriedly, could something have happened? My eldest daughter, what could possibly happen to her? This is at school, and they haven't even been together yet. Why are you so nervous? Lin Qiu's face flushed. In fact, I may have liked Xiao Zhang for a long time, maybe his perseverance touched me. But I felt that he seemed different from other boys. So I decided to try to be with him, at least to live up to her confessions so many times. Hearing Lin Qiu's words, everyone showed envy. She confessed her love 99 times regardless of the weather. Who wouldn't be envious if a boy confessed his love to her 30 times? No, 20 times, she would definitely have fallen for him. As time passed, there were fewer and fewer people downstairs, but the boy never showed up. Several people in the girls' dormitory were a little surprised. Xiaoyang wouldn't not come, right? He was always on time. Lin Qiu was a little anxious, but she was still calm. He would definitely come. But in reality, they were extremely panicked. It was already 7:30, more than an hour later than usual. They finally became impatient and showed worried expressions. But Xiaoyang not come? Lin Qiu couldn't believe that Xiaoyang didn't come. And said firmly, how is it possible? Something must have happened. Maybe he forgot and fell asleep. She suddenly stood up and said excitedly, it's impossible, how could he do such an important thing? The three people in the dormitory looked at each other in surprise. It was the first time they saw Lin Qiu like this. Usually, Lin Qiu looked like a lady from a noble family. No matter what happened, she would remain calm even if the world was collapsing. How could she lose control of her emotions? Lin Qiu also realized that he had lost his composure. He sat back in his seat, took a long breath, and muttered to himself. No, he will definitely come. Seeing Lin Qiu's distraught look, her best yes quickly suggested calling Xiaoyang to ask. Yes, let's call and ask, but we don't have Xiaoyang's phone number. Can I find a student in their department and ask if I can get Xiaoyang's contact information? It took more than 10 minutes for everyone to finally find Xiaoyang's contact information. At this moment, everyone in the dormitory was nervous and focused on the phone that made the call. However, no one answered the call this time. Lin Qiu's expected expression gradually dimmed, and she sat back in her seat again in despair. Her pink dress still looked charming, but her face was extremely gloomy. I can't get through. So, something must have happened. Maybe he's not in school. Maybe he's dealing with some urgent matter. I heard his father is seriously ill and is in the hospital, waiting for money for surgery. Maybe he's in the hospital right now. Yes, it's very likely this seems to be true. I have heard about it too. When Lin Qiu heard this, her expression improved slightly. If he didn't come because of his father's matter, then it's understandable. Give him another chance. At this moment, a girl's voice suddenly rose. I found the phone number of Xiaoyang's roommate. I'll call him and ask him. Hurry up, call and ask if Xiaoyang is not in school. Lin Qiu's heart was tied up again. Hello. The person who answered the phone was Li Ji. Hello, is this Li Ji from the Department of Economics? Yes, it's me. Excuse me, is Xiaoyang from your dormitory here? Oh, you're looking for Lao Xiaohe? S in the dormitory. What's wrong? When the voice fell, everyone was stunned. Exist. In the dormitory. Oh shit. You are in the dormitory. Why don't you come and confess your feelings? Do you know how long we have been waiting? At this time, Lin Qiu couldn't help it anymore, so she snatched her friend's phone and asked hurriedly. What is he doing? Is there something urgent at home that needs to be dealt with? No, we are playing games with a few friends. Do you have anything else to say? If not, hang up first. We are going to play in a group. Fight in a group. Lin Qiu was confused. Everyone else was also dumbfounded. Li Ji's words really caught them off guard. They have always thought that Xiaoyang might have been delayed by some urgent matter. So it is understandable that he did not come here. But why should we play games in the dormitory? This is the 100th time I've confessed my love to you. How can I delay such an important matter because of playing games? Gradually, except for Lin Qiu, everyone had an angry look on their face. How could he do this? That's right, how can he just not come? Shuoi is ready to agree to it. This is too much. How can he do this? Let's go find him. Why does he do this to our Shuoi? Everyone was filled with indignation, but as soon as the words fell, a figure flew away with a whoosh. If they were shocked by the emotions Lin Qiu had shown before, now their jaws were about to drop to the ground. Is this stimulated? The crowd downstairs of the girls' dormitory was gradually dispersing. It seems that Xiaoyang is really not coming. What a shame. This is the 100th time I confess my love for you. It's unprecedented, but I can't see it with my own eyes. Senior, can you return the money I bet onto you? Return? What are you returning? This is the 100th time you've confessed your love for me. Xiaoyang hasn't implemented it yet, and the gambling hasn't even started yet. You actually want to take the money back? Do you know that you've made up your mind? Everyone was talking about it, and at this moment, a figure flashed past them. Who is running so fast? That seems to be Lin Qiu. No way. But after a while, everyone was shocked. It's Lin Qiu. It was really Lin Qiu. She was anxious. Fuck, is he going to look for Xiaoyang? It's really possible. Go, hurry up and catch up. Oh my god, this is big news. Xiao Feiran is actually doing this for a man who failed in his confession. The direction she's heading in really seems to be the male dormitory building of the economics department. It's so terrifying, the principal won't be tempted. Indeed, it's very possible after all, he has confessed his love 99 times. Even if he is a stone, it's time to warm it up. Follow me. The people waiting for the confession followed Lin Qiu, who was running. Senior, what about the money? Why are you in such a hurry? The situation has changed now. It seems like I won't be able to see the 100th confession. So you guys should keep the money with me. The game has changed now. Let's do the opposite. If he succeeds, we'll pay him 1-to-1. If he fails, we'll pay him 100-to-1. How about that? The senior laughed. How could it not work? If a girl chases a boy, it's easy. What's more, it was Xiaoyang who made the first move. Hey, I don't care about that. Just place your bets. What do you want to buy? Of course it will work. We can use this money to pressure them. I'll do it too. I just don't believe it. If a bicycle turns into a motorcycle, there's no way I can beat him. The junior snorted coldly. He has a bright future. I like people with this personality. He can achieve great things with a small investment. He will definitely be a big shot in society in the future. At the same time, everyone stopped. We're at the boys' dormitory. Everyone looked towards the door of the boys' dormitory. In the past, such things happened in front of the girls' dormitory. But who would have thought that a girl would block the door of the boys' dormitory? It is still the #1 school in their University of Finance and Economics. At this moment, Lin Qiu was gasping for air. This is Xiaoyang's dormitory building. She looked at the crowd, a trace of confusion flashed across her face, and she didn't know how to start. How embarrassing. But why could he do such a shameful thing 99 times? Lin Qiu's face flushed, and it wasn't clear whether it was because of running or because of embarrassment. She let out a long sigh, as if she had made some very important decision. It's so terrifying. Is the school planning to confess to Xiaoyang? It's very possible. Look at her attire. She must have dressed up carefully. Maybe she plans to agree to Xiaoyang's request today. Oh my god, big news. For a moment, many people held their mobile phones and pointed them at Lin Qiu, who was standing at the gate, with an excited look on their faces as if they were eating melons. And at this time, in Xiaoyang's dormitory, Dad, open, here I come. Lao Xiao, hurry up and pick it up. I got 4 big ones. Here it comes. Sorry, it hurts. As a gay. Damn it, Lao Xiao, you stole 4 of my pentakills. There were bursts of noise in the dormitory. With the vigory sound of the base exploding, several people were extremely excited. Xiaoyang brushed his hair off his forehead and sighed. If you want to die, it's as easy as pie. Just follow the wind and watch out for what's behind you. It seems that I don't need to treat you today, Lao Li. Remember to bring enough money. What the hell? I was doing fine. But then someone called me out of nowhere and said they were looking for you. No, I blame you for this victory. Looking for me? Xiaoyang was stunned. When I opened my phone again, I saw more than a dozen missed calls. It seems that I was too engrossed in playing the game. And these beasts were roaring louder than each other. So I didn't hear the phone ringing at all. However, seeing that it was an unfamiliar call, Xiaoyang didn't take it too seriously. By the way, what do you want from me? I don't know. The person didn't say anything, but it shouldn't be urgent. It was a woman, and her voice seemed familiar. A female? Xiaoyang was stunned for a moment and shook his head, thinking that it should be nothing. Wait, a female? Isn't it? Li Ji took a breath. I didn't notice it before. But now that I think about it, it seems to be Colonel Lin's voice. What, Colonel Lin? Everyone looked at Li Ji. Only Xiaoyang had a calm expression. How is that possible? You must have heard it wrong. Xiaoyang didn't care too much. That's not right. It might really be Lin Qiu. No way. Everyone looked at each other. And at this moment, a boy pushed the door open. Awesome. Xiaoyang, Lin Qiu is looking for you downstairs in the dormitory. Colonel Lin, oh my god. What? The dormitory suddenly became quiet. Li Ji and his companions looked at each other, fearing that they had heard wrongly. Just now, it couldn't really be the school calling. Old Yang, say it again. It's Lin Qiu. Colonel Lin is here to see old Xiao? Li Ji patted the boy who came in and asked. That's right. It's Lin Qiu. You are not kidding us. Really? Lin Qiu is downstairs right now if you don't believe me. Go check it out, she asked, just waiting for Xiaoyang to come downstairs. Fuck. Lin Qiu came to the boys' dormitory to find Lao Xiao. Turtle. Several people looked at Xiaoyang excitedly. Old Xiao, your spring is here, hurry up and pack up. No, you just got up and can't you wash your hair? I'm going to beat you up. Old Xiao, you are such a loser. Don't you know how to take a shower, you reek of alcohol? Everyone immediately became busy, and Li Ji took out the precious perfume that he had collected for many years and prepared to spray it on Xiaoyang. Damn it, Lin Qiu, the top school of finance, said she was aloof. But now she is actively looking for Lao Xiao. Is this love? Do I love you? Xiaoyang panicked. Yes, I was really panicking. He had indeed confessed to Lin Qiu so many times. But when it came to feelings, it seems like I don't have any feelings for Lin Qiu. He did this just to complete the system's task and get the surgery fee for his father. Xiaoyang is his own views on love, and he is not the kind of person who is obsessed with sex. To him, Lin Qiu is just a little prettier and better looking. When he first completed this task, he had no illusion that this top financial university would take a liking to him. What a joke! I was born in the countryside and my family was not well off. Secondly, he is not very handsome, just decent and a little bit handsome. So he actually felt no burden in confessing his feelings. Besides, isn't Lin Qiu famous for being aloof, let alone confessing her love? I heard that many people drove luxury cars to deliver fresh food, chartered drones to release cigarettes, and other various confession methods did not make her heart move. Why should I? Just because of the 99 gifts that were not given away. By the way, not only was the gift not given away, but Li Ji also used it to buy another girl. So why is that? What an international joke. He never thought about the success of his confession. After all, this is totally impossible. But now, it seems. Never mind. Let's go down and take a look. Xiaoyang stretched out his hand and blocked Li Ji's perfume from entering. Just go down like this. What else? Xiaoyang glanced at them. No, Lao Xiao, I think something is wrong with you. Is this because happiness turns to sorrow or something else? Why don't you seem happy at all? Who said that? I'm happy. Very happy. Xiaoyang forced a smile. But having a girlfriend from school seems pretty good. Xiaoyang rubbed his eyebrows and didn't dress up deliberately. He just fiddled with his head with his hands to prevent his hairstyle from looking so sloppy. At this time, downstairs, Lin Qiu's girlfriends all looked towards the door. And she herself blushed greatly. She had just mustered up the courage to call out Xiaoyang. But her voice soon dropped because there were still too many people. And many of them had already picked up their phones to take pictures. She really couldn't bring herself to do this. She really couldn't imagine how Xiaoyang could do this every day. Why haven't you come down after so long? My best friend said angrily. That's right, our Shuoi is from a university of finance after all. Xiaoyang is really too disrespectful to her. He might be dressing up. Lin Qiu's voice was as soft as a mosquito. Several girlfriends were immediately shocked. My goodness, you're not even together yet and you're already speaking up for Xiaoyang? Just then, finally, a figure appeared in the stairwell. Lin Qiu's brows gradually relaxed. Xiaoyang's mouth twitched. With such a big fuss, he's not really here to confess his love, is he? Bite. Ask release Lin Qiu's confession. Option 1. Accept the confession and receive a reward of 1 million yuan. Option 2. Reject the confession, reward, 1 rejuvenating pill. Note: the God-restoring pill can cure all diseases. A clear voice rose in Xiaoyang's mind, which also made him stunned for a moment. Task: Colonel Lin actually came to confess his love to me. That's the option. Xiaoyang took a breath of cold air. 1 million plus the fragrant school is indeed very fragrant. But the magic pill. The corners of his mouth rose slightly. It seemed that his father's illness could be cured. His father was seriously ill at home. But he knew that money could only help relieve his illness. And it was a temporary solution, not a cure. No matter how much medicine he took, he would not be able to recover in this option. I can't help but be moved. Xiaoyang walked out of the dormitory building. Behind him, several roommates were already stunned. Colonel Lin, you really are here. Xiaoyang looked at the extremely beautiful woman in front of him and was deeply moved for a moment. He really never thought things would turn out like this. But how can I refuse? In any case, the money obtained now, or the elixir of life that will be obtained soon, are all taken from this beauty. If I reject her directly, wouldn't that be a bad thing? After all, she is my father's savior. At this time, Lin Qiu's voice also sounded softly. Xiaoyang, you are here. Lin Qiu looked extremely well behaved. And her shy look was truly adorable. As for the people around, they felt that their 3 perspectives were completely destroyed. The cool schoolgirl Lin Qiu. I ain't cold. It's so cold for a tall guy. What does this resentful little girl's attitude mean? I am heartbroken. A group of boys let out wails. When Lin Qiyu looked at the handsome boy in front of her, all her previous thoughts had long disappeared. I don't know if I'm leaning on his shoulder. Are you comfortable? Xiaoyang looked at Lin Qiyu, who looked like a little woman in front of him, and was a little dazed for a moment. It was extremely quiet all around. There were a lot of people, but no one started to make a fuss or speak at this time. Everyone's attention was focused on Xiaoyang and the other two. Why are you here? Is there something wrong? Xiaoyang took a deep breath and calmed his violently beating heart. To be honest, his view on love is based on feelings, and he actually has no feelings for Lin Qiyu. But today's Lin Qiyu was really too attractive. Wearing a pink long dress and attractively dressed, she was undoubtedly more beautiful than any girl Xiaoyang had ever seen. Even the big stars on the screen could not compare to the shy Lin Qiyu at this moment. Xiaoyang suddenly felt it. I seemed to be a little moved. Under the dim light, Lin Qiyu was also looking at Xiaoyang at this moment. Xiaoyang is not handsome in the popular sense, he looks delicate, angular and a bit masculine. I don't know if it's because a lover's eyes see beauty in everything, but Lin Qiyu just thinks Xiaoyang is very good looking. It was really fascinating. She was dazed for a moment and had forgotten what she was going to say. Oh, my god, why does she look so humble, whispered the best friend beside her. Damn it, it was Xiaoyang who was chasing Xiaoyu. Why does the situation seem to be reversed now? No, this won't work. The best friend patted Lin Qiyu, then walked up and glared at Xiaoyang. Xiaoyang, what are you doing? Why didn't you come and confess your feelings to Xiaoyu today? The sudden voice immediately brought the two back to their senses. The ambiguous atmosphere also faded. Xiaoyang let out a long sigh. Damn, women are such scary creatures. It was a close call. I almost fell into it. If I agree to this, where can I get the elixir of life? Before Xiaoyang could say anything, Lin Qiyu reacted. Her complexion has returned to normal, and she didn't know why she looked like that just now. But now, she also wanted to know why Xiaoyang didn't come to confess his feelings today. Is it because of playing games in the dormitory? Why, playing games is more important than yourself. She let out a long sigh. Her face turned a lot colder. She stretched out her hand to pull her best friend back a little. Then she said coldly, Xiaoyang, have you given up? Xiaoyang looked at the girl in front of him and finally felt relieved. I must have seen it wrong. This is what a cool school is. I must have been hallucinating. This way, there won't be so much to do, and completing this system task will be even less of a burden. After thinking this through, Xiaoyang nodded, facing the other party's burning gaze, and said, yes, I give up. This answer instantly brought peace to the surroundings. Everyone looked at Xiaoyang in confusion. They didn't understand why Xiaoyang, who was about to succeed, suddenly gave up. If Lin Qiyu had not come to the dormitory building to block Xiaoyang today, he would have just given up. But now, everyone is here. Even a fool can see that Lin Qiyu is also interested in Xiaoyang. Not to mention that little woman's attitude just now. As long as Xiaoyang confesses again now, Lin Qiyu will definitely agree. But what does it mean now? Just give up when you say so. Just one sentence, I like you. That's it. Maybe if I go out and turn right now, I can book a room. You actually said you gave up? The atmosphere around them turned cold. Xiaoyang's roommates were also confused, and Lin Qiyu's group of girlfriends were also dumbfounded. Why, Xiaoyang, do you know that if you confess your feelings once more, Xiaoyu will answer? Before she finished her words, Lin Qiyu had already pulled her best friend behind her. Her face darkened and turned pale. The previous blush on her cheeks also disappeared quietly. Why? Was there any meaning in your confession so many times? Lin Qiyu tried to calm her rapid breathing and said with pursed lips. Xiaoyang looked at Lin Qiyu and whispered, do you think my confession so many times before was meaningless? Of course it's meaningless if you give up now. Seeing Xiaoyang's look, Lin Qiyu also became anxious. Really? So that's how it is? Xiaoyang suddenly laughed. This smile also stunned everyone around him. Because this smile is really weird. What is this, a miserable smile? Or is it a self-deprecating laugh? Lin Qiyu was also stunned. What does this mean? Suddenly Xiaoyang lowered his head and said softly, no, it makes sense. Because I like you, I confess. Whether it's the first time or the 99th time, it's my explanation to myself. From the first moment I saw you, I fell deeply in love with you, but I have no experience. You are the first girl I like, so this is the only simple and direct way to confess my love to you. I don't know what you like, cake, chocolate, clothes. So I give a different gift every day. You've been rejecting me since the first time. Whether it's a cold tone or a disgusted expression, I don't care. I want to impress you and capture your heart through confession after confession. Until yesterday, you still didn't take it from me. You didn't promise me. I'm sorry, I didn't know that for you. Giving up now means that the previous 99 times were meaningless. It's just that, to me, those 99 consecutive confessions were my sincere words, my beautiful expectations for my first love, and my explanation to my own first love. Maybe it means nothing to you, but to me, it is my account of my first love. 99 confessions are my account of my first love. And not confessing for the 100th time is my explanation to myself. Goodbye. Mine. First love. Xiao Yang's extremely magnetic voice came out from his throat and fell into everyone's ears. Especially the last 6 words. Goodbye, my first love. Xiao Yang admires himself. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. With a gloomy look, he pulled his confused roommate behind him. Let's go. Oh. Walk. Li Ji and his companions were dragged away by Xiao Yang in a daze. They were really shocked by Xiao Yang's words. That's awesome. That's right, Xiao Yang said contentedly. The expression on his face had returned to normal and was no longer as sad as before. Just then, a voice came from behind. Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang was stunned for a moment. Then quickly frowned and acted like he was extremely sad. What's wrong? Where are you going? Drink. Xiao Yang didn't say anything. But Li Ji responded. Drink less, it's not good for your health. Lin Qiyu whispered. Xiao Yang was stunned and nodded. This scene naturally caught the eyes of the onlookers. Everyone looked at each other. So what is this? Senior. What's this? Success or failure? Of course it didn't work. No, look, Colonel Lin just came over and showed concern for Xiao Yang. But it still didn't work out, the two of them didn't become boyfriend and girlfriend. Then senior, why don't you just let it go and return the money to me? Refund the money? What money do you want to refund? Do you understand what Yu Pantan GSHA means? Xiao Yang left. Lin Qiu also went back. Everyone dispersed, leaving only the posts on the school forum. Xiao Yang and Lin Qiu. Did it succeed or not? Some say it worked. Some say it didn't. Tonight's campus forum is destined to be bloody. Countless live videos have also been posted on the forum. As for the two protagonists at this moment, one was already enjoying a hearty meal at the barbecue stall, while the other returned to the dormitory in a depressed mood. At this time, Lin Qiyu was just slumped in front of the chair. Suddenly she had an impulse to turn on her computer and open the school forum. Although she had never been to the school forum, she knew that it recorded all of Xiao Yang's confessions during this period. Yes, it was very detailed. What gifts were bought and what was said that day were all recorded in a pinned post. She browsed slowly. Day 1, Xiao Yang brought milk tea because he heard that one should give milk tea to a girl when confessing his love to her. The next day, chocolates were given. Day 36, it was pouring rain. Xiao Yang didn't bring an umbrella and got wet at first. Later, the dormitory manager couldn't stand it anymore and got him an umbrella. In addition to the text, there are also videos that record everything. She clicked on the video and saw Xiao Yang holding a crystal ball in the rain. Inside the crystal ball was a dolphin and full of stars. She read them one by one until the 99th day. Suddenly, her eyes turned red and tears rolled down from the corners of her eyes. She was used to rejecting others, and it wasn't just Xiao Yang. In fact, there has never been a shortage of people confessing their love to her since she was a child. But the only one who could persist like this is Xiao Yang. But even so, she gradually got used to rejecting Xiao Yang's persistence. This did not mean that she hated Xiao Yang, on the contrary. She could not help but accept Xiao Yang's confession many times. Only, later, she began to look forward to Xiao Yang's confession. Every day at 6 o'clock, she would take off her headphones and listen to Xiao Yang's confession silently in front of the window. I don't know when this became her habit. Maybe I should have. Lin Qiyu rubbed her red eyes and continued to read the forum posts. Confessing for 99 times was my explanation to my first love. And not confessing for the 100th time was my explanation to myself. This is so touching. I used to think Xiao Yang was just a bootlicker. But this sentence really elevates it. How could this be something a bootlicker would say? I've decided. I'm going to confess to my first love tomorrow too. Oh my god, why do I feel that Xiao Yang is so handsome? Obviously, the Ape I like is much whiter and younger than him. But why can't I take my eyes off Xiao Yang? Sister upstairs. You're not the only one who feels this way. Pausing the forum, Lin Qiyu opened Xiao Yang's video again. Yes, he is really good looking. But did he really give up? Thinking of this, Lin Qiyu felt a little disappointed. She really wanted to hear the familiar confession at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Perhaps it's just as he said, not confessing for the 100th time is an explanation to himself. Because he is not a bootlicker. But he likes me, why doesn't he confess? For a moment, Lin Qiyu was extremely flustered without the 100th confession. How could she be with Xiao Yang? Continue browsing the forum. This is one of the most talked about posts. What on earth does Xiao Yang mean by this? Logically speaking, he should have just made it to the final stage. So why did he just give up? Anyone with a discerning eye can see that Colonel Lin has been moved. Otherwise, why would he come to confront Xiao Yang? Can't he insist one more time? Yeah, can't you hold on one more time? This is also what Lin Qiyu wanted to ask. At this moment, a comment fell into her eyes. You don't understand. Love can be sincere, but it can't be humble. Xiao Yang has dignity. Not having a 100th confession is his dignity. Is that so? Lin Qiyu's expression darkened. So, I will never be able to wait for Xiao Yang's 100th confession. At this moment, the girlfriends around her also gathered around. Seeing the distraught Lin Qiyu, they naturally felt a little bit sorry for her. Damn it, what do you mean by not confessing for the 100th time as an explanation to myself? Shuoi has already lost face like this, what else does he want? That's right if you ask me, just ignore him. Some boys are like this. If you give them a little sweetness, they will become more and more demanding. Just leave him alone for 2 days, maybe he will come for the 200th time. Not to mention the 100th time. After the words fell, Lin Qiyu glared at her best, i.e., Xiao Yang is not that kind of person. They naturally knew that Xiao Yang was not that kind of person. Otherwise he would not have persisted for so long. Was this an attempt to enlighten Lin Qiyu? Seeing this, they could only rub Lin Qiyu and said helplessly, "Then what do you say we should do?" Lin Qiyu hesitated. Suddenly she stood up, her eyes determined, as if she had made some important decision. What? Everyone was stunned, only to see Lin Qiyu opening her best friend's locker. Inside was a small microwave. What are you doing? Cooking so late? Every dormitory has some banned electrical appliances hidden. There is also one in Lin Qiyu's dormitory. They use it to secretly order hot pot when they have nothing to do. But at this moment, does Shuoi still have the mood to eat hot pot? Soon, they suddenly realized it. Some girls are like this. If they are in a bad mood, they will eat and drink a lot. And maybe they will feel better. Yes, I guess Shuoi is the same. Come here, let me help you, Shuoi. I have a bag of your favorite enoki mushrooms. I'm going to borrow some lettuce from the vegetable garden that the dorm manager is growing in the back. I'll go to the cafeteria and get you some beef rolls. Looking at the actions of her best friends, Lin Qiyu was stunned. What are you doing? Don't you want to eat hot pot? No, I'm planning to cook some hangover soup when Xiao Yang and the others come back after drinking. I'll bring it to him and confess my feelings to him at the same time. Everyone was stunned. He looked at Lin Qiyu with a puzzled look. What are you doing? You are the principal, the cool principal. There's nothing wrong with making a sobering soup and giving it to Xiao Yang. Are you okay? That bastard Xiao Yang, he didn't come to comfort you when you were so sad, but instead ran off to eat skewers and drink happily. And you even made him some hangover soup? That's right. Why? Suddenly, Lin Qiyu raised her head and whispered. Why did Xiao Yang go drinking? Do you need a reason to drink? Isn't it a daily routine for these guys to eat skewers? Lin Qiyu shook her head and said, Xiao Yang doesn't look right today. He didn't wash his hair, and his clothes are still the same as yesterday. I can even smell alcohol on him. When I was browsing the forum just now, I saw yesterday's post that someone took a video. Xiao Yang also went out to drink yesterday and got very drunk. He was given a serious warning by the dormitory auntie. And he even cried. I think he went drinking because of me. Lin Qiyu bit her lip and said softly. Oh shit. Several people immediately understood. Yes, they also smelled alcohol on Xiao Yang just now. And judging from his state, he looked very decadent. Because the confession failed, I got drunk and cried. This. Send me some hangover soup, what's wrong? I support you. Several girlfriends figured out the key and immediately expressed their support. But do you know how to make hangover soup? I don't know. They do. Several people's faces darkened. Is this okay? I hope Xiao Yang won't be poisoned to death by the hangover soup just as spring is about to arrive. At this time, the barbecue stall. Xiao Yang didn't know what happened next. He didn't plan to drink much today. The main reason he got drunk yesterday was because of his father's illness. So he wanted to drown his sorrows in alcohol. But today, this no longer happens. But the elixir that can cure all diseases. Xiao Yang felt relieved he would take a leave tomorrow and go back to his hometown to cure his father's illness. Here, the other 3 brothers in the dormitory were also drinking happily. To be honest, Lao Xiao was really awesome today. The school chased him. A road never imagined before. At Lao Xiao, you really don't plan to confess again. People have hinted so clearly it's obvious that you are just one step away from taking Colonel Lin home. In my opinion, what's the point of explaining yourself? You should be more realistic. That Lin Qiu is the dream of many students from the University of Finance and Economics. Yeah, what a pity, Xiao Yang just smiled. Compared to my father's illness, this is obviously nothing. Etc. Why doesn't the system prompt me to complete the task? Only then did Xiao Yang remember the important matter. Didn't I reject Xiao's confession? Why wasn't the mission completed? He was a little confused. Calling up the system in his mind, Xiao Yang frowned after learning that the mission was indeed not completed. Fuck. She didn't confess to me today. Xiaoyang felt his head swelling. Yes, Lin Qiyu came here today simply to ask me why I didn't confess my feelings. My long speech also completely explained why I gave up confessing my feelings. But in fact, Lin Qiyu never confessed to me at all. Yes, I didn't even say like you. That's all in vain. So, will Lin Qiyu come to confess her feelings? If she doesn't, what will happen to her father's illness? You can't just hint to others to let her confess her feelings and then reject them harshly. This is too cruel. Shrimp and pork heart. Things seem. It's getting tricky. Forget it, I'll have to more skewers and then go back. Let's talk about it later. At this time, Xiaoyang didn't know that the campus forum had already exploded. Colonel Lin is blocking the door of Xiaoyang's dormitory. Is he planning to squirt Weiss? Oh my god, I caught up. Colonel Lin appeared again in the male dormitory building of the economics department. I've fallen out of love again. Again. I am so envious that I am twitching. Colonel Lin is so beautiful under the moonlight. Don't ask me why I'm sad. Because I'm broken, so the sadness is doubled. At this moment, in the male dormitory building of the economics department, everyone leaned down from the window at the same time. Not only that, there was a huge crowd of people, and many boys also gathered around. I don't believe it, this can't be real, I'm dreaming. Yes, it's a dream, haha, no one is worthy of Lin Qiyu. Not even Xiaoyang. On the other side, Lin Qiyu held a thermos cup in her hand, and a rich aroma emanated from the hot air. She looked into the distance from time to time, looking a little nervous. Why haven't you come back yet? Xiaoyu, if you keep looking like this, you'll become a husband-waiting rock. Lin Qiyu, you've changed, you weren't like this before. How about this, let me help you taste the soup first. After all, this is your first time making it. It won't be good if it doesn't suit Xiaoyang's taste. No, Lin Qiyu resolutely refused, and then murmured. The ingredients are fresh, and the steps are all according to the recipe in Baidu. There shouldn't be any problem. Speaking of this, she couldn't help but want to try it. What if Xiaoyang doesn't like it? But she quickly held back. If she drank the soup here, wouldn't that be? Did you kiss indirectly? Thinking of this, her face had already turned red. Seeing Lin Qiyu's appearance, several of her best friends had already sighed and held their foreheads. Oh my god, is this still Colonel Lin? At this moment, someone shouted, Xiaoyang is back. Everyone looked at the only way back to the dormitory. And sure enough, they saw a few figures wandering around. Obviously Xiaoyang and his companions. What the hell? What's going on? The dark crowd really scared Xiaoyang. This is so. Are you all looking for me? Li Ji, who was drunk, was frightened and broke into a cold sweat at this moment. What are these people doing? They seem to be coming for us. They can't be Lin Qiyu's suitors after all. The situation has reversed now, and the principal has come to block the door himself. Who knows, they might be so angry and jealous of old Xiao that they are planning to do something dirty. It's possible. Xiaoyang also sobered up all of a sudden. Yes, there are so many people, it will be tragic if they don't die. Lao Xiao, run! Li Ji is a brotherly man. He urged Xiaoyang to turn around and run immediately. Xiaoyang naturally ran away at the first opportunity. Lao Xiao, we will help you stop them. Remember, my name is Li Ji. Your best brother. Li Ji walked towards the crowd with great righteousness and a heroic spirit. Good brother. Xiaoyang looked at Li Ji's tragic figure and felt his vision blurred. At this time, everyone who saw this scene was stunned. Xiaoyang, run away. Yes, he just ran like that, with 3 parts of tragedy, 3 parts of fear, and a running speed of 4,100 m. Lin Qiyu was also confused at this moment. What happened? Why Xiaoyang ran away? So, who am I and what am I doing now? Several girls had black lines on their faces, and the crowd of onlookers were also bewildered. Oh my god, what does Xiaoyang mean? Damn it, doesn't she know how long our Shuoi has been waiting here? Why did she turn around and run away? Lin Qiyu also fell into deep self-doubt at this moment. Am I that scary? Li Ji. Everyone recognized Xiaoyang's roommate at this moment and gathered around him. Let me make it clear first, don't hit people in the face. Beat your uncle. A girl stepped forward. Where's Xiaoyang? He ran away, didn't you see it? Li Ji's mouth curled up slightly. If you want to catch up with Xiaoyang, you have to get past me first. Everyone was stunned. What's the meaning? If the principal wants to pursue Xiaoyang, he still has to get through you? What's it to you if someone chases Xiaoyang? But it be that. Everyone gasped. But it be that because he couldn't catch up with the school? Xiaoyang was so hungry that he pushed his roommate away. For a moment, everyone looked at Li Ji with extremely strange eyes. Tell me, why did Xiaoyang run away? Does he hate me? In the girls' dormitory, Lin Qiyu said with some distress. How is that possible? Didn't Li Ji explain it clearly? But Lin Qiyu no longer looked aloof at this moment. She bit her lip and pouted, wanting to say something but not saying it. He took a look at the hangover soup in his thermos and became furious. It took me a full hour to make this soup, and I almost burned out the fuse on the floor. Forget it, let him be. I might as well drink this soup myself. That's right, the weather is getting cold, come on. Give me some. Several girls quickly gathered together and picked up the bowls and chopsticks. Only, half a minute later. Lin Q. How much salt did you put in this? Salt is free, right? I followed the instructions and only added 2 spoons of salt. What kind of spoon do you use? Oh my god, a soup spoon. So those people just now were just spectators. So many people gathered around because Lin Q came. After everyone left, Xiao Yang returned to the dormitory dejectedly. After learning the truth, he almost devoured Li Ji alive. Damn. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have run away. At around 11 o'clock, downstairs of the boys' dormitory, Lin Qiyu was waiting for him to come back from the night snack stall. Why are you looking for me? Is there any need to explain this? It's definitely a confession. Stay away from me, I'm afraid I might accidentally beat you to death. Xiao Yang glared at Li Ji, then thought of his figure who had disappeared last night, sighed, and said nothing more. So, old Xiao, you still want to be with Lin Qiyu, right? Li Ji saw Xiao Yang's expression and knew that the other party was not angry. So he asked. Old Xiao, listen to me, you can't blame me for this. Don't you know how many suitors Colonel Lin has? I'm doing this for your safety. Xiao Yang felt his head was swelling. It was fine that he had not completed the previous task. But this time it was obvious that Lin Qiyu came to confess her love. He did not expect to miss it perfectly. I don't know if Lin Qiyu will confess again after today. She won't not come. Xiao Yang shuddered. Oh my god. Why does it feel weird? Tonight, I am destined to be sleepless. What do you think, does Xiao Yang still like me? At this moment, Lin Qiyu, who was tossing and turning and unable to sleep, suddenly blurted out a question. My dear lady, it's almost 1 o'clock now and you've asked me 8 times. Well, but he has confessed to me so many times, he must like me. Don't you think? It's over, Colonel Lin has gone crazy. Several girlfriends sighed. Chai Chaon, what would you do if someone confessed to you 99 times? Lin Qiu suddenly asked. If it were me. Her best friend pondered for a moment and said, if it were me, I would put the collar around my neck, bark twice and follow him. Is that so? Lin Qiu nodded thoughtfully. It's the 99th time after all. And Xiao Yang is pretty handsome. Xiao Yang is mine. Lin Qiu suddenly snorted coldly. Yes, what's yours is yours. Okay. Li Shichao looked helpless. Is this still Colonel Lin? I think you are right. Modesty is a stumbling block to human reproduction. Suddenly, Lin Qiu spoke again. So, what do you think? None of that matters. What's important? Lin Qiu thought for a moment and said. The important thing is where to buy collars near the school. It's over. Colonel Lin is either stupid or he has completely fallen. The 3 best IES are now completely confirmed. The goddess in the minds of the students of the University of Finance and Economics actually wanted to put a collar on her. And she barked twice and left with others. Is this still the noble and cool top University of Finance and Economics? There's no hope. Lin Qiu let out a long sigh and said. Okay, everyone, don't worry about me anymore, go to bed early. Nonsense, we have been wanting to go to bed for a long time. Why did you keep asking questions here? The 3 sisters had just closed their eyes when. At this moment, Lin Qiu's voice sounded faintly in their ears again. Tell me, will he accept if I buy him breakfast tomorrow? What do you think, does Xiao Yang like to eat fried dough sticks or steamed buns? Lin Qiu. Xiao Yang was awakened by a knock on the door. Very early. What's wrong, Lao Yang? You don't come to visit so early. Xiao Yang rubbed his eyes as he opened the door. Fortunately, he didn't drink much yesterday, so he wasn't dizzy now. Xiao Yang, you're so awesome. Xiao Yang was confused. What are you talking about? What's so awesome about it? Explain it clearly. Lin Qiu, Colonel Lin is here again. What? Fuck. The 3 Li Ji brothers, who were originally sleeping soundly, suddenly jumped up from the bed. That's awesome, Lao Xiao. It's so early, I'm afraid you're here to deliver breakfast. Xiao Yang was also stunned for a moment, but soon a hint of joy flashed across his face. The mission can finally be completed. Dad is saved too. She is downstairs now, Xiao Yang said somewhat unreally. Yes, hurry down and don't keep people waiting. Okay. I'll be right there. Xiao Yang turned around and went into the bathroom to wash up, then let out a long sigh. At this moment, his eyes were still quite dark. What he was most worried about last night was that Lin Qiyu would not come. Now he could finally breathe a sigh of relief. TSK. I don't know who said to give up. Not confessing for the 100th time is an explanation to myself. I think believed it. Li Ji and his brothers originally wanted to sleep in. But now they no longer had the mood to do so and got up to wash up. Xiao Yang is finally going to hold hands with Colonel Lin. As good friends, they will definitely follow to show their support. Old Xiao, can I ask you for a favor? Li Ji suddenly asked. Explain. Well, after you get together with Colonel Lin, can you ask her to introduce her best friend to you? Xiao Yang. Who said I'm going to be with Lin Q? Ah, everyone was stunned. What does this mean? I bet 100. If she came to confess her love, I would never agree to her. Xiao Yang raised his eyebrows. Oh my god, it's so curly. Everyone was shocked. But Lao Yang secretly took out a $100 bill and said, well, let me bet with you actually, I like Lin Qiu very much. Stop talking nonsense, we all like Lin Qiu, several beasts said in unison. Damn it, do it. I don't believe it, a mere $200 is more important than a delicious kernel. Li Ji said with a wave of his hand. Downstairs. Lin Qiu was wearing a white dress and her eyes were always looking towards the dormitory corridor. In her hands, there was a bag of steamed buns and fried dough sticks in her left hand and a cup of soy milk in her right hand. So terrifying, is this still our Colonel Lin? I don't believe it, I don't believe it's true. Why? I'm obviously much more handsome than Xiao Yang can Principal Lin please look at me. Senior, I can't even beat him by 20. You are so cute. Junior, I like people like you who are brave you have a promising future. There were only 2 minutes left before class started. And basically everyone leaving the dormitory building was going to class. But at this moment, most people stopped unconsciously. Damn it, I'll just skip class. This scene is worth it. Many people took out their mobile phones, ready to record the scene of their broken heart. Finally Xiao Yang came down. The focus of everyone's attention. Xiao Yang, the moment he saw Xiao Yang, Lin Qiu rushed forward. If it weren't for the dormitory manager's stern scolding, Lin Qiu would probably have really rushed into the boys' dormitory building. You. This is the breakfast I bought for you. I don't know whether you are used to eating buns or fried dough sticks. So I bought both. Fuck. Is this sweet love? Or is this Colonel Lin's love? Ah, the hatred of stealing a wife is irreconcilable. Xiao Yang is a bastard. There was a wailing sound. And all the boys who saw this scene were heartbroken. Xiao Yang thought about it, and took the breakfast, showing a smile, and said, thank you. You're welcome. You've given me so many things before, but this is my first time. Lin Qiu lowered his head and said softly, but you didn't take it either. Xiao Yang complained softly, and then said, by the way, do you have anything to say to me? Lin Qiu was stunned for a moment, and her face instantly turned red as if blood was dripping. Her fair and rosy skin matched with her delicate face, almost making everyone stare in a daze. No, I can't take it anymore. I feel so uncomfortable. My Qiu, woo-woo, if looks could kill, Xiao Yang would have died countless times by now. This is Lin Qiu, the goddess of millions of students from the University of Finance and Economics. In their hearts, the goddess is holy and aloof. But now, this little woman's behavior has completely shattered their fantasies. All they wished it were them who were standing in front of Lin Qiu at this moment. But at this moment, Xiao Yang was completely different. He had only one sentence in his mind. My sister, hurry up and confess your feelings. My old man is waiting for help. In fact, before meeting Xiao Yang, Lin Qiu had already thought of a long speech. She planned to shed all her reserve today and confess her feelings to Xiao Yang. But now the words are on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know how to say them. Her small hands gently pinched the edge of her skirt that was swaying in the wind. And she lowered her head, seeming to want to say something but stopping herself. No, I don't believe that Colonel Lin will confess his feelings. I don't believe it. This is what all the boys present thought. But no matter how much they don't believe it, the atmosphere has already been set to this point. Hi Xiao Yang. Yeah, Xiao Yang smiled. So handsome. Looking up, Lin Qiu saw the face so close to her. Finally she mustered up her courage, clenched her fists, and said with all her strength, Xiao Yang, I like you. Can you date me? The sound was neither loud nor soft, but everyone present could hear it clearly. Everyone was numb. Although the atmosphere was like this, they also knew that it was only a matter of time before Colonel Lin confessed his feelings to Xiao Yang. But when this thing became a reality, no one could accept it. I feel so uncomfortable. Today is the day we both break up. Yes, what Xiao Yang didn't expect was that today would become the day of heartbreak at Zhangde University of Finance and Economics. Of course, that's all later. The most important thing is now. Confession. Finally the confession came. Xiao Yang looked at this extremely shy girl and was a little stunned for a moment. But he knew exactly what to do now. It was just, how can I refuse? The headache problem comes again. After all, Lin Qiu was his father's savior. So it would be too much to refuse him directly. What should I do? The principal confessed to me, how can I refuse? Waiting online. Urgent. Time seems to stand still. Everyone looked at Xiao Yang and the other two. Li Ji and his companions retreated several steps, giving Xiao Yang enough room to perform. Lin Qiu. Just call me Qiu, Lin Qiu said softly with her head down. Damn it, this damn tenderness. Lin Qiu's voice is so pleasant to the ear. And she looks so well behaved. Reject. It's so difficult. Forget it, let's just be straightforward. Xiao Yang let out a long sigh. His expression resolute, and said softly, I'm sorry. You are a good girl. The voice fell. The whole place fell silent. Suddenly someone said WTF, and in an instant, the whole audience was drowned in the word WTF. Lin Qiu was also confused. Are you a good girl? This. Lin Qiu. Zhongde University of Finance and Economics is recognized as the best university. I was given the nice guy card. She took 2 steps back in disbelief and looked at Xiao Yang in astonishment. Wrong? How is this possible? It shouldn't be like this. Is it because I didn't bring a collar and didn't say woof woof? Lin Qiu opened his mouth and wanted to say something else. But for some reason, I couldn't say anything. Suddenly, her breathing became a little rapid and she felt a pain in her heart. Is this what being rejected feels like? In just 2 seconds, Lin Qiu's eyes had turned red and tears flowed out uncontrollably. Xiao Yang took a deep breath and felt extremely confused. The system prompt sounded. The mission was accomplished. And the God-restoring pill arrived. Only, looking at the girl in front of him with tears in her eyes, Xiao Yang suddenly felt a little distressed. Xiao Yang wanted to say something, but he also knew that it was useless to say anything now. And it would only make both sides more uncomfortable. Why? Why can you do this even though I have already put aside my self-esteem to confess to you? Lin Qiu's trembling voice came. Xiao Yang was stunned for a moment. And said in a deep voice, I'm sorry, thank you for breakfast. Lin Qiu has been outstanding in appearance since childhood and has a good family background. So she has many suitors. It can be said that she has almost never experienced the feeling of being rejected. And now, not only was I rejected, but my confession was rejected. After Xiao Yang left, she just felt her heart aching. She couldn't hold it back any longer. Tears welled up in her eyes. She covered her eyes with her arms and ran back to the dormitory. Everyone present was stunned. Fuck, Xiao Yang gave Lin Qiu a nice guy card. Oh my god, I was stupid. I rejected Colonel Lin's confession. This is too outrageous. I'm afraid Xiao Yang is a eunuch. Is there any man who can refuse the confession of Colonel Lin? Lin Qiu was crying. Oh my god, Xiao Yang actually made my goddess cry. Lin Qiu is so pitiful. The class bell had been ringing for several minutes. But people didn't seem to be in a hurry at this time. They all stood there in shock, holding their phones. Posted on your moments in forums. In addition to being the day of heartbreak for students at the University of Finance and Economics, today's absenteeism and lateness rate is also destined to be the highest in history. Shiwo, you're back. It was still early in the morning and several of her best friends were still lying in bed. Lin Qiu returned to the dormitory and just nodded slightly in response. But someone soon responded. Didn't Lin Qiu go to deliver breakfast to Xiao Yang today? One by one they quickly stood up. Li Shiqian was the first to come forward and asked. How is the battle going? But as soon as he finished speaking, he saw Lin Qiu's eyes were red. Obviously she had been crying. Lin Qiu didn't say anything, she just threw herself on the bed. Looking like she had lost all hope in life, sobbing. No way, Xiao Yang rejected you. The 3 best friends were stunned. Is this something a man can do? Who can refuse Colonel Lin's confession? But it be that Xiao Yang really likes men? Damn it. Xiao Yang is too bullying. It made Shuoi cry. I think he has had enough of living. Without saying a word, Li Shiqian took out her phone and called Xiao Yang first. But when no one answered, she called Li Ji again. Li Ji. Huh? What on earth is Xiao Yang thinking? Does he really not like Lin Qiu? How is that possible? Lao Xiao has confessed his feelings so many times. And he also made our Shuoi cry. Lin Qiu is crying. Tell Xiao Yang how he wants to die, Li Shiqian said angrily. Actually, I think Lao Xiao is also very sad right now. He locked himself in the bathroom and hasn't come out yet. Because it was an external speaker, the sound also reached Lin Qiu's ears. She raised her head, and her rain-stained face looked even more lovable. At this moment, Li Ji's voice came again. I think it was Lin Qiu who hurt Lao Xiao first. Not Lao Xiao who wronged her first. After all, Lao Xiao confessed his love to me 99 times. How much does one have to love someone to do this? I just heard Lin Qiu say that she put aside her pride to confess her feelings to Lao Xiao. Yes, self-esteem is very important, and it was a colonel who took the initiative to confess. But have you ever thought about this? Lao Xiao has done this kind of behavior of putting down his self-esteem 99 times. There is no hierarchy between the two parties in love. Your self-esteem as a colonel is important, but is Xiaoyang's self-esteem unimportant? It was just a failed confession, but Xiaoyang had this experience 99 times. Have you ever thought about how he feels? Li Ji's words were very harsh. And I don't know if it was because of the money he lost. The sound fell clearly into everyone's ears. Everyone in the dormitory was stunned. For a moment, the atmosphere in the dormitory became extremely depressing. Yes, you just confessed your feelings once and failed, and this happened to you. But others have had this experience 99 times. You rejected others 99 times, and they only rejected you once. Is that too much? Li Ji's phone has been hung up. Meanwhile, everyone here was completely silent. After a long time, Ling Qiyu's sobbing stopped. She rubbed her eyes, a determined look on her face. I know, Xiaoyang must be testing me. When I watched TV dramas before, I thought it was easy for two people to be together. It was just a matter of saying, I like you. But now, I know. This kind of love is real love. And this is the responsibility for love. Xiaoyang's 99 confessions are his explanations of love. And for me, this is only my first time, so what does it matter? A man confessed his love to the woman 99 times. And the woman confessed her love to the man 99 times again. And then the two of them got together. Oh my god. What kind of fairy love is this? All of a sudden, Ling Qiyu was no longer sad. And a smile appeared on her face. She could already imagine in her mind what Xiaoyang would look like holding her hand after she had confessed her feelings for him 99 times. What is love? This is love. This is definitely an enviable and unprecedented love. Ling Qiyu had a look of longing, with 3 words written on his face. I got it. This also made several of my girlfriends dumbfounded. Is this okay? Li Shikai reacted and asked in disbelief. Shuoi, are you okay? Do you really want to confess your love 99 times like Xiaoyang? Ling Qiyu nodded. Yeah, why not? I used to think that he liked me so much because of my appearance. Just like those LSPS who value appearance, but now I understand that he is different from those people. Otherwise, how could he reject me? Just think about it. After a total of 198 confessions, 2 people finally got together. How romantic is that? Crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Can romance be explained this way? However, seeing that Ling Qiyu was full of fighting spirit, they didn't know what to say. What else can we do? Everyone knows that Xiaoyang likes Ling Qiyu. Since they love each other, they can do whatever they want. Tired. Do whatever you want. At this time, Xiaoyang put down the phone and came out of the bathroom. I just informed with my mother that my father's condition has become more serious. He needs to go back quickly to avoid any accidents. Li Ji looked over at this time and said in surprise. Old Xiao, you didn't cry. Why should I cry? Xiaoyang was stunned. You rejected Ling Qiyu, aren't you sad? I thought Xiaoyang went to the bathroom to cry, but he looks like nothing happened. Could it be that I was wrong? I was the one who rejected her. Not her who rejected me. Why should I be sad? Is your question a bit crazy? Xiaoyang said nonchalantly. Yes, how can the person who is rejected be sad? Isn't it the people who are rejected who are sad? So, what I said to Ling Qiu's best friend just now. Damn it. Li Ji cursed himself for meddling in other people's business. Seeing Xiaoyang packing up, he asked, what are you packing up for? I'm going back home. After saying that, Xiaoyang took out a leave note. Please give it to the counselor for me and ask for leave. Good. Xiaoyang's home is in JM City, which is also in J Province. So it doesn't actually take too much time to go home. After arriving at the train station and buying a ticket, Xiaoyang saw that there was still more than an hour before the train departed. So he simply wandered around the station. The train station is a mixed crowd with all kinds of people. Not far away, a pretty girl was squatting on the ground. She didn't bring anything with her, and her long hair covered her face, so her face couldn't be seen clearly. I saw her looking around constantly, sighing, and hugging her knees with her hands, as if she was making a decision. After a moment, she gritted her teeth and took out a piece of chalk. I guess my wallet is lost again, please give me some money for the trip. Xiaoyang didn't take it too seriously. There were a lot of such things happening. Not only at the mixed train station, but such things also happen frequently near the university town. Although there are true and false ones, most of them are false. At this moment, a clear voice suddenly sounded from the system in my mind. Byte. Task release. Know the truth with wisdom. Option 1. Helping others is the basis of happiness. Help passersby. Reward. Top of the line Carfetin 1. Option 2. Expose the truth and prevent others from being deceived. Reward. 1 million yuan in cash. Option 3. Everyone should mind their own business. It has nothing to do with me. Reward. Each ability is improved by 1. Can this also trigger a mission? Xiaoyang was a little surprised and started to ponder it in his mind. At this time, the girl had already picked up the chalk and wrote a few lines on the ground. Familiar plot. My luggage was stolen, but my cell phone, wallet and ID card were still in the bag. The girl lowered her head, her bangs covering her forehead, and her face could not be seen clearly. In just a short while, many people had gathered around her, talking about what was happening, but no one offered to help. Of course, there is nothing wrong with this as not that people are unkind, but that there are too many scammers in this society. Xiaoyang looked at the three options. In the past, I'm afraid each family would just take care of their own business. Besides, no matter what choice he makes, it will be good for him. But considering his financial situation, it wouldn't be difficult for him to help others. As for option 2, how can you expose someone when you don't even know whether he is real or fake? Thinking of this, Xiaoyang stepped forward directly. Lin Qiyu, why are you here? What a coincidence, are you okay? Xiaoyang took out a few $100 bills from his pocket and walked up to the girl and used his body to block everyone's view. If what the girl said was true, then for a young man who has fallen to this point, the most uncomfortable thing is probably the loss of face. And seeing that girls always use long hair to cover their faces, this may be the reason. The girl was obviously shocked by Xiaoyang's words and didn't know what the boy meant. When did I become Lin Qiyu? However, when I saw those $100 bills, my heart warmed, but I didn't say anything. Xiaoyang waved his hand. Go away, everyone has difficulties, there's nothing to see. After dispersing the crowd, Xiaoyang wiped the words on the ground with his feet, then turned around and said, are you okay? Bite. Mission completed. Reward. A top-of-the-line Phaeton, which will be delivered in 20 minutes. The system's voice flashed by. I'm fine. A pleasant voice was heard. Xiaoyang lowered his head, and the girl's face was still covered by her bangs. The girl pointed to the bathroom in the distance. Can you wait for me here? Okay, Xiaoyang nodded. But Xiaoyang waited for a few minutes, but no girl showed up. It seems like I really met a liar. He smiled bitterly. But it doesn't matter, these few $100 are nothing compared to the mission reward. Just then, a brisk voice came from behind. Who are you calling a liar? Xiaoyang turned around and saw a girl standing behind him. Just from the voice, Xiaoyang could hear clearly that this was the girl from before. He just changed his clothes and carried a bag in his hand. It's you? Perhaps because he had changed his clothes. Xiaoyang was a little unconvinced. It's me, the girl smiled and let her hair down. Well, that's it. Thank you for what you did just now. But, I'm really not a liar, my luggage was really stolen, the girl said with a sad face. A conversation. It turns out that the girl's name is Zhang Yan, a sophomore at Zhengdu Medical College. What happened was that she had to go home for something. So after buying the ticket, she waited in the waiting hall. But it was a little early and I was a little sleepy. So I fell asleep without realizing it. When I woke up, there was nothing left except people. She just said she was going to the bathroom. But actually she went to the clothing store to buy some clothes to change. There were so many people here and she was afraid of being recognized and embarrassed. You are so careless that you can even fall asleep in a place like this. After chatting for a while, Xiaoyang also joked, fortunately, only the luggage was lost. If I were the thief, I would definitely steal her. It's stupid for a thief not to steal the luggage of such a beautiful girl. Is really stupid. Zhang Yan was also amused by Xiaoyang's words, and the previous gloom was swept away. But why don't you call the police? If you don't, just go outside and take a taxi back to school, and then ask someone you know to help pay for the taxi fare. It's not that, I'm afraid of losing face, Zhang Yan pouted and said shyly. This is just a way to save face, but it's useless for you to have money now. You lost your ID card and can't buy a ticket. What are you going to do? Yes, I can't buy a ticket. Zhang Yan widened her eyes and didn't know how to answer for a moment. Seeing her like this, Xiaoyang shook his head helplessly. At this moment, his cell phone rang. Hello? Hello? Is this Mr. Xiaoyang Xiao? I am. The top-of-the-line Phaeton you ordered from our store has been delivered to you. May I ask where you are now? Is it the Xingyu residential area next to the train station? Xiaoyang was stunned for a moment. Then he remembered that this was the reward from before. But he didn't expect the car to be delivered directly. He immediately responded, no, you can wait for me outside the train station. Xiaoyang hung up the phone and walked out of the station. But at this moment, a small figure hesitated and followed. Xiaoyang couldn't help but find it funny and asked, why are you following me? Zhang Yan just grinned and said nothing. After arriving outside the station, they called the driver again. And they came to a parking lot outside the train station and saw a large truck parked there. Mr. Xiaoyang? I am. Then we'll unload the car here. Okay. Xiaoyang nodded, and saw several people coming down and opening the rear door of the truck. A piece of gray cloth was lifted, and a black car appeared in front of everyone. Be careful, don't bump into it. After saying that, everyone worked together to carefully unload the car using the equipment. After the car was unloaded, Xiaoyang signed a few forms and completed the procedures. Xiaoyang never thought that he would get his first car in this way. And it was delivered at the train station. Zhang Yan, who was standing by, also smiled and said, "Of course. Senior Xiao, you can actually afford a car at such a young age. Well, Volkswagen, I'm afraid it's hard to get 70,000 or 80,000. Yeah, it's impossible to get it without hundreds of thousands of dollars." Xiaoyang also smiled and didn't explain. "Just kidding. This is the top of the line Phaeton. It would be about the same if it were 10 times more expensive." However, for Xiaoyang, the Phaeton is just right, and being Loki also fits his personality. "I have to say, this award really touches my heart. Do you want me to take you back to school first? Jiangdu Medical College is right next to our school." Xiaoyang reminisced, and it happened that Jiangdu Medical College was right next to Jiangdu University of Finance and Economics. The two schools sometimes held social activities. "I was originally going home after leaving school, but now I'm going back to school. What's going on?" Zhang Yan said helplessly. Suddenly, her expression brightened. She looked at Xiaoyang's car and said with a smile, "How about this, you take me home? It's your car anyway, and you don't need an ID card to sit in it. Think about it, you're so uncomfortable with all the beautiful women and luxury cars along the way. Aren't you attractive?" After saying that, Zhang Yan pulled her skirt up a little and winked at Xiaoyang. "You wish." Xiaoyang rolled his eyes at Zhang Yan. If an accident really happened, it would be hard to tell who would win and who would lose. If it were any other time, Xiaoyang would have agreed, but he still had to rush home to deliver the medicine. If he was a minute late, his father would have to suffer for 1 minute longer, so it was more important to go home. Hearing Xiaoyang's words, Zhang Yan also curled her lips. "If this happens at school, I can just wave my hand and a group of boys will line up to drive me around." "So where are you going at the station?" Zhang Yan continued to ask. "Go home." "Where is your home?" "Maybe we're on our way there," Zhang Yan said with a blink. "JM City," Xiaoyang said unhappily. "Are all girls nowadays like this? After borrowing money, they still want to hitchhike? Can you learn from Lingqiu and be more reserved?" But as soon as Xiaoyang finished speaking, Zhang Yan jumped up, opened the car door and got in. "What a coincidence. My home is also in JM City. Could you please give me a ride?" he said with his head held high, looking secretly happy. "Is it such a coincidence?" Xiaoyang also had a dark face. "And I'm going home first. You can do whatever you want. It's okay, I'm not in a hurry anyway." Zhang Yan smiled. Are all Volkswagen interiors so luxurious nowadays? After getting into the car, Zhang Yan realized that the interior of this car was not as low-key as its exterior. A mahogany interior looks very exquisite. The seats have excellent texture and many functions. They are all just for show. Xiaoyang smiled. At this time, Zhang Yan saw another bag of documents on the seat. Glancing at Xiaoyang, Zhang Yan secretly opened it and took a look. It's the car's documents, not of much interest. "Do you know that it's a bad habit to touch other people's things?" Xiaoyang took the document and said, "Seat belt." Even. The seat belt was pressed into the gully on the hilltop. Out of the corner of his eye, Xiaoyang discovered that perhaps because her clothes were loose, he had not noticed that Zhang Yan was so courteous. Isn't it said that those with sweet looks are generally flatter? It seems that the rumor is wrong. When I looked again, I found that Zhang Yan had fallen asleep with her eyes closed without me noticing. Xiaoyang came back to his senses and concentrated on driving. As early as his freshman year, Xiaoyang had passed the driving test and had borrowed a car to drive twice. Although he was not an experienced driver, he drove fairly steadily. Moreover, the car's configuration is very stable and it is very comfortable to drive. It's more than 2 hours drive. Finally arrived in JM City. Xiaoyang called Zhang Yan twice. "Where is your home?" "Hello?" After another push, Zhang Yan didn't open her eyes. "Well, stop making noise, let me sleep a little longer." "Hey, wake up. Forget it, let's go home first." Xiaoyang was too lazy to waste time with Zhang Yan anymore. So he immediately drove towards his home and called his mother in the car. A dilapidated old neighborhood. Finally they drove back. Xiaoyang glanced at Zhang Yan, who was still sleeping in the passenger seat, feeling a little helpless. "My goodness, what were you doing last night? You slept like that. You deserved your luggage to be stolen." "Uncle Yang," Xiaoyang greeted the community security guard. "Hey Xiaoyang, you're back." "Yeah," Xiaoyang smiled. "This is your car, right? Okay, you've made progress. This girl is quite pretty, your girlfriend?" "No, just an ordinary friend." "Okay, then Dr. Slower." Finally, from a distance, Xiaoyang saw his mother looking around downstairs. It is not easy to support a family alone, but at the age of 50. His face is already full of wrinkles. Xiao's mother stared into the distance, unaware that her son's car had already arrived in front of her. Mom. After getting out of the car, Xiao's mother realized that Xiao Yang was already there. Xiao Yang, you're back. The mother's eyes were red. Maybe she had just cried. How did you drive back? I just bought a car. Xiao Yang smiled with his white teeth showing. You didn't do anything illegal to buy the car. Xiao's mother said in disbelief. How is that possible? I made this from doing business with my friends. The 800 I transferred to you yesterday was also made from doing business with my friends. Don't worry, our family is rich now. Really? Xiao's mother still didn't quite believe it. Of course it's true, Xiao Yang said firmly. You've made progress. Xiao's mother stroked Xiao Yang's cheek, full of satisfaction. But soon, she discovered that there was another person sitting in the passenger seat. Suddenly Xiao's mother's expression brightened. She pulled Xiao Yang aside and whispered, "This girl is your girlfriend." "No, just an ordinary friend. Her home is also in JM City. I sent her back by the way." "Well, the girl is pretty. If she can." "Mom, what are you thinking? He's really just an ordinary friend." Xiao Yang quickly brought the topic back to the topic, and then said, "Where's my dad?" "Your father." When she said this, Xiao's mother's face suddenly fell. "He's lying in the room. Your father had a very hard life. He worked hard all his life. And he's still sick when he's old." When she said this, Xiao's mother's eyes were red. "It's okay, Mom, don't worry. I have a cure for Dad's illness." "What can you do?" "The doctor said that it's not as simple as surgery now. Neither the lungs nor the liver are healthy," Xiao's mother said worriedly. "Don't worry, it's okay. I asked my friend for a secret recipe that can cure all diseases. You may not believe it, but at that time, an old man was in the late stage of cancer. And his family had prepared the coffin and burial clothes. Guess what happened?" Mother Xiao glared at Xiao Yang. "It's all ready this time, and you still want me to take over, right?" Xiao Yang made himself look awkward, and continued. "After taking the medicine, all the diseases were cured the next day. Not to mention cancer, the original diabetes and gout were also cured. It has been half a year now, and he is full of energy. He dances with the old lady in the small square every day." "Really?" Xiao's mother said in surprise. "Don't worry. Let's go inside and see my dad first. By the way, why don't you stay in the hospital? What if something happens at home? Your father doesn't want to waste that money. The minimum cost per day for hospitalization is more than 1,000 yuan. Xiao's mother sighed. When I entered the room, I saw Father Xiao lying on the bed. He looked pale and haggard. He had shaved his hair because he had to apply some medicine for a cerebral infarction. He looked like an old man in his 50s. However, even though he had a lot of problems, when Xiao's father saw Xiao Yang coming back, he wanted to get up immediately with a smile on his face. For a moment, Xiao Yang couldn't hold back anymore, and tears started to flow down his cheeks. "Is this really effective?" Father Xiao looked at the lavender pill and frowned. "Xiao Yang, you are so old now, you won't really believe these charlatans. Dad, just trust me this time. Besides, I bought this at a high price. Just give it a try." I was confused by what Xiao Yang said. Although the two men are old, their brains are still working well. There is no miracle drug in this world that can cure all diseases. However, seeing that his son's words sounded so miraculous, Father Xiao hesitated for a moment and then swallowed it directly. After all, this is also a filial piety of the son. Besides, what can go wrong? His current illness can't be cured except by these ghost stories. Seeing that his mother was still worried, Xiao Yang went forward and hugged her to comfort her. "Don't worry, Mom, everything will be fine." Mother Xiao just pursed her lips, her eyes full of bloodshot. Just a moment later, thin beads of cold sweat began to appear on Xiao's father's forehead, and his face looked a little strange. Although Xiao Yang knew that there must be no problem with what the system gave him, he still asked with concern, "Dad, how is it?" "I feel much better now. At least my chest is no longer stuffy and my head doesn't hurt anymore." Hearing what Xiao's father said, Xiao's mother hurried to his side, picked up a towel to wipe her husband's sweat, her eyes full of joy. When Xiao Yang saw this, he knew that the medicine was taking effect, and he immediately breathed a sigh of relief. If his father's illness was really cured, he could say that he owed Lin Qiyu a huge favor. Just then, a man's voice was heard from outside. "Uncle Xiao, Aunt Xiao?" Xiao Yang could recognize that this was the voice of his childhood friend Lu Xing. They were also high school classmates, but after graduating from high school, they took completely different paths. Lu Xing entered society after graduating from high school and found a job locally. In his free time, he would come to help the Xiao family and help take care of Xiao's father. The two of them could be considered good brothers. "Lu Xing is here. You can see that Lu Xing has been helping our family a lot in the past 2 years." "Okay." Xiao Yang nodded and walked out of the house. Wow, whose car is this? It's blocking the road. As soon as I came out, I saw Lu Xing circling around the Phaeton. What a pretty girl. Hey, Xiao Yang patted Lu Xing. Old Xiao, you're back. Yes, Xiao Yang smiled and punched Lu Xing. Lu Xing looked at the car and said, "Is this your car?" "Yeah," Xiao Yang nodded. "Sure. It's very new, I just got it. It's only been a few hours. I'm wondering if you got rich or something. Where did you get it?" Lu Xing looked at Xiao Yang and said, "No one knows Xiao Yang's family situation better than him. How could this kid afford a car?" "Yes, I made a little fortune. Are you here to see my dad?" "Well, I just happened to be passing by. So I came to see if Uncle Xiao needs any help." "Thank you," Xiao Yang said sincerely. "Why are you being so polite? There's no need for us to talk about this." Just then, Zhang Yan woke up in the car as he looked around in a daze and saw Xiao Yang. Then she opened the door and got out. "Woke up? Yeah. That's great, I'll take you home." Xiao Yang waved his hand. "I'm not in a hurry," Zhang Yan smiled. "Like spring breeze. This is your home, won't you invite me in? There's nothing to sit for. My mom and dad are here." "That's great. Now that we're here, we should at least say hello to uncle and aunt," Zhang Yan said as she was about to go into the house. Xiao Yang stretched out his hand to stop him if Zhang Yan went in. He might have to explain for a long time. He was too lazy to cause trouble. "By the way, how is Uncle Xiao's health now?" Lu Xing asked at this time. "It's okay if nothing unexpected happens. The illness should be almost healed in the next 2 days," Xiao Yang said with a smile. How is it possible? Uncle Xiao is not." "Don't worry," Xiao Yang thought about Lu Xing's words, and seeing that he was full of doubts, he didn't reveal too much. "It's just right. It's time for dinner. You guys wait here. I'll talk to my parents. It's been a while since we last saw each other. I'll treat you to a nice meal today." Xiao Yang entered the house. As soon as she entered the house, Xiao's mother excitedly held Xiao Yang's hand. Unable to speak, Your father. Xiao Yang went to check on him, and saw that Xiao's father's complexion had recovered a lot, and he was not as haggard as before. "Your father is hungry," Xiao's mother said with a hint of tears in her voice. Mom, go cook. She covered her mouth and tried hard to control herself. Xiao Yang was not a person who was good at expressing his emotions. Or maybe there was no natural tendency for the father and son to express their emotions. Xiao Yang nodded towards his father. "Please take a rest first. By the way, I'm going to be out for a while, Mom. You don't have to cook for me. I'll take Lu Xing out to eat." "That's fine after all. Lu Xing has helped us so much, you should thank him." Yes, Xiao Yang also wanted to have this meal with his parents. But he thought that there was still a long time to live. So he should let his parents enjoy their own world of two. Some words were not pleasant to hear even for a son like him. After leaving the house, Lu Xing started chatting with Zhang Yan outside. Zhang Yan's personality is different from Lin Qiu's. Although they are equally beautiful, Zhang Yan is much more extroverted than Lin Qiu. "What were you talking about?" "Let's talk about you. Your girlfriend is planning to steal some information from me," Lu Xing joked. "Whose girlfriend is this? We just met today." Xiao Yang rolled his eyes at Lu Xing. "What's wrong with meeting today? Flash marriage is popular now," Lu Xing laughed. Zhang Yan didn't say anything. She opened the car door and sat in the passenger seat. Lu Xing also got into the car, but after getting in, he first looked at the interior of the car. "Damn it. Lao Xiao. What's wrong?" "It's a hidden gem. The Phaeton is top notch." "What Phaeton? Is this car called Phaeton?" The Zhang Yan was full of confusion. "Yes, it's the best configuration there. As nothing that can't be bought for 2 million. "Lao Xiao, you're rich." 2 million. Zhang Yan was also shocked by the number and asked, "Isn't your family?" After chatting with Lu Xing outside for a while, Zhang Yan also knew that Xiao Yang's family was in a difficult situation and the only source of income was Xiao Yang's mother. This 2 million car is also called family difficulties. Xiao Yang smiled and said nothing instead. He asked, "Old Lu, what's with that look in your eyes? How did you recognize him?" "As for me, I work in a car dealership now, so of course I know these cars. But nowadays, many bosses rent cars to decorate their shops." "You wouldn't be." Lu Xing has always been outspoken and his meaning is very clear. "Isn't it rented here to pick up girls?" He knew the situation at Xiao Yang's family very well. Now was not the time to pretend to be rich. If that was the case, he would have to talk it out. "Bought it," Xiao Yang replied. Lu Xing nodded. "That's right, such a new car cannot be rented." Zhang Yan. Where is your home? How about I take you back?" "No," Zhang Yan refused again. "Are you planning to rely on Lao Xiao?" Lu Xing added. "Yeah, he's lucky to have a beauty like me relying on him." For a moment, Lu Xing looked at Xiao Yang with envy. "Get out of here, I'll find a place to dump you later." Xiao Yang originally meant it more as a joke, but who would have thought that Zhang Yan would get anxious when she heard it? She just snorted and said, "How about this, let me follow you and let you touch my legs. Look at my legs, do they look good?" Having said this, Zhang Yan actually lifted up her legs in long boots and stretched them directly onto Xiao Yang's legs. Xiao Yang was completely scared. "I'm driving, stop making trouble. You're sleepy, right? Go back to sleep. I'll call you when we get to the destination." Zhang Yan chuckled after hearing this. She liked to tease Xiao Yang like this. And when others saw her, they couldn't wait to get close to her. Only Xiao Yang didn't even have time to hide. But Zhang Yan was still a little sleepy. So she squinted her eyes and prepared to rest for a while. It was Lu Xing who spoke up. "By the way, Lao Xiao, our class seems to be having a reunion tonight. Are you going?" "Class reunion?" "Yes, I thought you came back to attend a class reunion." It was organized by Li Kang, but on the surface it was a class reunion. But in fact, Lu Xing clicked his tongue. "Oh, chasing King Xuantong? Yeah, I'm convinced to. I've been pursuing you for about 4 or 5 years. And I have to go and take a look." Xiao Yang immediately became interested. And remembered that he seemed to have taken a quick look in the class group yesterday and saw that they were indeed talking about this matter. "Sure, I bet you will fail this time," Lu Xing laughed. Li Kang was the class monitor in high school, and King Xuantong was the queen of the high school and the goddess in the eyes of all the boys at that time. Then Li Kang started to show his affection to Xiao Yang since high school, but was rejected every time he confessed his love to her. Compared to Xiao Yang's 99 confessions, Li Kang confessed quite a few times and persisted for a longer time. The two of them made a decision immediately. "Go, I love watching the fun the most. Especially when the confession of love was rejected while eating melon." Xiao Yang suddenly became alert. "I have been confessing my feelings to others but have been rejected for a while now. Now I finally have the chance to be a spectator, how can I not go? Can I go to the class reunion too?" Zhang Yan suddenly said with her eyes closed. Hey, who are you? What does our high school reunion have to do with you?" Xiao Yang said dissatisfiedly. "Haven't you read the novel? Normally at a class reunion like this, someone like you will definitely be ridiculed. How cool would it be if you bring me along to show off and slap someone in the face? And I'll pretend to be your girlfriend. I like this kind of plot the most." Zhang Yan's face lit up and she was full of interest. This left the two speechless. "Why do you, a girl, have nothing better to do than reading urban romance novels?" Seeing Xiao Yang's expression, Zhang Yan chuckled. "Take me with you. At most, I'll let you touch my legs. Such long, white and tender legs are hard to find even with a lantern." Xiao Yang just listened to Zhang Yan's words. "I don't know where you get such confidence from," Xiao Yang sighed. "I'm beautiful, and I have long legs if you don't believe me. Just look." After saying that, Zhang Yan pulled her skirt to her knees. Stop. I admit defeat, I'll take you there." Xiao Yang just felt a headache. But speaking of it, Zhang Yan's legs are indeed long. Compared with Ling Qiu, they have completely different styles. Ling Qiu is the kind of iceberg goddess. And Zhang Yan, it's just a goblin. Well, an absolute goblin. Most people really can't stand it. At this time, Lu Xing in the back seat had silently given Xiao Yang a thumbs up. "My brother Xiao is so awesome. But don't cause me trouble," Xiao Yang instructed. "Don't worry, I'll be a good boy." When we arrived at the place, it was a small alley. "Is that all?" He said this to Lu Xing. "Okay, I haven't been here for a long time." Seeing Zhang Yan's doubts, Xiao Yang immediately smiled heavily and said, "We used to trick girls here. There is a place inside where girls are trafficked. Don't blame us, it's mainly because you're so annoying. You're so beautiful, I guess you can sell it for a good price." "Sure, Zhang Yan is so beautiful, let me see." Lu Xing also cooperated. "Don't come over here. I've learned Wing Chun, just 3 or 5 people can't get close to me." Zhang Yan raised her eyebrows and punched the air with her pink fist. "Haha, this is called a gangster's excitement punch." Xiao Yang laughed. Zhang Yan is already very beautiful. And when she makes a punching move, for the guys, this only makes things more exciting. The passerby was originally intending to be a brave and righteous person. But after you punched him, you turned the passerby into a criminal. Lu Xing also laughed. "TSK, I call this heroic, don't you understand?" After some joking, the group came to a barbecue restaurant. "The barbecue here is very good, you definitely can't eat it anywhere else. In the whole JM city, it's the only place where you can eat it," Xiao Yang introduced. Lu Xing also nodded to show his agreement. Bite. Mission release, the super rich enters the food industry. Get the store's barbecue secret recipe. Reward, 5 million yuan. As soon as he walked into the store, a clear voice rang in Xiao Yang's mind. Xiao Yang was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that the tasks had always been issued to girls in the past. So why was it triggered here this time? But for him, it doesn't matter who triggers it, as long as they pay. He will accept it. What's the use of getting this barbecue recipe? I don't plan to do business, Xiaoyang asked the system. However, the system remained silent, and Xiaoyang was too lazy to pay attention to it. There were not many people in the store at the moment. Or perhaps business was not very good. A middle-aged man in his 50s was holding his head in a daze. Boss! Hearing Xiaoyang's voice, the middle-aged man suddenly came back to his senses. Hey, Xiaoyang, right? Boss, you still remember us? Xiaoyang sat down with a smile. He used to come here often. And the boss was something of an acquaintance of his. But he didn't expect that the boss actually remembered both of their names. It feels like there are not as many people now as before. Lu Xing murmured. Yes, business was pretty good before we had students like you. But after the school moved and the road was rerouted, not many people come here anymore, and those who come are basically our old customers. The boss sighed. And let's change the place. Your craftsmanship is impeccable. Business will improve if you change the store, Lu Xing said with a smile. It can't be changed, the boss said helplessly. Xiaoyang became curious. Why can't I change it? I don't have money. It would cost at least hundreds of thousands to buy a store and renovate it. I've been losing money in the past 2 years and can't afford it at all. And my wife? The boss looked helpless. It turned out that his wife had been in a car accident. And it was quite serious. The vehicle that caused the accident fled and the culprit has not been caught yet. The person is lying in the hospital and a large sum of money has to be invested every day. For the boss, who is already losing money, life is becoming more and more difficult. It was just a few casual remarks, but Xiaoyang could relate to the situation. It was the same for his own father after he became seriously ill. Originally, the family was doing okay, but things got worse day by day. After chatting for a while, Xiaoyang suddenly looked up and asked, Do you still plan to continue running this store? After all, it has been losing money. The boss shook his head but said nothing. Seeing this, Xiaoyang said casually, How about this? Boss, I really like your barbecue restaurant. It would be a pity if it were closed. How about you sell me the barbecue recipe? Barbecue recipe? The boss was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect Xiaoyang to lead the topic here. Lu Xing looked at Xiaoyang in confusion and asked, Old Xiao, why did you buy the barbecue recipe? You're not really planning to grill it at home, are you? No, didn't I tell you that I made some money recently? Actually, it was from running a restaurant. The barbecue here is really good. So I wanted to see if I could buy it, Xiaoyang said with a smile. Hearing Xiaoyang's words, the boss had a look of doubt on his face. Xiaoyang and Lu Xing knew each other. They were high school students here a few years ago. Why are kids nowadays so arrogant, planning to buy the barbecue recipe right away? It's not cheap to sell this formula. How can a young man who just graduated from high school 2 or 3 years ago afford it? However, if it can be sold at a good price, the boss is willing to sell the recipe. First, he is short of money now, and second, if he continues to run the store, he will probably continue to lose money. It's really hard to bear all this going on. So after just a little thought, he looked at Xiaoyang tentatively. How much money can you give me? How much do you think your formula can be sold for? It was Xiaoyang's first time discussing these things with others, so naturally he didn't know how to offer a price. I just want to make up for the losses of the past 2 years. And also let the child's mother receive proper hospital treatment. My daughter also needs money for college. How about this? 400,000 yuan. Xiaoyang shook his head. Then it's 380. Zero, no less. The boss frowned slightly. Xiaoyang thought for a moment and said, How about this? I'll give you 500,000 yuan after all. It's not easy for you either. The boss was stunned for a moment. And some people raise the price for themselves? Is this the outstanding young person in modern society? But Xiaoyang is so young, can he afford so much money? The boss was a little confused. Xiaoyang continued. If you agree, I will transfer 200,000 to you now. You can prepare the contract and formula. The other 300,000 will be given to you in half an hour at most after my friend transfers the money to me. Of course, Xiaoyang also wanted to pay it off on the spot. But after he transferred 800,000 yuan to his family, he only had 200,000 yuan left in his pocket. But it doesn't matter. As long as you get the recipe and the system's reward arrives, everything will be solved. The boss's face suddenly became excited. No problem, just wait a moment. After that, the boss called to the kitchen, Xuantong, come and greet the guests. The words fell. Kitchen. A girl came out. Xiaoyang and Lu Xing immediately said in unison, Fuck, King Xuantong. King Xuantong was also stunned for a moment, but soon said with a smile, Xiaoyang, Lu Xing, it's you. The boss smiled and said, This is my daughter. Aren't you two in the same class? It's just right. I'll go print out the contract and ask Xuantong to make something for you. Good. What do you want to eat, old classmate? After the boss left, King Xuantong greeted him with a smile. Yellow mud roasted chicken. Give me a plate of roasted chicken. Xiao Yang didn't hesitate and ordered directly. Lu Xing, on the other hand, looked at King Xuantong with his chin in his hand and said, "You are alone, do you want me to help you?" King Xuantong glared at Lu Xing and said, "Why do I need you? There are no guests who can cook for themselves." After ordering the dishes, King Xuantong went to the kitchen to busy herself. Zhang Yan looked at King Xuantong's back and said, "No wonder you guys are thinking about going to the class reunion. But the beauty like this here, I would definitely not be absent if I were you. It's just that his legs are a little short, not as long as mine. And not as white as mine." Zhang Yan grinned and moved her legs towards Xiao Yang. "Do you think everyone is like you, with legs all below the chest?" Xiao Yang complained. "That's not the case, I have long legs and I'm proud of them." Zhang Yan raised her head with a confident look on her face. But after she finished speaking, she narrowed her eyes and said to Xiao Yang, "To be honest, what is the relationship between you two? I feel that the way she looks at you is not right. We are just classmates." "What else could that be?" Xiao Yang waved his hand. "It can't be." Zhang Yan showed a meaningful expression. "Shut up." The boss came back very quickly. "There are templates for contracts. And it's just a matter of changing a few words." Xiao Yang picked it up and looked through it. And indeed there was nothing wrong with it. "Uncle King, there is no problem with the contract. Give me your card number and I will transfer the 200 to you first." Okay. The boss nodded repeatedly and gave the card number to Xiao Yang. Soon, looking at the text message alert, the boss's face was full of joy. "I'll go write the recipe for you, wait a moment. Recipe at hand. Bite. Task completed, reward 5 million yuan. Here." Xiao Yang picked up his phone. Zhang Yan came over and saw the text message from Xiao Yang. She was surprised and said, 5 million. "Xiao Yang, are you so rich? Go away, can you please not get so close?" It's not Xiao Yang's fault that he was annoyed. The main reason was that when Zhang Yan came closer, a strange fragrance came over when he raised his head. His eyes unnaturally probed into the other person's collar. "Why wear such loose clothes? Let's talk business. If you do this, I will commit a crime." Xiao Yang let out a long sigh and his heart beat quick and a little. He suddenly understood a problem that had been bothering him for a long time. Why did he always feel bored when he saw the girls in bikinis on the beach? But when they wore the same outfit with an extra layer of clothing, it would be particularly. But then again, Zhang Yan must have had enough nutrition when she was young. I just don't know if she was padded. Wait, why did I suddenly think of this? Xiao Yang took a breath of cold air. "Damn woman, can you please stay away from me? It's easy to get into trouble if you do this." To be honest, Xiao Yang always thought that he was an ascetic person. Even if Lin Qiyu stood in front of him, he would just think that this girl was cute and worthy of his love. There is only this in Cancer's Zhang Yan. It's so damn easy to arouse a man's desire. Why didn't I notice it before bringing her to JM City? I would have just treated her as a passerby. After complaining casually in his mind, Xiao Yang transferred the remaining 300,000 yuan to his boss. The latter was naturally very happy and immediately went into the kitchen to help. "Xiao Yang, you stay away from me," Xiao Yang said with some lingering fear. "Why? I'm just bored. I don't even have a cell phone." "How about this? You lend me some money and I'll buy a cell phone later." "How about that?" "Why? No, you promised me to go to the class reunion with you. Honestly, I'll touch your legs and you'll lend me some money. How about that?" After saying that, Zhang Yan tried to pull her skirt up again. "Can you please be more careful in public?" Xiao Yang was scared. Seeing this, Zhang Yan giggled. Instead, she loved teasing Xiao Yang like this. And this trick worked every time. Okay, after dinner. I'll take you to buy a cell phone. Damn, I really don't know if you are sick or I am sick," Xiao Yang said helplessly. But thinking that the car he parked outside was obtained because of Zhang Yan's mission, he felt much more balanced. It's just a mobile phone. How can it be more expensive than a car worth 2 million? You two should stay away from me. Lu Xing rolled his eyes at them. He felt that he must have failed to check the almanac before going out today. My goodness, Xiao Yang had been showing off his wealth in front of him. And he even had to eat a mouthful of dog food. This dish hasn't even been served yet. But I'm already feeling full. After a while, the dishes were served and Xiao Yang and his friends started eating. Zhang Yan, however, stopped acting like a spoiled child this moment and ate her meal in a much more ladylike manner. I wonder if it was because King Xuantong was watching her not far away. "By the way, are you going to the class reunion tonight?" King Xuantong asked. Why not? There are melons." Before he could even say the word eat, Lu Xing quickly shut his mouth. King Xuantong seemed to know nothing about this matter. She just nodded and said, "Why don't you call me when you go? And we can go together." "Okay. Isn't this perfect? I'm going to eat King Xuantong's melon, but I'm afraid if I go too late I won't be able to eat it." "That's perfect. Bring the real owner along so that you can eat the melon on time." Xiao Yang and Lu Xing smiled at each other. Well, good brother. You understand me. After eating, Lu Xing had some things to do, so he left first. After making an appointment, Xiao Yang took Zhang Yan to buy a mobile phone. Xiao Yang. All about you support me, you are so rich. Zhang Yan suddenly said. Ew. Xiao Yang almost spit out the water he had just drunk. Are today's young people playing such a big game? Stop messing around. Buy the phone quickly and go home to see my dad later. Okay, I thought you wouldn't agree. Promise what? What do you think? You said you would take me to meet your dad. But now you're jumping straight to the meeting the parents part. Right, honey? The word dear was so sweet that it almost took Xiao Yang's soul away. Oh my god, who said I promised you? Who said I would take you to meet my parents? Get out of the car, get out now. Xiao Yang was so angry. This little goblin was too tortuous. No, I won't give up even if you kill me. Lu. Seeing Xiao Yang speechless, Zhang Yan showed a smug look on her face. She actually took off her boots, revealing a pair of small feet stepping on the passenger seat and sticking her head out of the sunroof. Xiao Yang didn't pay attention at first, but when he turned around, he found a pair of small feet on his passenger seat. He immediately yelled, Zhang Yan, you want to die? We are in the city. Get off quickly. No, this feels so good. Fuck you. Also, this is my new car, what are you doing? I took off my shoes. It's not okay, even if you take off your shoes you don't mind the stench. Come down quickly. Don't want. Come down, quickly. Xiao Yang pulled Zhang Yan's skirt. Perhaps because she was afraid that her skirt would be torn by Xiao Yang. Zhang Yan retracted her head. Put your shoes on and don't step on the chair. My feet don't stink if you don't believe me, smell it. Zhang Yan said as she moved her little feet closer. Are you looking for death? I'm driving. Fortunately, the light was red. Xiao Yang stopped the car, grabbed Zhang Yan's little feet, and put on her shoes. What she didn't expect was that the noisy Zhang Yan was actually stunned for a moment and obediently let her help her put on her shoes. Okay, stop messing around. I know. Zhang Yan then obediently fastened her seatbelt again and looked out the window. But from this side, Xiao Yang did not notice the blush that flashed across Zhang Yan's face. He bought a mobile phone for Zhang Yan and applied for a card for her using his ID card. And the two of them went shopping in a nearby shopping mall. Xiao Yang, buy some clothes. Are you planning to wear this to the class reunion? What else? Xiao Yang disagreed. This is a very comfortable casual sportswear for me. Zhang Yan shook her head and said, no, your current outfit is too rustic and totally unsuitable for your status. What is my identity? What identity? You are now a wealthy man carrying millions of dollars. Can you be more careful and be more upper class? Do you understand? Zhang Yan raised her eyebrows. Fuck. But in the end, I was still moved. Even though I am not the protagonist at tonight's class reunion, who doesn't want to be the most handsome guy in the audience? After some persuasion, Xiao Yang was dragged into a women's clothing store by Zhang Yan. Yes, it's a women's clothing store. After coming in, Xiao Yang realized that he had been tricked. This isn't buying clothes for herself, it's obviously Zhang Yan who wants to buy them. No, you want to take advantage of me again? Do you know how much money you owe me? Xiao Yang pulled Zhang Yan and wanted to leave. Damn it. I'm spoiled by you. Do you know that my money is also hard to earn? It doesn't seem that difficult. Hey, I will definitely return it to you. No, don't worry, I can just compensate you with myself. Okay. He may be ugly, but he has beautiful thoughts. As they were talking, Zhang Yan had already set her eyes on a dress. Xiao Yang, do you think I look good in this? It doesn't look good. You haven't even seen it, how do you know it's not good? Don't even think about it, you won't look good in anything. DSK, do you know there's a saying that goes, a woman's clothes are a man's face? Zhang Yan said, I'll dress nicely so that you can save face at the class reunion tonight. I'm so annoyed, buy it quickly. Hey. There was a sly gleam in Zhang Yan's eyes. After choosing a few pieces of clothes, Zhang Yan ran to change into them. Xiao Yang. What? Just take a look. Look at shit. Having said that, Xiao Yang still turned around. Zhang Yan changed into a white dress. And a pair of long, shining legs appeared in front of her. Maybe he was a little tired, so Xiao Yang was sitting at the moment. From this perspective, just a little bit to reach the absolute realm. He quickly looked away. Damn it, I was fooled by this woman again. Do you girls like to wear such shorts? It's not cold in this weather. It's cold, so I prepared this. Zhang Yan raised her head and took out a pair of black stockings. Xiao Yang, your legs are so long, can you help me put them on? My hands are not enough. A pair of long legs stretched out. Get lost, your hands are not enough. His face a little hot. Damn it, you are playing with fire again. If you make trouble again, I will kill you, believe it or not. Zhang Yan chuckled and successfully amused Xiao Yang once again. Of course, she wasn't going to put on the stockings here. Zhang Yan went back to the dressing room and put on the stockings. But this time, she changed into a black miniskirt and wore a white shirt on top. Zhang Yan tied her hair into a ponytail and lifted her bangs. Then walked out again. Xiao Yang. Okay, I'm already looking at it. Xiao Yang looked over. White shirt, black skirt, black stockings. And most importantly, a black tie. Is this the legendary JK uniform? Xiao Yang swallowed. Does it look good? Bum. Xiao Yang nodded convinced. I have to say, Zhang Yan has a very good foundation. And with this outfit, she looks like a real queen. Who hasn't fantasized about being pushed down by such a lady? Or pushing such a lady down with the backhand? Seeing Xiao Yang nod, Zhang Yan was obviously much happier. She packed up the little skirt and asked Xiao Yang to pay for it. Fortunately, the clothes are not expensive, and to piece together cost only a few $100s. Xiao Yang paid the money readily, while Zhang Yan walked in front and said, "Let's go, let's look at your clothes now. How about this one?" Walking into the men's clothing store, Zhang Yan picked up a piece of clothing and gestured it in front of Xiao Yang's chest. "No, it's too high profile." Xiao Yang shook his head. TSK, you're a millionaire, what's wrong with being high profile?" Zhang Yan hissed. But it was obvious that she still listened to Xiao Yang's words and no longer had any thoughts on these flashy clothes. After choosing a white shirt, Zhang Yan hurriedly stuffed it into Xiao Yang's hand, and then continued to bury herself in the pile of clothes. Soon, she chose an autumn windbreaker. Who would wear a windbreaker for no reason? Xiao Yang still prefers sportswear. So handsome. With your height, it would be a shame if you don't wear any. Well, let's find a pair of pants that make my legs look longer. Zhang Yan thought, stroking her chin. You just prefer long legs. Xiao Yang looked at Zhang Yan, who was hurriedly choosing clothes, and smiled unconsciously. After choosing the clothes, Xiao Yang didn't say anything. He picked up the clothes and changed. When he came out, Zhang Yan's expression obviously brightened. So handsome. Seeing Zhang Yan swallowing her saliva unconsciously, Xiao Yang's mouth corners slightly raised. The first thing he wanted to do at this moment was to stretch out his legs and then arrogantly say to Zhang Yan, "Long legs, do you want to touch them?" Successful counterattack. Unfortunately, based on his understanding of Zhang Yan, the latter would definitely not hesitate and would grab her directly. Then you will be the one who suffers. Just wear this from now on. It's so pleasing to the eyes. Zhang Yan smiled and took a tie. Look down. Why? I don't want to wear a tie. I'm not wearing a suit. Xiao Yang refused. Be obedient, Zhang Yan said as she stood on tiptoe and pressed Xiao Yang's head down with both hands. Be gentle, you want to break my head. Zhang Yan tied her tie and then looked around at Xiao Yang. TSK, they say clothes make the man, and with my magic touch, you have successfully turned into a handsome guy, Zhang Yan said with satisfaction. Holding her chin, Xiao Yang also walked to the mirror and looked at himself carefully. Bite. John 10. Reward, 30 of Saya N Group shares. The clear voice fell into Xiao Yang's mind. There is a reward for this. Xiao Yang was a little surprised. Zhang Yan's move is truly a masterpiece of God. After all the operations, in addition to the increase in charm value, I also got shares in a certain group. Looking at himself in the mirror, Xiao Yang forced a smile of satisfaction. I don't know if it's because of the increase in charm, but Xiao Yang feels like he seems to be more handsome. Zhang Yan picked out clothes of similar style and asked the clerk to pack them up. Then she walked to Xiao Yang and said, "Go and pay." These were Xiao Yang's own clothes. So of course he wouldn't say anything else. However, when he turned around, Zhang Yan's eyes flashed with an obsession. After Xiao Yang left, she stood there in a daze, muttering to herself, "Xiao Yang, is he so handsome?" For some reason, she felt that Xiao Yang was different from before. I can't describe the feeling, but I always feel that he is more handsome and more attractive than before. As expected of me, Zhang Yan chuckled, obviously taking all of this as her own credit. Night. After picking up Lu Xing at the agreed location, the three of them drove to pick up King Xuantong. Damn it. Lao Xiao. What's wrong? Nothing, Lu Xing shrugged. Do you think I'd become more handsome? How do you know? Lu Xing asked, holding his forehead, but he quickly retorted. Dan, can you not be so thick-skinned? Who says they have become more handsome? Xiao Yang smiled, and suddenly felt that it wasn't such a bad thing for Zhang Yan to follow him. Zhang Yan, on the other hand, was looking at Xiao Yang with a smile on her face, as if she was looking at her own work. That's it, handsome. Soon, we arrived at the restaurant. King Xuantong had obviously waited for a while, but she didn't put on any makeup or change her clothes. The clothes are still the same as I saw them this morning, but this outfit has a unique flavor. Simple and pure. Xiao Yang silently labeled King Xuantong in his heart. The latter's eyes flashed with a strange look after seeing Zhang Yan. I thought you would be late, King Xuantong said with a smile. How can we let our principal wait anxiously? Xiao Yang replied. Don't talk nonsense if you want to talk about the school. It should be your girlfriend. When Zhang Yan heard this, she obviously raised her head a little and a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. No way, Sister King is also very beautiful. As she spoke, Zhang Yan casually stretched her legs forward. Under the dim light, the black stockings appear even more charming. Damn demon. Xiao Yang cursed in his heart, and then explained. Zhang Yan is just an ordinary friend of mine, I just met her today. Oh, you just met today? Your relationship is developing so fast. King Xuantong said in surprise. Soon, attention shifted to Xiao Yang. In just this brief moment, King Xuantong felt her heartbeat quicken by 1 second. Her eyes stayed on Xiao Yang's face for several seconds before moving away. Why does Xiao Yang feel so much more handsome than before? Is it an illusion? Or is it because of the clothes? Why didn't I feel that before now? Detracting their gaze, several people walked towards the car. Zhang Yan opened the car door skillfully and prepared to get on the passenger seat. Xiao Yang pulled her. Go to the back, Lu Xing, you come sit in the front. No, I want to sit in the front. Zhang Yan shook her head and refused. I'd better sit in the back. Lu Xing consciously opened the back door and let King Xuantong get in first. Xiao Yang let out a long sigh. Never mind, I hope Zhang Yan won't be ungrateful and do something else. Otherwise, there will definitely be some kind of friction. By the way, Xiao Yang, aren't you studying in Zhengdu? How come you have time to come back to JM City? Did you come back specially to attend the class reunion? King Xuantong asked puzzled Lai. I came back to see my parents. But you, aren't you also studying in Zhengdu? Yes. But I took a leave to come back because my mother is in the hospital and needs someone to take care of her. And my father is unable to spare the time. King Xuantong sighed as she said this. Hearing this, Xiao Yang naturally felt some empathy. When his father was seriously ill, he also thought about dropping out of school and coming back to take care of his father. It was only because of his mother's insistence that he was able to continue studying until now. You've worked hard, then? Not bad. King Xuantong smiled and said. I heard from my dad that you bought our recipe at a high price. You didn't buy it because of me, did you? A hint of expectation flashed across King Xuantong's face. No. Seeing Zhang Yan pursed her lips, she seemed to be waiting for his explanation. Xiao Yang explained. I really opened a gourmet food store. Otherwise, why would I buy the recipe? And when I decided to buy the recipe, I didn't even know you were Uncle King or your father. Okay, King Xuantong showed a hint of disappointment. Zhang Yan's mouth corners slightly raised, and it was unknown what she was proud of. Finally, we arrived at the place. After getting out of the car, Lu Xing pulled Xiao Yang aside and showed him his phone. Oh, why don't I have this group? This is Li Kangla's group. Lu Xing browsed through it and saw that Li Kang and several classmates were preparing to confess their love to King Xuantong on the spot. Obviously, King Xuantong was not in this small group. She just treated this class reunion as a normal class reunion. Let's go. Xiao Yang looked at the hotel in the distance. The name looks familiar, Saya and Hotel. At this moment, Zhang Yan glanced at the name of the hotel and frowned slightly. She walked forward and naturally took Xiao Yang's arm. Zhao Yan, what are you doing? I don't know if it's because Zhang Yan is too big, or if the posture is just a little weird. Xiao Yang only felt that his elbow seemed to have hit something terrible. Soft. A trace of panic flashed across his face, and he just scolded Zhang Yan and tried to pull his hand out. But Zhang Yan held on tightly, and Xiao Yang not only failed to pull his hand out, but instead, he frantically attacked the high ground while struggling. If you move again. In an instant, Zhang Yan raised her head. Her beautiful eyes slightly raised, and stared at Xiao Yang. Under the moonlight, Xiao Yang seemed to see a slightly more rosy face on someone's face. Xiao Yang really stopped moving, and Zhang Yan started to giggle. But the sound was a little shy. Seeing this scene, King Xuantong was obviously stunned for a moment. Let's go. Zhang Yan turned around and smiled at King Xuantong. At this moment, in the hotel lobby, a boy in a white suit was holding fresh food in his hands. Feeling extremely nervous. He had confessed his feelings several times, but this time, he still felt uneasy. Brother Kang. King Xuantong is here. Are you here? Li Kangyang suppressed his nervousness and waved his hand, saying, everyone, get ready, I'll start right away. As soon as the words fell, the hotel lobby fell silent. The hotel staff also gathered around to watch. This is the configuration for a proposal scene, and it's actually used to confess love. Who can resist such romance? Everyone is looking forward to it, thinking that the girl who is confessed to will definitely cry and agree. Brother Kang. Lu Xing, Xiao Yang and others came with King Xuantong just now, and there seemed to be a girl as well. It's okay. They probably met on the road and came here together. Li Kang didn't think too much about it. On Xiao Yang's side, Several people had already slowly walked into the hotel. Just then, the lights suddenly dimmed. The power is out. Ying Xuantong shouted in panic. It's her voice. Li Kang was full of excitement. Is this the confession scene? Xiao Yang was a little surprised. Quite creative. I just don't know when. A pair of hands suddenly touched me. A beam of light suddenly fell down and shone on Li Kang. He straightened his clothes and behaved very coolly. Another beam of light fell on Xiao Yang's side. Li Kang didn't look at it anymore. Just walked along. Then, get down on one knee. Ying Xuantong. My goddess. I like you, and I think after all these years, you should know my true feelings. As the saying goes, if you keep thinking about something, there will be a response. A world can bear witness to my feelings for you. The words haven't finished yet. But everyone else was stunned. Xiao Yang's voice suddenly came. Squad leader, I feel so unworthy of such a great gift. Li Kang looked up blankly, and saw Xiao Yang in front of him. You guys, Li Kang pointed at Xiao Yang. He seemed to be too excited and couldn't speak clearly. Xiao Yang was stunned for a moment, a little confused. She turned her head and realized that King Xuantong's hand had been placed on her arm without her noticing. Holy shit. When did it happen? How come I don't know? Ying Xuantong whispered in Xiao Yang's ear, I'm afraid of the dark. After thinking for a while, the voice came again, help me. Everyone at the scene was silent. Everyone was stunned. What is going on? Why did King Xuantong hold Xiao Yang's hand? Wait, who is the other beauty? Is Xiao Yang surrounded by girls? For a moment, the boys all looked at her with envy and jealousy. Xiao Yang himself was bewildered. Finally, a voice was heard in the silent environment. Is this a welcome program? What a great idea! It was Zhang Yan's voice. It was this pleasant voice that immediately brought everyone back to reality. Are there any other programs? If not, turn on the lights. I'm afraid of the dark, Zhang Yan said. Who is this girl? For a moment, the students who were controlling the lights were all stunned and subconsciously turned on the lights. In an instant, the magnificent hotel lobby lit up. At the same time, a 5-layer cake was placed in the center of the hall. Xuantong. Li Kang was stunned and at a loss. Xiao Yang really wanted to hold his forehead to show that he was just a spectator. But unfortunately, both of his hands were held and he had no space to support his forehead. He shrugged his shoulders, looking helpless. But in Li Kang's eyes, this expression was naked show-off. Xiao Yang, Li Kang squeezed out 2 words from between his teeth, and glared at Xiao Yang. I said this is, Xiao Yang really wanted to explain it. But at this moment, a voice suddenly sounded in my mind. Bite. Mission, Confession Night. Option 1, pretend to be King Xuantong's boyfriend and help King Xuantong reject Li Kang's confession. Reward Zhangdu Xing Fuyu and Villa 1. Option 2, cut off all ties with King Xuantong. Reward, 3 million yuan. Option 3, confess to King Xuantong. Reward, Universal Skill Book 1. Is this also a mission? Xiao Yang thought about it and ruled out option 3 first. Wow, you're still confessing. I've already confessed 99 times. Option 2 is something I can consider, but it would cost 3 million and a villa. It's such a hard decision. Just as Xiao Yang was hesitating, Zhang Yan also noticed that King Xuantong was actually holding Xiao Yang's hand. Suddenly, Zhang Yan gave him a hostile look. Ying Xuantong. What are you doing? Zhang Yan, what are you doing? Why are you pulling my boyfriend's hand? Who knew that the next second? King Xuantong also jumped up and looked at Zhang Yan with her head raised. The voice fell. The whole audience was silent. Li Kang was already stunned. Ying Xuantong's words are still fresh in my mind. My boyfriend? Ying Xuantong looked at Li Kang, who was still kneeling on one knee, and said faintly. Sorry, I have a boyfriend. Xiao Yang, he's my boyfriend. What? Li Kang raised his head and felt numb. He glanced at Xiao Yang, then at King Xuantong, and then his gaze fell on Zhang Yan. Zhang Yan pursed her lips at this time, and her face did not look good. Seeing Li Kang's eyes on her, Zhang Yan glared at him and said, What are you looking at? I'm Xiao Yang's girlfriend. What's wrong? Is there a problem? As soon as these words came out, the whole audience was shocked. Fuck. I'll go. My uncle. Do all the young people nowadays play so big? All the boys looked at her with great envy. Being hugged by women on both sides, this only happens in dreams. And she is a school-level beauty who is as beautiful as King Xuantong. Look at the long legs. Don't even mention playing with your legs for years. Even if you play with it for a lifetime, you won't get tired of it. Xiao Yang was also confused at this time. He was still thinking about which task to choose. But somehow he became the boyfriend of 2 people. What is this? Bite. Complete achievement, hug left and right. Achievement reward. 10 of Saya N Group shares. There are rewards for this too. Xiao Yang was stunned. Saya N Group again. By this calculation, I now control 40 of Saya N Group shares. So it seems that I have to study this Saya N group carefully when I have time. Perhaps it was because Xiaoyang had been in a daze for too long that the system automatically defaulted. Another clear voice rang in my mind. Bite. Task completed. Reward, Happy Garden Villa 1. Seeing that Xiaoyang didn't say anything, he just stared blankly ahead. Li Kang's defense was completely broken. Xiaoyang. UTM. You're the one, are you sick? You're just having a class reunion, but you've made so much trouble. Xiaoyang didn't say anything, but Lu Xing stood up. Xiaoyang was stunned for a moment, not knowing what to say. At this time, the two women, one in each hand, dragged Xiaoyang into the hotel. Lu Xing Yu. Li Kang was about to retort, but when he turned around, he found that Xiaoyang and others who were just in front of him had disappeared. Looking back again, the three of them were in perfect harmony, holding hands. Well, I have so many hands, which makes others envious. Compared with this scene, it seemed as if what just happened was just a joke. Yes, a joke. In everyone's eyes, I am nothing but a joke. Li Kang climbed up and said angrily, how could they? How could they be so excessive? Xiaoyang, how could Xiaoyang do this? How dare he do this? After hearing Li Kang's words, everyone had the same thought. Yes, how could Xiaoyang do this? The beautiful women, hugging each other on both sides. This is too much. Disgusted, you scumbag. You are the one who I think has gone too far. Lu Xing's voice came faintly. Xiaoyang, no matter what, how people fall in love is someone else's freedom, but it's you. You confess your feelings in front of Xiaoyang, your boyfriend. And it's good that you haven't been beaten up by Xiaoyang. What's wrong? You still want us to do it again, right? I think you can just be jealous that's called ability. You want to be surrounded by girls, don't you? Anyway, I don't believe that everyone here has never thought about being surrounded by girls. No, Xiaoyang doesn't like Xuanji as a scumbag. He just wants Xuanshan's body. He is a despicable man. Nonsense, you are noble if you don't covet King Xuanton's body. How about this, let King Xuanton say that she likes you and give her body to Xiaoyang. Then she can have fun every night and have many children and grandchildren. How about that? Lu Xing said with a sigh, then turned around and followed Xiaoyang inside. Damn it, I'm actually pretty lowly to everyone here. Who isn't greedy? It's just that we can't get what we want. So we're just jealous. Here, Li Kang opened his mouth but said nothing. Lu Xing is right. If King Xuanton wasn't pretty and he wasn't greedy for her body, who would go to such great lengths to express his love for her? Oh shit. Despicable. He looked at the figure that was already walking away. I am completely numb. Before Xiaoyang could react, King Xuantong and Zhang Yan ragged him in. At this moment, both of them lowered their heads at the same time. Next second, I came in first. Zhang Yan put her hands on her hips, looking very happy. King Xuantong sighed and held Xiaoyang's arm with a little more strength, as if complaining about why he didn't enter with his left foot. In this way, she would probably be faster than Zhang Yan. Childish, Xiaoyang spat out two words. Who can tell me what these two childish ghosts are thinking? Also, can you let yourself go? Meow, I'm out of breath. Do you know that? Also, please tell yourself, do you want to go left or right? Do you want to tear me apart? When he was in high school, Xiaoyang always thought that King Xuantong was a quiet, pure, fresh type of beauty. Only today did she realize that this was all this woman's disguise. Of course, it is also possible that he was infected by the enchantress Zhang Yan. Xiaoyang turned his head and glanced at Zhang Yaojing. The latter curled his lips downward, looking somewhat smug. Just as the three of them were thinking about their own things, the lights in the private room suddenly flickered. 7 different lights were scattered down. With a bang, gifts are everywhere. Countless pieces of paper were sprayed into the sky, creating an extremely festive effect. Xiaoyang really wanted to tear off the colorful paper, but his hands were tightly held by the two women and he couldn't pull them free. At the same time, a group of voices suddenly rang out. Congratulations to the class monitor and classmate King Xuantong for joining hands in the future. I wish you a long and happy life together. Hold your hand and grow old with you. All female voices. Only then did Xiaoyang understand. It seems that Li Kang's creativity is not just what's happening outside. He's also working on something inside. Just when I was about to speak, a small cake appeared in front of me. With Xiaoyang's skills, it would be easy for him to avoid such a sneak attack. Obviously, Zhang Yan and King Xuantong also realized this sudden disaster and immediately pulled Xiaoyang away. But who knew that it would be fine if you didn't pull it? But once you pulled it, screams were heard. I beg you. Please stop torturing me otherwise, just cut me into slices. That for each of you it will be easier, this is too much torture. Xiaoyang's voice came. Zhang Yan and the other two finally reacted. One of them pulled Xiaoyang to the left, and the other pulled Xiaoyang to the right. It would be strange if you could dodge it. The small cake hit Xiaoyang right in the face. It was over, and the girl who smashed the cake was still very pleased with herself. Class monitor, are you surprised? Are you surprised? Surprise, surprise, Xiaoyang's face darkened. Everyone was also surprised by this sentence. The light is turned on. Xiaoyang's face was covered with cake. And Zhang Yan and the other person beside him hurriedly helped him to remove the cake from his face. Everyone was stunned. This is? At least they were sure of one thing. Li Kang was not that tall, not that thin, and not that handsome. The cream on his face was wiped off, and Xiaoyang's face became clear. Only then did everyone recognize him. Xiaoyang, why are you here? Where is the class monitor? The girl was surprised. Xiaoyang didn't say anything, just rubbed his temple. My arms are sore after all this trouble. Are you okay? Xiaoyang, King Xuantong said with a hint of apology. What do you think? I think you two are planning to tear me apart. Xiaoyang said with a hint of anger. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. Zhang Yan also realized that Xiaoyang seemed to be really angry. And apologized repeatedly. Damn it, I came here to eat spectators. But now I'm the one being eaten, what bad luck. Xiaoyang cursed inwardly. The two of them took tissues to help Xiaoyang clean the cream off his face. Looking apologetic. The others were completely stunned and stood there at a loss as to what to do. But soon they realized a problem. Ding Xuantong was here helping Xiaoyang wipe his face. And had just been holding Xiaoyang's hand. Where is Li Kang? Where is the monitor? Everyone stared in astonishment. They didn't know what had just happened in the hotel lobby. No, it's all got into my clothes and it's sticky. Xiaoyang frowned. Why don't you go get a room and take a shower? I'll get you clothes. Zhang Yan thought for a moment and said. Fortunately, I didn't just buy this set of clothes, I also had some in the car. Okay, Xiaoyang was a little helpless. Not only did he not get to eat the melon, but he also encountered this hopeless disaster. Ying Xuantong looked at Zhang Yan, who had already left, and immediately rubbed Xiaoyang's arm, saying, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Does your arm still hurt? Xiaoyang was still a little angry at the moment, but he just said coldly, what do you think? I'm really afraid that you two will tear me apart. How can you be so childish? As he said this, he moved his arm and grinned. It was indeed still a little painful. Seeing this, a trace of confusion flashed across King Xuantong's face. She hesitated for a moment, then suddenly raised her head. And the red lips suddenly fell on Xiaoyang's face. This scene stunned everyone. They had not known what was happening. But now they understood. This is simply critical hit. A big critical hit. Xiaoyang was also confused. Sneak attack. He was ambushed. King Xuantong, his classmate for 3 years in high school, he always felt that this girl was the epitome of purity and shyness. And now, this girl actually launched a sneak attack and secretly gave herself a MUA. What is this? At this moment, King Xuantong, the instigator, blinked her eyes, with a hint of shyness on her red face. Does it still hurt? Eyes met. Xiaoyang was so angry when he saw the girl in front of him with a red face. You took advantage of me, and now you ask me if it hurts? What do you think, King Xuantong, are you sick? You've watched too many Mary Sue TV dramas. Do you think your saliva is a panacea? It hurts, of course it hurts. If you see someone who is sick, just give him a kiss and heal him. Do you think I'm Snow White or Prince Charming? After cursing, Xiaoyang turned his head away, his cheeks feeling a little hot. Theft. Xiaoyang's sentences also made King Xuantong laugh. Originally she felt so ashamed and awkward to kiss Xiaoyang in front of so many people. But now, after hearing these two sentences from Xiaoyang, she had a different feeling. Looking at Xiaoyang again, he turned his head away like a little wife, looking unhappy. King Xuantong turned around and walked to the other side. What? Are you unhappy? How about this? I'll kiss this side again to balance it out. Okay. King Xuantong stretched out her hands to hold Xiaoyang's face and said with blinking eyes. She seemed to understand why Zhang Yan liked to tease Xiaoyang so much. Because Xiaoyang was so funny. Sure enough, Xiaoyang's face turned red and he turned his head away. Get lost, King Xuantong, you have no shame, but I still have some. Bah, get lost, you stinky rascal. King Xuantong laughed even louder. Xiaoyang, this is so funny. Everyone is still in a daze at this moment. Is this King Xuantong? That should be it. I've read in novels that there seems to be a setting called possession. I really want to know what happened to King Xuantong during her 3 years in college. Why do I feel so sour? The air is full of the sour smell of love. A girl said enviously, holding her cheek. At this time, King Xuantong didn't care about what everyone said at all. Teased Xiaoyang with a smile. Does it still hurt? Roll. If I give you another kiss, it won't hurt anymore. Get lost, King Xuantong, you are so disgusting, get down from here. This scene is like a female hooligan easing a weak scholar. However, this female hooligan was their once pure school goddess. And the next second, at the door, bang! The bouquet of roses in Li Kang's hand fell to the ground. What did he see? Did you see your goddess grabbing another boy and trying to kiss him? What the hell? Who can accept this? In my heart, Ying Xuantong is a sacred and untouchable goddess, the symbol of youth, purity and holiness. And now, this embodiment of holiness and purity is teasing a boy. It collapsed. My mentality collapsed. Make way, a voice came from behind. Zhang Yan is back. As soon as the people arrived, they saw this scene. Ying Xuantong, what are you doing? She took advantage of me. Hurry up and bring her to justice. She bullied me. Xiao Yang pointed at King Xuantong. What, King Xuantong, what did you do to Xiao Yang? I just kissed him. Who made him keep crying out in pain? Don't they say in ED dramas that if a boy is in pain, a kiss from a girl will make it all right, so I just gave it a try. Ying Xuantong pouted and said nonchalantly. You kissed him. Ying Xuantong, are you crazy? Where did you kiss, the left or the right cheek? Zhang Yan took a look and soon saw a lip mark on the left cheek. Ying Xuantong smiled and didn't care at all, as if the lip print was a stamp she had made herself. It's done, Xiao Yang is mine. No, I want one too. Zhang Yan was furious. He immediately moved his face forward. Xiao Yang's face suddenly turned pale and he quickly pushed Zhang Yan away. You are all poisonous, right? Go ahead and kiss whoever you want. Get out of here, he said this and hurriedly walked out of the private room. Then he bumped into someone. I'm sorry, squad leader. Are you okay? I hope I didn't hurt you. No, it's okay. Li Kang's mouth twitched. I'm glad you're okay. You, Ray, the squad leader after all. So keep King Xuantong in check. She is just a female hooligan who kisses anyone she catches. She's vicious. Xiao Yang rolled his eyes at King Xuantong and wiped the lipstick mark off his face with disgust. Li Kang's mouth twitched. Yes, female hooligan. You kiss whoever you catch, right? If you ask her to kiss me, I promise I won't wash my face for a year. I'm warning you. Xiao Yang, don't go too far. But Xiao Yang had already run away, and left with only one sentence. You guys eat first, I'm going to get a room and take a shower. You don't have to wait for me. Li Kang looked at the two officers who were staring at each other in the private room. Then looked at the people inside and outside the private room looking at each other in bewilderment. He stood there for a moment, at a loss as to what to do. What am I going to do? Confession? This is just bullshit. Lu Xing looked at the clothes in his hand and went after Xiao Yang. King Xuantong raised her eyebrows. Now you admit defeat. Xiao Yang, I kissed you first. Zhang Yan bit her lip. And her meaning was equally clear. You secretly attacked me while I was away. You are so shameless. Come and fight me openly if you have the guts. Xiao Yang quickly booked a room here. Boys take a shower very quickly. They take a shower, put on clothes and go downstairs again. The whole process takes only about 10 minutes. But when he arrived at the private room, the table had not yet started. Are you waiting for me? Xiao Yang was a little surprised. No, how can I eat this? Xiao Yang took a look and realized that the celebration just now might have been too enthusiastic. Many of the paper notes sprayed out by the gift fell on the dishes. And because of the falling cake, the scene was even more messy. This doesn't look like a proper private room at all. Just go to another private room and serve the food again. No big deal, Xiao Yang said disapprovingly. But we have to change the private room again. Someone frowned. Xiao Yang understood immediately. This class reunion was on a split income basis, of course. Since it was organized by Li Kang, he paid the lion's share. But now, the confession went wrong and the scene was a mess again. If it is successful, Li Kang is willing to pay more money to book a private room and serve new dishes. It's not a big problem. But now it failed. How can I ask him to pay more money? But it be that because his confession failed, everyone has to pool their money together again to book a private room? How about this? Let's get a new private room and I'll pay. It was supposed to be a good class reunion, but it turned into such a mess because of him. And he didn't care about the money. He called the waiter over and said, "Please open a new private room for me." "Sir, do you want a room similar to the one we have now?" "Yeah," Xiao Yang nodded. "I'm sorry sir, all our private rooms are booked. Now only Jinyu Yaji's private room no. One is vacant. Would you like to book our Jinyu Yaji's private room no? One?" said the waiter with a smile. "Order," Xiao Yang said without blinking. As soon as these words came out, everyone gasped. A male classmate came over immediately. "Xiao Yang, what are you doing? Do you know how much it costs to reserve the no? One private room at Jinyu Elegant Pavilion. Just say you want to reserve it. If not, we can change the table and let the waiter clean up before we sit down." "Yeah, the private room number 1 in Jinyu YH seems to cost at least 200,000. As soon as the words fell, everyone gasped. "Is it so expensive? 200,000 for a private room? The waiter looked at everyone and said with a smile. Yes, the price of the no. One private room in our hotel's Jinyu Accord is 200. Zero, of course, we will prepare the dishes, and these are not considered extra costs. 200,000. Xiaoyang was also a little surprised. But after thinking about it, I realized that I had gained so much today thanks to this class reunion. So I waved my hand and said, 200,000 is 200,000. Just have fun, sorry for the trouble. After that, he took out his bank card and handed it to the waiter. There is no password. Okay, please move to room no. One of the Jinyu YH on the top floor with your classmates. After saying that, the waiter called a colleague over on the pager and asked him to take Xiaoyang and the others upstairs. As the hotel's highest standard private room, Jinyu YH has a special elevator to go upstairs. And there are waiters in the elevator. It was the first time for everyone to see such a service. And they couldn't help but chatter about it. Xiaoyang, when did you become so rich? This is 200,000. I did a little business. Xiaoyang smiled slightly. Xiaoyang, you are not the invisible rich second generation. The people who came to the parents' meeting before were actually your servants. And Zhang Yan and King Xuantong appeared on the left and right of Xiaoyang like protectors. Different from the previous immaturity. This time, both of them held their chests high. Look, this is my man. Li Kang was the only one left in the original private room. He stared stupidly at the mess in the room. What should I do now? Do you want to go over and have dinner with your classmates? If I go over now, will I lose face? It's just I spent so much money. It's impossible for me to get nothing. Come to think of it, I have only heard of the Jinyu YH of Saya and hotel, but never been there after all. It costs 200,000 a night. If it's 200,000, after dividing it up, it would be about 7,000 to 8,000 per person. If you think about it this way, in order to avoid losing money, should I go up? Li Kang gritted his teeth and said, I must go. Wouldn't it be a big loss if he didn't go? It was Xiaoyang who paid for it anyway. Besides, King Xuantong had been seduced away by him. So 200,000 was nothing if he could win King Xuantong over. He would pay the 200,000. What, no money? If you don't have money, just take out a loan. I already have the goddess. So what's the big deal about taking out a loan? After thinking everything through, Li Kang immediately walked up. Outside the Jinyu Elegant Pavilion, Li Kang stopped. He knew that if he went in, his reputation as a squad leader would be gone. What to do? Old Xiao, it's true. I haven't seen you for 3 years. I'm impressed by you. Old Xiao, please take care of your buddies when you first enter society. Xiaoyang, do you have any friends who are as handsome and rich as you? Xiaoyang responded one by one and seemed to have become the protagonist of this party. Suddenly, a voice was heard. How about I suggest that we let Lao Xiao be the class monitor? In the future, when there are class reunions, let him organize them. After all, Lao Xiao is so rich. Yes, how about Lao Xiao be the monitor? I agree. It's not appropriate. Xiaoyang refused. Li Kang is our squad leader. Don't dismiss him with just one word. What do you mean Li Kang is the class monitor? He is not a class monitor in the rightful title. Who would accept this? Besides, we have all graduated now. It is not normal to elect a new class monitor. That's right. I agree that Lao Xiao should be the squad leader. Yes. I agree Xiaoyang is handsome, rich, and has good character. If he doesn't become the squad leader, who will? Be the monitor. Be the monitor. Be the monitor. The crowd began to applaud with great enthusiasm. Outside the door, Li Kang's face turned green. Under what circumstances would your squad leader be removed? You usurped the throne too quickly. Now, are you still going in? What the hell? Li Kang took a breath and turned away. Chapter 21. The stamp was stamped in the wrong place. Has Xiaoyang always been so popular? Zhang Yan pulled King Xuantong over and asked. Xiaoyang has always been popular. But this is too exaggerated. King Xuantong looked at Xiaoyang, who was toasting with everyone, and shook her head. I guess if it weren't for this private room, he wouldn't be so popular. In addition, I don't know if it was because of the alcohol or something else, but the girls all blushed when they looked at Xiaoyang. Why didn't I think Xiaoyang was so handsome before? Yeah, I used to think he was tall and sunny, but today I think he's so handsome. This is what it means for men to change as they grow older. The girls were whispering, but the topic always revolved around Xiaoyang. The party didn't go on till late after everyone had enough food and drinks and chatted for a while. It was over. The boys exchanged glances and originally wanted to invite Xiaoyang to have a massage or something. But after looking at the two beauties beside him, they gave up. At this time, Xiaoyang already looked a little drunk. He can drink a lot, but today his classmates were too enthusiastic. And he was happy, so he drank a little more. As everyone walked out of the hotel, Zhang Yan and King Xuantong supported Xiaoyang together. One on the left and one on the right, making everyone envious. You go first, go first. Xiao Yang waved his hand. Everyone said goodbye to Xiao Yang and left. Xiao Yang, where are we going now? Zhang Yan was a little troubled. Go home. Xiao Yang was drunk and said with a smell of alcohol. I don't know how to drive. Zhang Yan was helpless. Let's call a designated driver. Lu Xing came up from behind. Well, call a designated driver to take Xuantong back first. King Xuantong said it was no problem. Soon, the designated driver arrived. Xiao Yang had fallen asleep, but Lu Xing knew where Xiao Yang's home was. After sending King Xuantong away, he drove to Xiao Yang's home. Xiao Yang half closed his eyes, then opened them and immediately sobered up. Perhaps because Zhang Yan was afraid that Xiao Yang would not be comfortable sitting there. She turned Xiao Yang's body to the side and rested his head on her legs. The skirt is not short. Black silk is not considered black. The scene in front of me is not clear. This angle, a little dark. But I don't know why, the less I can see, the more mysterious it becomes, and the more mysterious it becomes. Xiao Yang took a deep breath, and a fresh fragrance came to his face. He turned his head and tried to pull himself up. His face was hot. And he didn't know if it was because he was drunk or because he had seen something he shouldn't have seen. Zhang Yan also reacted at this moment seeing Xiao Yang stand up. She turned her head away, looked at the scenery receding outside the window, and said nothing. The air became a little ambiguous. Xiao Yang rubbed his eyes, but the blurry image remained in his mind. His stomach suddenly churned and Xiao Yang hammered his chest. Seeing this, Zhang Yan hurriedly patted Xiao Yang on the back. What's wrong? Are you feeling uncomfortable? If you feel uncomfortable, just spit it out. It will be fine after spitting it out. It's okay. After feeling uncomfortable, Xiao Yang let out a long sigh. I can't vomit, this is my new car, Xiao Yang muttered while blinking. Zhang Yan was immediately amused by him. Good man. You are still thinking about the car. Okay, wait a little longer. We'll be there soon. Zhang Yan smiled, hugged Xiao Yang, and rested his head on her shoulder. Yeah, Xiao Yang nodded and closed his eyes again. Seeing Xiao Yang's well-behaved appearance, Zhang Yan couldn't help but take out her newly bought mobile phone. Crack. Wow, no need to rent out the photo. Zhang Yan was very satisfied looking at this extremely harmonious photo. She was already a school-level beauty, and Xiao Yang's looks weren't bad either. So any casual photo of the two of them looked like a reach-out one. She stroked her chin and thought for a moment. How about taking advantage of me? If there were people around who knew Zhang Yan, they would be shocked by what she said. Zhang Yan has been an outstanding beauty since childhood and her family is well off. The people pursuing her can line up from here to Kyoto. But precisely because of this, she has felt very lonely since she was a child. Everyone who has any contact with me is basically trying to gain something for myself. Needless to say, boys basically all have the same purpose, while many girls want to establish a relationship with me. So she has always felt very uncomfortable being with others. Only Xiao Yang made me feel comfortable following him. Moreover, Xiao Yang didn't care about his appearance at all. From beginning to end, she had never seen anything else in Xiao Yang's eyes. In one sentence, to pure to be a man. He is said to be an abstinent guy. But he is not that cold. On the contrary, it seems like I am trying to gain something from him. Zhang Yan thought about it and looked at Xiao Yang's left cheek. But there seemed to be a trace of invisible lip marks still left. This is the seal stamped by King Xuantong. I want to build one myself. I have to say, once a girl's competitive spirit arises, all the reservedness is just a passing cloud. After thinking for a while, Zhang Yan lifted up Xiao Yang's heavy head. Take a photo. Don't move. Zhang Yan held the camera in one hand and supported Xiao Yang's head with the other. Then she pouted and prepared to stamp it. At this moment, Xiao Yang, perhaps because he was irritated by Zhang Yan's words, don't move, changed his head to a comfortable position and rested it on the pillow. MUA crack. Okay. Zhang Yan's face rarely showed a hint of shyness, and she took out her phone and started looking at it. But when she saw the photo, she was completely stunned. In the photo, Xiao Yang still had his eyes closed, very quiet, and she held Xiao Yang's head and kissed him. The only difference was that, unlike what she had imagined, she had originally intended to kiss Xiao Yang's right cheek. But it was built in the wrong place. This is not a face kiss, this is already mouth to mouth. Zhang Yan clenched her fists and for a moment forgot everything that had happened before. My first kiss. It was the first mouth-to-mouth kiss. It's gone just like that. She held her forehead and tried to calm herself down. Damn it, Xiao Yang, are you sick? Why did you suddenly turn your head around? Zhang Yan cursed, feeling helpless. However, it is obvious that there is more shyness in this helplessness. We're here, Didi's designated driver service is over. Remember to give us a good review. Or here. Xiao Yang. Zhang Yan glanced at Xiao Yang, who was resting his head on her shoulder. It has to be said that she was really attracted by Xiao Yang's looks. Even at such a close distance, she could clearly feel his breathing. Zhang Yan suddenly didn't want to wake Xiao Yang up anymore. Time passed slowly, and only 2 people were left in the car. The surroundings gradually became quiet, with only the sound of Xiao Yang's breathing remaining in his ears. Zhang Yan also closed her eyes, just reached out and hugged Xiao Yang, letting time pass. Perhaps at some moments, she hoped that time would stop at this moment forever. Chapter 22. Meeting the parents. A beam of light suddenly fell down. Xiao Yang, a voice came. Zhang Yan opened her eyes and looked at the middle-aged woman who was looking at her with a flashlight. Auntie. Xiao Yang was still sleeping like a pig. Zhang Yan didn't expect to be disturbed at this moment. Her face was flushed and she even stuttered when she spoke. This was none other than Xiao's mother. It turned out that Xiao's mother heard some noise outside the house early in the morning. So she got up in the dark and turned on a flashlight. She found that it was Xiao Yang's car, so she came over to check it out. Seeing Xiao Yang resting his head on Zhang Yan's shoulder at this time, a smile suddenly broke out on his face. Aren't you the girl who slept in Xiao Yang's car during the day? Auntie, you are. I am Xiao Yang's mother. Xiao's mother showed a motherly smile. Auntie, hello, I'm Xiao Yang's friend. I really met the parents. Zhang Yan suddenly became a little nervous, biting her lips and feeling a little at a loss. What are you doing? Xiao Yang was at a classmate party and got drunk. So, before this, Zhang Yan had always been careless about meeting her parents. But when she really met them, she wanted to dig a hole in the ground and crawl into it. Hey, kid, why did he drink so much? Xiao's mother scolded and patted Xiao Yang. But at this time Xiao Yang was extremely drunk and did not move. Thank you for your hard work, you are such a good kid. You even brought Xiao Yang back. Zhang Yan's face immediately turned shy after hearing this. It wasn't me who sent Xiao Yang back, to be precise. It was me who was pestering Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang doesn't drink much alcohol actually. I'll teach him a lesson later. Why does he drink so much alcohol for no reason? Xiao's mother said this with gritted teeth, but she couldn't stop smiling. After saying that, she asked Zhang Yan to wait for a moment and went back to the house to call Father Xiao. Speaking of which, the effect of the Huanshen pill was indeed good enough. In just half a day, Father Xiao was now completely different from his previous sickly appearance. When Xiao's father came out and saw Zhang Yan supporting Xiao Yang, his face immediately filled with smiles. Hey, I'll come. Father Xiao helped Xiao Yang into the house, while Mother Xiao took Zhang Yan's hand and started chatting. Earl, are you and Xiao Yang classmates? No, I'm his friend. Zhang Yan thought for a moment, looked at Xiao Yang's back, and smiled faintly. I see. How old are you? Auntie? I'm just 20. He is the same age as Xiao Yang. And he is also 20 years old. Xiao's mother laughed immediately and took Zhang Yan's hand and went into the house. By the way, girl, I haven't asked your name yet. My name is Zhang Yan. Zhang means ginger, and Yan means female. What a good name. Good. And auntie will call you Shai Chown. Okay. Shai Chown, did you just drink alcohol at the party? Are you hungry? Do you want your aunt to make something for you? Xiao's mother said enthusiastically and stood up immediately. No, auntie, I'm not hungry. Oh, that's good. Xiao's mother laughed repeatedly and looked at Zhang Yan, becoming more and more satisfied. This girl is pretty, polite and well educated. I really don't know how her family educated her. It would be best if this was my daughter-in-law. Thank you so much for sending Xiao Yang back tonight. It should be done. Then auntie has a question for you. How far have you and Xiao Yang progressed? Zhang Yan was stunned. His face turned red instantly, like a ripe strawberry. Seeing Zhang Yan's look, Xiao's mother immediately understood. And the nearly 40 episodes of Campus Love Story instantly popped up in her mind. Okay, auntie won't ask any more questions. You young people should make your own decisions. Xiao's mother smiled. Before they knew it, the two had been chatting in the living room for an hour. At this moment, Xiao's mother suddenly stood up and looked at the big clock in the living room. Oh Shai Chown, we were so busy chatting that we forgot to send you home. Xiao's mother said apologetically. Look, it's already 1 o'clock. It's not safe for a girl like you to go back now. I'll ask Xiao Yang. Look at auntie's memory. Xiao Yang is drunk. Why don't you stay here tonight? Don't go home, it's not safe too late. Xiao's mother held Zhang Yan's hand tightly and said enthusiastically. Auntie, this isn't so good. Zhang Yan took a quick look. That should be Xiao Yang's room. It's okay, it's so late. We get along so well, let's just leave it at that. I'll get you a towel. Take a shower and then rest. Okay, auntie, Zhang Yan said obediently. Come to think of it, our family wasn't originally like this. Your uncle had a hard life and suffered from many illnesses. Fortunately, he is well now. Xiao Yang can also make money. Tomorrow, let him buy a big house, Xiao's mother said happily. Suddenly, she paused. It's over, there's no room in our house. Ah, Zhang Yan was also stunned. Although Xiao Yang's house looks a bit old, it seems to be quite large. What is that room with the closed door used for? Following Zhang Yan's gaze, Xiao's mother waved her hand. That's the utility room. That's too late to clean it up. What should I do? Or you can just make do with Xiao Yang. Huh? When Xiao's mother finished speaking, Zhang Yan was stunned. Can you just make do with it? Is this okay? Then let's not do that. Auntie, I'll go find a hotel. No, the hotel is unsanitary and unsafe. Besides, it's so late, I'm not sure if I can get a room. Zhang Yan's face was flushed. She admitted that she felt comfortable and happy with Xiao Yang, but it was just a favorable impression, and it didn't rise to that level. This is too fast, isn't it? She pursed her lips, and the scene in the car just now emerged in her mind. Xiao Yang rested his head on his shoulder like a child, and his heartbeat suddenly quickened. It's like this. When Xiao Yang was little, he always wanted to sleep with his grandma. Later when he grew up, we bought him a bunk bed. Now that grandma doesn't live here anymore, you can sleep on the top and Xiao Yang can sleep on the bottom. As she spoke, Xiao's mother opened the door to Xiao Yang's room. Xiao Yang was seen lying on the bed with his arms and legs spread out, without changing his clothes. And this bed is indeed a double bed, with a bunk bed on top. If that's the case, it's not unacceptable. Don't worry, Xiao Yang is unconscious, he won't do anything to you. It's late, Shai-Kun, just take care of yourself, go take a shower and go to bed. As he said that, he stuffed the towel into Zhang Yan's hand and pushed her into the room. With a bang, the door was closed. Outside the door, Xiao's mother smiled with great relief. At this moment, she wanted to wake Xiao Yang up quickly and discuss the matter of her grandson with Zhang Yan. Chapter 23. Li Kang jumped from the building. Everything became quiet. Very quiet. It was so quiet that Zhang Yan felt like there were only her and Xiao Yang in the world. The sound of Xiao Yang's steady breathing could be heard from the lower bunk. The sound was very soft but very clear. In addition, there is the sound of your own heartbeat. Bang bang. Bang bang. Zhang Yan leaned her head down, and the dim moonlight shone in from the windowsill and sprinkled on Xiao Yang's face. For a moment, Zhang Yan felt that her mind was filled with Xiao Yang's figure. She stretched out her hand. After thinking for a while, he climbed down from the bed, supported his cheek and started watching beside Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang, why are you so handsome? Zhang Yan couldn't help but mutter to herself. For some reason, Zhang Yan felt like she could never get tired of looking at Xiao Yang at this moment. Perhaps because she was sleepy, Zhang Yan leaned her head towards Xiao Yang's body. The next morning, Xiao Yang rubbed his eyes. The dazzling sunlight made it difficult for him to open his eyes. The alcohol from last night still made his head a little dizzy. He lifted the cup and was instantly stunned. No wonder he felt like he was caught by a giant squid and crawling on him in his dream. My goodness, when he took another look, it was clearly a young girl, lying on top of him. Her clear cheeks looked white and rosy in the sunlight. Xiao Yang suddenly felt his heart beating very fast. His face turned hot, and he suddenly felt a little at a loss. Question: when I woke up, I saw a beautiful girl sleeping on top of me. What to do? Waiting online, very urgent. Xiao Yang swallowed his saliva. But at this moment, he felt a certain part of his body was very active. Logically speaking, this is a normal phenomenon for boys when they wake up in the morning. In such a scene, is it suitable? Brother, can you please lower your head? Xiao Yang was numb. If I move, she will wake up. What should I do then? The company is dead. He will definitely die socially. If I see you again, that would be adding death to death. Or sleep a little longer. Xiao Yang gently covered the quilt again. At this moment, the ginger fairy moved again. Xiao Yang couldn't help but hold his breath and dared not move. Just then, the door opened. Xiao Yang, it's getting late. Let's eat. Eyes met. Xiao Yang's eyes met his mother's. At this moment, a voice sounded softly. Xiao Yang, don't move. It was Zhang Yan's voice. Xiao's mother's pupils dilated. She raised her hand and gave a thumbs up, then quietly walked out of the room and closed the door again. Xiao Yang's mouth twitched. Can anyone tell me what happened? Xiao Yang took a deep breath and swore to himself. I will never get drunk again. It was a completely short film, and his memory was still stuck on the moment when the hotel party ended. And then, I remembered nothing. Xiao Yang lowered his head slightly. There was a pleasant fragrance coming from Zhang Yan's body. Suddenly, a clear bell rang from my trouser pocket. Suddenly, their eyes met. The cell phone was still ringing, but their minds were already blank. Xiao Yang rolled his eyes and said softly, well, you pressed my hand. Oh, Zhang Yan stiffly moved back half an inch, allowing Xiao Yang to pull his hand out. Xiao Yang didn't know what to say or do. He just instinctively answered the call and put the phone to his ear. Hello. Old Xiao. Xiao Yang spoke in a low voice, as if he didn't care about what was happening on the phone at all. Yes, Lao Xiao, something happened. Li Kang jumped off the building. What? Xiao Yang immediately sat up from the bed. He was just a little anxious and hit his head against Zhang Yan, who was in a daze. Xiao Yang had recovered at this moment, and Zhang Yan quickly pulled her hand back, no longer hanging on Xiao Yang like an octopus. What's going on? Xiao Yang frowned and asked. It's like this. Didn't Li Kang fail to confess his love to King Xuantong yesterday? Actually, Li Kang's family is not well off. He saved up for this party by borrowing money from outsiders. Those campus loans. Look, he didn't have the money to pay back, so he couldn't bear it and jumped off the building early in the morning. How is the person? Xiao Yang asked hurriedly. He's in the hospital now. I guess this guy was just impulsive, but he still has some sense. The floor is not high. That's okay, Xiao Yang let out a long sigh. After all, it was a human life, and he was a classmate for 3 years. But King Xuantong is in a terrible situation now. Li Kang's parents have gone to the restaurant to make trouble. And Li Kang's family is also making trouble at the hotel. Why are they going to the hotel to make trouble? Xiao Yang was a little confused. They said the hotel bill was too expensive. Otherwise, why would Li Kang borrow money to confess his love? This train of thought, Xiao Yang shook his head helplessly. Why don't you come and take care of King Xuantong's affairs? I'm at the hotel and it's too noisy. There was a lot of noise coming from Lu Xing's side. And it was chaotic. Zhang Yan was leaning very close and heard roughly what was said. When he heard that someone almost died, he forgot about what happened before and climbed up from Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang didn't care about too many things. He immediately got up and left the room. Xiao Yan, you're up. Xiao's mother smiled like an ant and called out. You must be hungry. Let's eat first. Xiao Yang shook his head and just said. Mom, I have something urgent to deal with. I won't eat at home for now. I'll go out for a while. It's urgent, so go. Xiao Yang shook his head, went into the bathroom to wash his face casually, without changing his clothes, and hurried out of the house. Shui Chao. Aunt, take good care of Xiao Yang. I understand. Zhang Yan smiled shyly and followed him out. Why are you following me? When he saw Zhang Yan, Xiao Yang just asked. The latter didn't answer, so he stopped asking and drove towards the restaurant. Inside the car, neither of them spoke, and neither of them mentioned what happened last night. But they were dressed neatly and both knew nothing would happen. 20 minutes later. Restaurant. This is King Xuantong's family's restaurant and also her home. The whole family lives on the second floor of the restaurant. A red painted banner was unfurled and hung at the entrance of the restaurant. Li Kang's mother was holding a loudspeaker and cursing with all her might. King Xuantong, return my son's life. It's all because of you that he jumped off the building. My son has been chasing you for so long. Why do you look down on him and want to insult him? Get out here and give me an explanation. As Li's mother continued to gather, neighbors at the restaurant entrance also gathered. Boss King was standing at the door at this time, his face flushed. Li Kang's family members formed a circle and surrounded him in the middle. Where is your daughter? Let her come out and give an explanation. If anything happens to my son, none of you will survive. Li's mother was furious. Boss King is just a small businessman. And his face turned red with embarrassment. The restaurant behind me was locked. There is no doubt that King Xuantong is in the restaurant. But Boss King does not intend to let King Xuantong out. He does not want his daughter to be involved in such a thing. What happened? It's the daughter of the old King family. It seems that she rejected the confession of love of the son, which led to her jumping off the building. Now, her family members have come to the door. By God, that girl is pretty, but she must have such a vicious mouth to make someone jump off a building. I've said it before, that girl is so beautiful, nothing good will happen to her. But now she's in trouble. I don't think it's possible that he would be so depressed if he didn't say something unacceptable. If this gets out of hand, it'll cost lives. Everyone around was talking about it. At this time, many students who were present last night were also standing by. But they were students after all, and when faced with something like this, they could only stare blankly. Just then, a car came speeding over. Squad leader. The squad leader is here. Old Xiao is here. Seeing Xiao Yang and Zhang Yan getting out of the car, everyone made way for them. Chapter 24. I'm her boyfriend. Xiao Yang just nodded to his classmates. Maybe it was because of what happened yesterday. Now they all regarded Xiao Yang as their backbone. A female classmate came up and said, I don't know what Li Kang's family is thinking. They are making trouble here. Xiao Yang, can you think of a solution? Let's see how Uncle King handles it first. At this moment, Boss King's face was also full of panic. Don't go too far. What does your son jumping off the building have to do with my daughter? Stop making a fuss. Xiao Yang glanced at Boss King, who was surrounded by the crowd. and knew that Boss King had no other options. Just then, the door of the restaurant slammed down. Everyone looked over and saw that King Xuantong's face was full of tears and she looked extremely aggrieved. Well, you're finally out. Boss King turned around and shouted angrily. Why did you come out? Go back now. Aunt Li, please stop making trouble. I'm sorry about Li Kang jumping off the building, but what does this have to do with me? Ah, King Xuantong plucked up her courage and stepped forward and said, how can it have nothing to do with you? If you hadn't rejected my son, would he be so sad that he would jump off the building? Mother Li widened her eyes and was about to rush towards King Xuantong. Fortunately, Boss King stepped in front and stopped Li's mother, saying in a helpless tone, what do you want? This matter has nothing to do with the child. Tell me how to solve it. Solved? Okay, let your daughter confess and apologize to my son in front of the media and the whole society. Mother Li said as she took out a cell phone and wanted to take a video. Hearing what Li's mother said, Boss King's face darkened. There is nothing to talk about. He is well aware of the current online media. If any small matter is exposed and discussed, it is very likely that the person will be ruined. How will my daughter survive then? He shook his head firmly. Don't even think about it. And hand him over and we will deal with him ourselves. Just as he finished speaking, Boss King was suddenly pulled from behind. The next second, Li's mother walked away and grabbed King Xuantong. You little bitch, come with me. I want you to go to the hospital and kneel down to apologize to my son. At this moment, Xiaoyang suddenly walked in front of Li's mother and protected King Xuantong behind him. Apologize? What's the apology? Mother Li was stunned for a moment. And soon she started to curse with her eyes wide open. How dare you talk to me like that, you little bastard? Who the hell are you? Does it matter who I am? Xiaoyang shook his head and looked at Li's mother and said, this matter has nothing to do with King Xuantong, nor with our entire class. If you do this again, I will call the police. Call the police? Okay, go ahead and call the police, then they can come and lock this little bitch up. Mother Li laughed wantonly. Snap, the crisp sound suddenly rang out. Xiaoyang took back his hand and said slowly, Auntie? If you like to talk like this, we can't talk anymore. You. Mother Li looked at Xiaoyang in astonishment. But the pain on her face, as if she couldn't believe this was true. This little bastard actually dared to slap himself in the face. Boy, you are tired of living, aren't you? It me. Li's mother waved her hand. Li's relatives and friends immediately surrounded Xiaoyang. Wait, Xiaoyang looked at Li's mother and waved his hand. Auntie, don't you really know why Li Kang jumped off the building? What? Li's mother was stunned. What's the meaning? Li Kang didn't jump off the building because his confession was rejected. He was forced to do so by loan sharks. He borrowed money from campus loans and had no ability to pay it back. So he was forced to jump off the building. After the words were spoken, the crowd gathered and started talking again. So this matter has nothing to do with the daughter of the King family? Is it usury? Although they are not students, they also understand the harm of campus loans. Some time ago, the news reported that a top student from a certain university committed suicide by jumping off a building because of the terrible campus loan sharking. This kind of thing is nothing new. So it's loan sharking. No wonder. I think, how can a person jump off a building just because his confession of love is rejected? His mental quality is really too poor. At this time, King Xuantong stopped sobbing, huddled behind Xiaoyang, and clutched the corner of Xiaoyang's clothes tightly with her little hands. Mother Li looked around and suddenly sneered. My son borrowed money at high interest rates just to be with this little. Xiaoyang's eyes suddenly turned cold. Li's mother immediately took back the word cheap. She was still a little scared of the slap Xiaoyang had just given her. It's none of my business if your son borrowed money to confess his love. He jumped off the building, why didn't you go find the builder? He fell on the curb, why didn't you go find the road repairman? He only met Xuantong because he was in high school. Why don't you blame yourself for not educating your son well and letting him go to high school instead of a technical secondary school to learn technology? He didn't have money to confess his love, so why don't you blame yourself for not giving him enough change? In the final analysis, you are just making trouble. You. Mother Li was choked by Xiaoyang's words and was speechless. She immediately became furious and said, what does this have to do with you? Catch that little bitch for me. As soon as he finished speaking, Li's relatives and friends rushed forward, with such momentum that they seemed to want to tear Xiaoyang to pieces. What does it have to do with me? Xiaoyang smiled, without any fear on his face, and hugged King Xuantong behind him. I'm her boyfriend, how come it doesn't matter? Hearing this, Li's mother was immediately furious. So it was you. You were there yesterday, right? If it wasn't you, how could she reject my son? And how could my son jump off the building? Xiaoyang rubbed his head immediately. This brain circuit. Damn, I'm shocked. Yes, I was there too. But I also want to ask your son, he confessed to my girlfriend in front of me. What's wrong with this? What kind of family education is this? Is poaching something hereditary in your family? You don't have to point your finger at me, in fact. You know in your heart that the whole thing has nothing to do with us. But if you continue to make trouble, we will accompany you to the end. We don't cause trouble, but we're not afraid of it either. Xiao Yang raised his head and said condescending. Seeing Xiao Yang like this, Mother Li gritted her teeth, glanced at King Xuantong behind Xiao Yang, and immediately stepped forward and wanted to grab King Xuantong. She kept muttering, "It's all because of you, little bastard. Don't think you can get away with hiding behind your man. I'm telling you, this matter is not over yet. Come out. Come out." Seeing that she was still not giving in, Xiao Yang frowned immediately. King Xuantong was in a panic and didn't know what to do. Xiao Yang immediately stretched out his hand. All I heard was a snap. Everyone looked at Xiao Yang in unison, while Li's mother stood there in shock, her face full of disbelief. She was slapped hard again. It was obvious that Xiao Yang did not hold back much strength in this slap, causing Li's mother to almost fall to the ground. "How dare you hit me? Oh my God, is there any justice in this world? You killed my son, and now you dare to hit me. All the police, I want to call the police." Li's mother's face was full of anger, and she rolled on the ground like a shrew with a hint of crying. "It's better to call the police as soon as possible, so that we don't waste everyone's time." Xiao Yang didn't show any fear at all, he just said with a smile. You shouldn't bully people like this. What are you still looking at? Catch this couple and put them in a pig cage until you let any of them escape," Li's mother said ferociously. Xiao Yang had a cold expression on his face. He directly protected King Xuantong tightly behind him, turned his head and whispered, "You go back first." "No," King Xuantong bit her lower lip with a look of grievance on her face. At the same time, some people rushed forward, including several relatives and friends of the Li family, all of them middle-aged strong men. A punch came flying. Xiao Yang quickly stepped back, but was hit hard by a punch. King Xuantong screamed in fear and hurriedly tried to protect Xiao Yang. Now she was filled with guilt if it weren't for herself. How could she have dragged Xiao Yang into this trouble? But at this moment, Xiao Yang seemed to see through King Xuantong's thoughts and pushed her into the house. Looking at the few people surrounding him at the moment, Xiao Yang looked at some classmates in the distance. "Protect the squad leader," someone shouted, and everyone rushed over and went straight to Xiao Yang's side. As a result, everyone formed a confrontation situation. This is a society ruled by law. I don't want to cause any unnecessary conflict. Xiao Yang rubbed his arm. It was a bit painful after being hit hard by a punch just now. "You hit me first, and now you tell me that you don't want to cause any conflict. Don't think that you can bully us honest people just because you are college students," Li's mother said with a bad look on her face. Xiao Yang shook his head and sighed. "You were the ones who were aggressive first, and you know in your heart who is the one who really caused Li Kang to jump off the building. It's those loan sharks and debt collectors. Why don't you go find them? But come to us. Do you think we are easy to bully? Who is the one who made him go to this desperate situation? You should go find them." After she finished speaking, Li's mother was stunned. Her mentality suddenly collapsed and she burst into tears. "We searched for. I can't find anyone. The loan shark company has vacated the place." After saying this, Li's mother held her forehead with her hands, tears dripping down her face, and she almost collapsed. "Li Kang is still in the hospital. The doctor said that if the surgery fee is not raised, he may never be able to stand up again. I don't know what to do. Blame me. It's all my fault. Blame me for not educating him well since he was young." The voice fell into everyone's ears, and Xiao Yang himself was also confused. He didn't expect that Mother Li would break down like this. For a moment, Xiao Yang himself was embarrassed. At this moment, sirens sounded. Chapter 25 Mission, King Xuantong's Confession. A police guard drove up. The police in plain clothes walked straight into the crowd and shouted, "What are you doing, gathering a crowd to fight? Do you know what this is? You are so grown up, why can't you just talk it out calmly?" Seeing the police coming, Xiao Yang also breathed a sigh of relief. And everyone in the Li family also stepped aside. "Tell me, what's the matter?" Such a large number of people gave the police a headache, as they naturally couldn't take all of them back. This is a civil dispute and it is best to resolve it locally. Seeing that someone was in charge, Xiao Yang directly explained everything in detail. Li's mother, on the other hand, chimed in with a few words. "You really can't blame others for this." The policeman looked at Li's mother with a serious tone. "You're making a fuss. Is it any use? It's your own education problem." Mother Li lowered her head and sighed. She knew very well that this matter had nothing to do with King Xuantong and the others. No matter how unreasonable she was actually desperate and wanted to do something for Li Kang. After all, he was in the hospital, and if he didn't have the money for the surgery, he would most likely end up with lifelong disability. Others were also a little overwhelmed. especially the classmates. After all, Li Kang is a high school classmate whom I have known for 3 years, although because of his position as class monitor he often does some small things that people don't like. But when they thought that they might be paralyzed in bed for the rest of their lives because of such an incident, they still felt a little emotional. After a long while, Xiao Yang sighed and said, Li Kang's case can only be said to be the fault of those unscrupulous loan companies. Should this matter be handled by the police? That's right. You should have called the police immediately. Come back to the police station with me later to make a statement and explain what happened clearly. Officer, we have called the police, but my son can't wait in this huge crowd, Li's mother said with a hint of tears in her voice. And she immediately squatted on the ground, tears streaming down her face. We are all very sorry about Li Kang's matter. Seeing this, Xiao Yang sighed. Well, can you tell me how much Li Kang's surgery will cost? Mother Li sobbed for a while and said helplessly. 300,000. They want 300,000. Without 300,000, there is no way to perform the operation. If it's too late, Xiao Chang will be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Xiao Yang let out a long sigh and frowned slightly. 300,000 is indeed difficult for an ordinary family to come up with. After thinking for a while, Xiao Yang said, it's hard to say this, but it's also easy to say this. But your previous actions have left us with a very bad impression. Do you have a solution? When Li's mother heard Xiao Yang's words, she stood up immediately. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Xiao Yang's face darkened. He had a very bad impression of Li's mother's previous attitude. He was rich, and Li Kang had been his classmate for 3 years. Although they were not close friends, they were classmates. If it were normal times, he might have helped. But in this case, at this moment, someone pulled Li's mother. The latter looked over and saw that it was a relative of the Li family. I heard that this kid spent more than 100,000 yuan on treating everyone at their party yesterday. He's rich, the relative whispered in his ear. Mother Li suddenly widened her eyes and looked at Xiao Yang. Before Xiao Yang could react, Li's mother fell to her knees on the ground. Your name is Xiao Yang, right? You are a classmate of Li Kang. Please help us, help Li Kang, he can't sit in a wheelchair forever. Li's mother immediately grabbed Xiao Yang's trouser leg and pleaded with a fierce look on her face. This time, Xiao Yang didn't know what to do. He shook his head. I'm sorry, I can't help you. You can definitely help. I know you're very rich, can you lend us some money for the surgery? Please. I kowtow to you, said Li's mother, and then she kowtowed to the ground several times. But after a short while, a streak of blood red appeared on his forehead, which made the people around him gasp. Xiao Yang held his forehead. He could understand Li's mother's feelings when his father was seriously ill. If kowtowing could make his father better, he would probably kowtow without hesitation to save his life. They themselves knew that it was the fault of the loan company and Li Kang himself. But he couldn't find anyone, so he had to settle for the next best thing. Coming to King's house to make trouble, coming to the hotel to make trouble. Xiao Yang sighed, although this incident was not caused by us. Human life is at stake, and I don't want Li Kang to live in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. I can lend you some of his surgery fees first. 100,000. This is the best I can do, but I have a request, you can't make trouble anymore. The hotel should also withdraw its people. This is not the hotel's fault or our fault. The fault lies with those unscrupulous loan sharks. Besides, it's no use for you to kowtow to me. You scared my girlfriend today. You must apologize to her if she forgives you. Then write me an IOU and I'll lend you $100. As for the remaining $200,000, you have to figure it out yourself. 300,000 is not a bad amount for Xiao Yang. After all, he has the system and he doesn't mind spending a little bit of money. Under normal circumstances, he could borrow the 300,000. But the attitude of the Li family today made him feel a little disgusted. 100,000 was considered as the money for the few slaps in kowtows just now. The words fell. Mother Li widened her eyes and looked up at the young man who had just slapped her in disbelief. What did you say? I said, I can lend you 100. Zero first, but you have to follow my requirements. Xiao Yang's words instantly brought hope to Li's mother's red eyes. She said excitedly, didn't you really lend us 100? Zero? Xiao Yang, don't act so arrogantly. 100,000 is not a small amount. Besides, whether the money we lent can be recovered is still a question. I know, Xiao Yang patted King Xuantong's little hand. To be honest, who in our class hasn't had a crush on King Xuantong? In the entire school, there are countless people who have confessed their love to King Xuantong. Those who have been rejected can line up from the street to the end. Among these people, who has ever jumped off a building? If this is also her fault, then why should she still live in this world? As soon as these words were spoken, several boys in the class jumped out, full of pride. Yes, Auntie, I also confessed to King Xuantong and was rejected. Am I not still living bravely in this world? I confessed 3 times and was rejected every time. I confessed my feelings in front of the whole school. And I didn't jump off the building when I was rejected. Seeing this, Xiaoyang smiled and said, look, all of us boys lined up to confess our love to King Xuantong. Everyone has been rejected, but no one has committed suicide. What you said is unacceptable. If you knew that I failed 99 times when I confessed my love to you, you would doubt your life. So you have to apologize to my girlfriend for your previous behavior. You don't have to kowtow, we can't bear it. Mother Li lowered her head. Okay, I apologize. Xiaoyang smiled and pushed King Xuantong to the front. The latter grabbed Xiaoyang's arm tightly, looking very nervous. Mother Li was still kneeling on the ground. She raised her head and said with some guilt, I'm sorry, girl, we have caused you trouble. We are also. Oh, I'm sorry. As she said this, Li's mother kowtowed violently. No, it's okay. King Xuantong quickly took a step back. After saying that, Mother Li turned around and bowed to Boss King. I'm sorry, we were unreasonable and didn't know right from wrong. I apologize to you here. Boss King snorted coldly. Then waved his hand and said, it's good that you know it's nonsense. In fact, he now understands the Li family's approach to some extent. Thinking back, the man who hit his wife also escaped from the police. At that time, he felt the same as the Li family. No one could be found. This kind of mood was understandable. And the matter was not too serious. It would be best if it could be reduced to a small level. But this was all solved by Xiaoyang. Seeing that Li's mother had also apologized, Xiaoyang asked Li's mother to yawn on the spot without saying anything and transferred the 100 0 yuan to her. The latter was delighted when she saw this. And she quickly made a phone call to call someone back. After thanking Xiaoyang, she left in a hurry. There was still 200 0 yuan left, and she had to make up the total. All the neighbors left. And Boss King invited everyone to the restaurant. At this time, King Xuantong was still holding Xiaoyang's arm, holding it tightly for fear that Xiaoyang would run away. Xiaoyang, thank you so much for today. If it weren't for you, I don't know what I would do. They are all trivial matters. Uncle King, don't take it too hard. Xiaoyang smiled. Why don't you give me the IOU and I'll transfer 300 0 to you. It's not a small amount. Whether they can afford to pay it back is still a problem. No, Uncle King, you don't have to worry about the money. My aunt is still in the hospital and needs money too. Don't be polite with me. I paid this money voluntarily and it has nothing to do with you. Xiaoyang waved his hands repeatedly. Boss King wanted to say something. But when he saw his daughter hanging on the man, he wanted to open his mouth again. But he held back. Damn, my daughter was kidnapped. What money to pay back? Thank you, classmates, you must be hungry. I'll go make you something to eat. Uncle King, you're welcome. Wow, Uncle King, I want to eat barbecue. I used to love eating barbecue at your place when I was in school. Boss King smiled and nodded repeatedly, then turned and went back to the kitchen. Hello? Ah? King Xuantong was stunned. Turning back, I saw Zhang Yan folding her arms and looking at me coldly. Have you hugged me enough? It's time to let go. No. King Xuantong glanced at Xiaoyang and thought he was extremely handsome. If she was just envious of Xiaoyang's looks last night, then today, what Xiaoyang gave her was an incomparable sense of security. Perhaps, this is what others often call boyfriend power. Xiaoyang's boyfriend power is really explosive. By the way, you really did it for me, spending 100,000 just for an apology. King Xuantong said with emotion. That's not the case. To be honest, Li Kang and I have no grudges against each other. Strictly speaking, his pursuit of you has nothing to do with me. But after all, we are classmates. I will help him in an emergency instead of helping him out of poverty. He is just pursuing you and he doesn't have any big grudge against me. It's good for me to help him after all. We have known each other for so many years. Xiaoyang said with emotion. As for what others think of repaying evil with kindness, that's an exaggeration. I have no grudge against Li Kang. So there's no need to fight or kill him. I'm just trying to help. And it doesn't cost much. King Xuantong thought about it thoughtfully. And suddenly whispered, Xiaoyang, why don't you really be my boyfriend? Let's stop pretending. Such a small sound, no one could hear it except Xiaoyang and Zhang Yan. At this moment, a clear voice suddenly rang out in Xiaoyang's mind. Height. Task release, King Xuantong's confession. Option 1. Accept the confession and receive a reward of 1 million yuan. Option 2. Refuse to confess, reward 5 million yuan. Chapter 26. Strange knowledge increased. When Xiaoyang heard the mission, his face darkened instantly. Good job. I, Colonel King, am only worth 4 million, right? At some points. Give me some more. This is too much, system. But no matter how much Xiaoyang objected, the mission remained the same. Xiaoyang looked at King Xuantong's clear face. I didn't expect you to be worth 4 million. However, before Xiaoyang could make a decision, Zhang Yan stopped him. No. Xiao Yang can't be your boyfriend, he's mine. Zhang Yan, get out of my way. Do you think I don't know that you and Xiao Yang just met yesterday? He is not yours. Do you know what first come first served means? There's no such thing as a first come first served situation. It's not allowed. I'm with him. Speaking of this, Zhang Yan's face turned red. We all slept together. TSK, didn't you hear just now? Xiao Yang said it himself, he is my boyfriend. Everyone present heard it. You. The two women suddenly started quarreling. Their voices were not loud, but they attracted everyone's attention. That? You guys chat about your own things. Everyone consciously retreated to other tables. As the saying goes, there is no room for two tigers in one mountain. There is no room for two tigresses in one mountain. You mean King Xuantong is a tigress? How dare you insult my goddess? Stop talking nonsense. What about goddesses? Look. She's been taken by Lao Shao. I don't know why, but I'm still very envious. Can you give me one of these two tigresses? You think it's beautiful. On this side, Xiao Yang let out a long sigh, then raised his eyebrows and looked at King Xuantong. Well, the situation at that time. Didn't you ask me to act yesterday? With so many classmates here today, of course I have to act. As soon as Xiao Yang finished speaking, Zhang Yan immediately smiled. Did you hear that? We're just acting with you, so why are you so into the role? After saying that, Zhang Yan affectionately took Xiao Yang's hand. TSK, you're the same when someone does you a small favor. You keep pestering them like a little tail. At this point, King Xuantong was not to be outdone. She took Xiao Yang's other arm and said provocatively, "You follower, you have no shame." It turned out that King Xuantong had talked to Lu Xing about it last night, and also knew about what happened between Zhang Yan and Xiao Yang. So she deliberately brought it up to mock Zhang Yan. The latter looked angry. Bah, curse me again. Lu. You're just a follower. TSK, a follower is a follower. I am willing to be Xiao Yang's follower. Is that not okay? What, are you jealous? You have no shame. I want Xiao Yang. Why do I need face? Damn goblin. Yes, I this demon. Have set my sights on Xiao Yang. Zhang Yan looked proud, and leaned over and whispered, I'll tell you a secret. Last night, Xiao Yang and I slept together. The voice fell, a bolt from the blue. King Xuantong was instantly choked by these words. Sleep together. This. Xiao Yang, is this true? Did you sleep with Zhang Yan? Not only that, we have met the parents. Aunt Xiao likes me very much and even asked me to bring Xiao Yang back for dinner later. Critical hit. All critical hits. It's a critical hit with true damage. Enfu's punch was intentional and full of anger. King Xuantong opened her mouth but couldn't utter a word for a long time. Zhang Yan immediately raised her hands and made a victory gesture. TSK. Fight with me. I have slept with Xiao Yang. Can you, huh? Seeing this, Xiao Yang had to come out and clarify. We didn't do anything. And I was drunk and couldn't remember anything. After hearing Xiao Yang's explanation, King Xuantong understood instantly. I remember. Xiao Yang was so drunk last night, how could he still? As expected, it was all that damn witch Zhang Yan who did it on purpose while Xiao Yang was drunk. Zhang Yan, you are shameless. You are taking advantage of others, misfortune. No, you are taking advantage of others, misfortune when they are drunk. Besides, nothing happened between you two. Xiao Yang is still innocent. Who said that? Zhang Yan raised her head in chest and said unconvinced lie. Didn't you hear what Xiao Yang said? He was so drunk that he lost his memory? Of course he can't remember it. After saying that, Zhang Yan suddenly lowered her head, full of shyness. This look, this expression. This immediately scared both Xiao Yang and King Xuantong. Xiao Yang lowered his head. Nothing really happened. Did it? King Xuantong was also stunned for a moment. But soon her expression changed and she started laughing. TSK, Zhang Yan, do you have any common sense? You've read too many novels? It's not okay when a boy is unconscious. This. Xiao Yang and Zhang Yan were suddenly speechless and looked at King Xuantong at the same time. You understand this too. Strange knowledge has been added. King Xuantong's face flushed immediately. She pouted and looked away, muttering, is that so? TSK, we slept together anyway. Zhang Yan, you are shameless. What's wrong with being shameless? I am shameless. Zhang Yan, you are shameless. I just don't have any shame. Ew, the two started arguing again. Looking at the two people arguing again, Xiao Yang looked helpless. Fortunately, the $5 million deposited into his account made him feel a little better. Well, it's not just comfortable, it's very comfortable. Of course, it would be more comfortable if the two girls around me could be a little quieter. At the same time, inside a building, Boss Zhong, those people who caused trouble in the hotel have dispersed. Well, don't bother me with such trivial matters in the future. Yes, but Mr. Zhong. What's wrong? This matter seems to be related to the eldest lady. What? The middle-aged man stood up immediately. Have you found Zhang Yan? It's like this after this happened. We checked the surveillance. If I'm not mistaken, the young lady was in the hotel in JM City last night. What about surveillance? It's been transferred. After saying that, the secretary next to him started operating the laptop in his hand. The picture soon appeared in front of the middle-aged man. And this picture shows what happened last night. Is this kid? The middle-aged man asked angrily. Investigating. Check it quickly. I want all the information about this kid within an hour. The middle-aged man was full of anger. He didn't expect that his daughter was holding the same man's hand with another girl at the same time. Shame, a huge shame. Chapter 27. Even if I want a baby, I won't ask Zhang Yaojing for it. Afar ended early after all. Xiao Yang went home although King Xuantong wanted to follow him. Xiao Yang sternly refused, and Zhang Yan won in the end. Dinner time. Mr. Xiao's condition has gotten much better. He looks even more energetic than Mrs. Xiao this afternoon. When the two of them went out for a walk, the neighbors thought that Mr. Xiao was having a last breath. They came up to Mrs. Xiao one by one to express their condolences, which made the whole family laugh and cry. You and your mother have worked hard over the past 2 years. At the dinner table, Xiao's father was filled with emotion. It's mainly my mother's fault. Why should I work so hard? Xiao Yang smiled. Fortunately, this hurdle has been passed. Let's not talk about it anymore. What's important is now. Xiao's mother smiled, without mentioning how hard she had worked. I've thought about it. Now that I'm well, I won't cause trouble for your mother. I'll go back at lunchtime tomorrow and ask if I can go back to work. Father Xiao suddenly said. In the past, Xiao's father was a chef in a restaurant. And his cooking skills were pretty good, but maybe because he was a fat cook, he developed gout, diabetes and other 3 eye problems. Now that he was well, Father Xiao changed his mind and wanted to go back to his old business. The older generation is like this, they can't sit still. Dad, I have money now, you just stay at home and enjoy your old age. There's no need for that, Xiao Yang said with a smile. What does this have to do with your wealth? Do I really need my son's money? Father Xiao glared. Seeing their father so energetic and with such a loud voice, the mother and son were instantly amused. Okay, why are you being so mean to the child? Without the medicine that Xiao Yang worked so hard to get, you would still be lying in bed. Xiao's mother glared at Xiao's father, who instantly quieted down. Actually, Xiao Yang, you have grown up. And apart from paying for your studies, I have never given you anything. Just think about when you were a child. Your eyes almost popped out when you saw other children playing with toys. Xiao's father sighed. But you are a sensible kid. You have never asked me for anything since you were a child. But just because you don't ask doesn't mean I can't give it to you. Now that you have grown up and are about to graduate from college, it's time to prepare some money for the house and the betrothal gift. At this point, Father Xiao looked meaningfully at Zhang Yan, who was eating quietly on the side. The latter noticed Xiao's father's gaze and his face suddenly turned red. Chaichun is a good girl. Dad, stop talking nonsense. Zhang Yan and I are innocent. How can I get married in the future if you say that? Xiao Yang glared at his father and hurriedly explained. Okay, innocent. Father Xiao nodded repeatedly, and murmured in a low voice, we are sleeping in the same bed. Innocent, tut. Dad. Alright, I won't say any more. Are eating, please be quiet. Okay, Father Xiao chuckled, but he was silent for a few seconds, then continued. I don't know if the restaurant still needs people, but my cooking skills should be enough. After hearing what the old man said, Xiao Yang suddenly raised his eyebrows and said, why don't we open a store ourselves? I have a secret recipe for barbecue that I bought at a high price. Xiao Yang suddenly remembered the secret recipe. Oh, secret recipe for barbecue. Father Xiao was a little surprised, and then he began to brag. I'm not bragging, my barbecue was also amazing. Okay, that's it Mom, why don't you just quit your job and open a store together? I'll give you money to open the store. Is it possible? Father Xiao rubbed his hands, feeling a little tempted. After all, after working for a lifetime, who doesn't want to try being a boss? Don't worry, it doesn't matter if I lose money, the money from your restaurant means nothing to me. Xiao Yang said, patting his chest. The main reason is that I'm worried that the old man will be too tired to go back to work in the restaurant. After all, he is not young anymore. Being your own boss can't be that tiring. After a few people discussed it, it seemed feasible. Immediately Xiao Yang handed the recipe to the old man after finishing his meal. The old man looked at the recipe and was instantly immersed in it. Having worked as a chef all his life, he naturally knew how to distinguish recipes and immediately understood the value of them. Before Xiao Yang could react, he returned to the kitchen and wanted to give it a try. Xiao's mother did not go up to help. After all, he had just recovered from a serious illness, so it would be better for him to move around on his own. Xiao Yang. Your third uncle just called and said your cousin is getting married the day after tomorrow and asked us to come over. Cousin, a figure suddenly appeared in Xiao Yang's mind. My cousin Xiao Yu also took good care of himself when he was a child. My third uncle is also an honest man and my father's younger brother. The two families were still very close after Xiao's father fell ill. His third uncle's family provided relief several times. But later they borrowed too much, which inevitably affected the relationship between the two families. Fortunately, I gave some money to my mother before, and it has been paid off. So it is reasonable for me to go to this wedding. Xiao Yang nodded. Okay, then I will take 2 more days off and return to school in a few days. Okay, just remember it, third uncle's family is also in trouble and has helped our family a lot over the years. For this wedding red envelope, give it a bigger one. Don't be stingy, huh? Don't worry, Mom, I get it, Xiao Yang nodded. By the way, Zhang Yan is already like this, and you don't even show any expression. It's so meaningless, Xiao's mother suddenly said. This. Xiao Yang was choked. That's all. She still wants status? Why? Just because she followed me for 2 days and wrote me an IOU of more than 20 yuan? Or was it because she sneaked over in the middle of the night and slept with me? Mom, we really don't have anything. Mother Xiao glanced at Zhang Yan, who had sneaked into Xiao Yang's room at this moment, and sighed. Okay, it's nothing, it's okay. But you have to be careful. Now is not the time to have a baby if you can't find a way. Go to the drugstore and buy it. Mom, that's enough. This phone call made Xiao Yang feel a little dizzy. What was going on? Also the drugstore. This is my first time. Even if I want to have a baby, I definitely can't use it. I don't feel anything anymore. Thinking of this, Xiao Yang quickly spat a few times. No matter what, you have been led astray by your mom. Even if I want a baby, I don't want it to be with this witch. Well, never. Chapter 28 Mission, Zhang Yan's Confession. The moonlight poured in through the windowsill. Everything was quiet. Unlike last night, today, both of them were awake and could hear each other's breathing clearly. Xiao Yang, are you asleep? It was just a casual remark. And then silence fell again. Suddenly, Xiao Yang said. Zhang Yan. I'm going back to school in a few days. Yeah, Zhang Yan nodded. Perhaps he felt a little reluctant. But he couldn't say anything in the silent room, only a sigh was left. How about I take you home tomorrow? Don't want. Still the same answer. Why, aren't you going back to JM City just to go home this time? Xiao Yang was a little confused. Logically speaking, seeing that Zhang Yan had reached that point that day, and was unwilling to go back to school, she should have been very anxious to go home. But why are we not in a hurry to go back after arriving in JM City? Xiao Yang. You say. After a few seconds of silence, Zhang Yan finally said, actually, I lied to you. Xiao Yang was not surprised at all by Zhang Yan's words. After all, he is not a fool, he just doesn't want to expose it. What did you lie to me about? Xiao Yang turned over and said thoughtfully. I didn't actually plan to go home. So just follow me. Xiao Yang was a little amused. I don't know where to go either. Zhang Yan's voice became much lower. Either go back to school or go home. Aren't you studying at Zhongdu Medical College? Actually, my school is Zhongbi University Business School. Well, you never hear a word of truth from your mouth. Xiao Yang pretended to be angry. I didn't mean to lie to you. Zhang Yan's tone suddenly became a little pitiful. Yeah, it's okay, Xiao Yang said happily. In fact, the 2 tasks triggered by Zhang Yan brought me a lot of benefits. In comparison, they were nothing compared to what I had experienced in the past 2 days. Xiao Yang, have you ever seen a TV drama where a rich girl is forced into marriage? Those are what you girls like to watch, right? Actually, TV dramas aren't necessarily made up, but where is the Prince Charming? Zhang Yan sighed. Zhang Yan's words made Xiao Yang seem to have guessed something, but he thought about it and said slowly, it will appear. It's late, go to bed. Well, good night, Xiao Yang. Good night, Ginger Goblin. Early morning. It was my mother who woke me up. As for Zhang Yan, I don't know when she woke up she was actually helping in the kitchen wearing an apron. You lazy bastard, it's already noon, Shaichown is still the best. She accompanied me to buy groceries so early in the morning. Xiao Yang spread his hands to express his silent protest. Lazy guy, Zhang Yan made a face at Xiao Yang. The lunch was quite enjoyable. At the table, Xiao's mother kept picking up food for Zhang Yan, while the latter looked shy and kept saying thank you. Xiao Yang couldn't help but said, I don't know who borrowed so much money from me, but I haven't even received a thank you yet. After lunch, Xiao's mother went to work, while Xiao's father went out, saying that he wanted to look for a good store to rent to open a restaurant. Xiao Yang and his partner were the only ones left at home. Let's go, I'll take you for a walk, Xiao Yang suddenly suggested. Okay, Zhang Yan naturally agreed. Zhang Yan was particularly well behaved today and did not show off her long legs for Xiao Yang to touch. Of course, she still had Xiao Yang's hand with her wherever she went. Like a little kitten. How about Xiao Yang, let's go racing? Zhang Yan suddenly suggested after playing around in the amusement park. Speeding? Xiao Yang was a little confused. Promise me. Let's go to the suburbs, Zhang Yan said with pursed lips. That's not good, Xiao Yang is not a person who likes excitement. Take me with you, so I can touch you. Before he finished speaking, Xiao Yang nodded quickly. Okay, put your legs away. We can discuss everything. Zhang Yan was immediately amused by Xiao Yang's performance. She looked at her long legs in black stockings, pouted and murmured. Are my legs so scary? The car quickly arrived in the suburbs. Xiao Yang was familiar with this place, Ming Xiu Mountain. It was not a national highway and was sparsely populated. It was said that those drag racers used to play with their cars here, so when he came near, Xiao Yang felt much more at ease. Fasten your seatbelts. I'm going to speed up, Xiao Yang said with a smile. Zhang Yan grabbed the seatbelt, which had always been fastened. Suddenly Xiao Yang stepped hard, and in an instant, the car rushed forward with a buzz sound. At this moment, Zhang Yan's face suddenly turned pale. Xiao Yang, you! Slow down. Seeing Zhang Yan's expression, Xiao Yang immediately raised his eyebrows and smiled. Didn't you say you wanted to drive fast? What, are you scared? He was very satisfied with Zhang Yan's expression. In the past, Zhang Yan always teased me, but now it's finally time for the serfs to rise up and sing. The car is a good car and a new one at that. Its performance is impeccable and its speed is extremely fast. Looking at the scenery receding, Xiao Yang suddenly became excited. It seems that if you don't like excitement, it's not exciting enough. Xiao Yang thought. Zhang Yan was a little scared at first. But as the speed of the car gradually slowed down, she relaxed and waved her hands happily in the car. Just then, a car came flying from a distance. Zhang Yan's face suddenly turned pale and sweat broke out on her back. Xiao Yang, it's about to hit it, about to hit. But at this moment, Xiao Yang not only did not slow down, but accelerated instead. Xiao Yang, what are you doing? Zhang Yan's heart skipped a beat. She felt like she was in the car and her soul was chasing her from behind. Just when the two cars were about to meet, Xiao Yang suddenly turned the steering wheel. The friction between the wheels and the ground made a sharp scream. Zhang Yan covered her eyes, her face pale. Naturally, there were no accidents with the two cars, although Xiao Yang didn't drive much. He was still very confident. Seeing Zhang Yan's pale face, Xiao Yang couldn't help laughing out loud. Racing is fun. I was wrong, Don. T drives so fast on T joke with your life. I thought you liked it. Xiao Yang laughed and slowed down the car. Seeing Xiao Yang's extremely comfortable expression, as if everything was under control, Zhang Yan's heart finally calmed down. In fact, Xiao Yang seemed as steady as an old dog at this moment. But he was actually very panicked. Damn, racing is so exciting. For the sake of your own safety, please refrain from doing such things in the future. Looking at Xiao Yang, who was as calm as water, Zhang Yan couldn't help but pat him. You are so bad. You are deliberately bullying me. You were the one who wanted to race. The car stopped next to a small lake. Xiao Yang let out a long sigh, opened the sunroof, put down the car seat, and lay down on it. Are you happy? Xiao Yang suddenly asked. Happy? Zhang Yan's eyes curved. This is the happiest day of my life. Zhang Yan added silently in her heart. Xiao Yang, I like you. Zhang Yan suddenly spoke. This time, Xiao Yang was confused. When I turned around, I saw that the other person turned her face away, and her delicate neck was covered with a blush. Bite. A clear voice sounded in my mind. Mission D. Zhang Yan's confession. Option 1, accept the confession and receive a reward of 1 million yuan. Option 2, refuse to confess, reward 5 million yuan. Chapter 29. I'm leaving. It was still a familiar task. This time, Xiao Yang did not complain in his heart that Zhang Yan was only worth 4 million. Because it was different from the previous two confessions. Xiao Yang could feel a different flavor in this sentence. I like you. Xiao Yang made a decision quickly like the previous two times, but raised his head and glanced at Zhang Yan. Zhang Yan's face was turned sideways. Under the sunlight, the crystal clear earlobes looked particularly charming. There was silence for several seconds. It felt like a century had passed in the car. Just then, a blue and white bird fell from the skylight. Scum. The shouting was a bit noisy, breaking the silence in the car. What kind of bird is this? It's so pretty. The bird landed on Zhang Yan's shoulder and pecked at her clothes, as if looking for food. Zhang Yan looked at the bird curiously, as if nothing had happened just now, with a smile on her face, looking extremely happy. Xiao Yang suddenly laughed, and laughed happily. It's called a magpie. So this is the magpie. Zhang Yan smiled with her eyes curved. The magpie didn't seem to be afraid of Jiang Yan and walked back and forth on her shoulders. Jiang Yan stretched out her hand, and the magpie climbed onto her palm again. For some reason, this time, Xiaoyang felt that Jiang Yan was more like a fairy. A very beautiful and charming fairy. Perhaps the magpie did not find what it was looking for, and soon flapped its wings and flew away. Inside the car, Xiaoyang was staring at Jiang Yan in fascination. "Ghost Jiang, you are really pretty," Xiaoyang suddenly said. But after he said it, he quickly realized that he had actually called out the name in his heart. And this was just what he really thought, he didn't expect to say it out loud. Jiang Yan smiled. "I think so too." She glanced at Xiaoyang and suddenly said, "Can I hug you, Xiaoyang?" It was rare that this time, there was no mockery in Jiang Yan's eyes as before. And this time she seemed extremely serious. Xiaoyang nodded. Jiang Yan was somewhat happy and leaned down to snuggle in Xiaoyang's arms. "Xiaoyang, let me tell you a secret." "What secret?" "Actually, my family is very rich, even richer than you," Jiang Yan said. Xiaoyang was stunned for a moment. A little surprised. In his opinion, he should have 10 million in cash now. How much richer must he be if he is richer than me? "Then you still want to lend me money?" "No, I have to charge more interest," he joked. "Okay." Jiang Yan rubbed against Xiaoyang's arms like a coquettish kitten. "I'm leaving," Jiang Yan suddenly said after a long time. "I know," Xiaoyang nodded. "It was just a chance encounter. So how could we not part?" But at this moment, for some reason, Xiaoyang felt a little reluctant. "It's only been 2 short days. I mean, we may never meet again in the future." Jiang Yan looked up, and there was a trace of mist in her eyes. Xiaoyang suddenly felt a little pain in his heart. But he didn't say much, and even said with a smile, "Really? Well, it should be." Silence. Still endless silence. I don't know how long it took, but Xiaoyang's hand gently fell on Jiang Yan's head. "I stroked it like I was stroking a well-behaved kitten." "No, to be precise, it's a goblin." "Let's go back," Xiaoyang suggested. "Okay." Jiang Yan stood up reluctantly. "Don't drive too fast," Jiang Yan said with a smile, as if she was still a little scared. Xiaoyang nodded. This time, the car drove very slowly. He didn't ask Jiang Yan why she left, nor did he ask why they might never see each other again. Even the sound of 5 million arriving in Xiaoyang's account did not cause any ripples in his mind. On the other side, Jiang Yan turned on her cell phone. "This time, I won again. Note above, King Xuan Tong. I moved into Xiaoyang's heart before you did." "Did he accept your confession?" "No." "And what the hell are you talking about, you damned goblin?" Hey. Jiang Yan turned off her cell phone, took off her shoes, stood on the passenger seat, and stuck her head out of the sunroof. The car was not driving fast, and this time, Xiaoyang did not scold her. In Galing, the cell phone suddenly rang. "Hello? Xiaoyang? It's me. I am Xiao Yu. It's brother Yu. I heard from my mom that you are getting married. Congratulations. Don't worry, I will definitely be there tomorrow." "Xiaoyang. I'm not getting married tomorrow," Xiao Yu's voice came. "Ah, what do you mean, not getting married again?" Xiaoyang was stunned. "Your sister-in-law no, Lin Yan's parents put forward some conditions, which I can't meet so." Xiao Yu's tone sounded somewhat helpless, and it could be heard that he still liked Lin Yan very much. "What conditions?" Xiaoyang was a little confused. "It's hard to explain in a few words anyway. I'll just let you know so that you don't have to come here for nothing tomorrow." No, don't be anxious. How about this, you wait for me at home. I'll be there soon," Xiaoyang said hurriedly. His cousin Xiao Yu was his childhood playmate. He was only a few years older than him and was an honest man. Xiaoyang knew Xiao Yu very well. He knew that Xiao Yu was a little bit stupid and his tone was not right. So he was afraid that he would do something extreme. This place is not far from Xiao Yu's home, only a 20-minute drive. So Xiaoyang immediately drove directly to Xiao Yu's home. "What happened?" Jiang Yan sat back in her seat, fastened her seatbelt, and asked. Xiaoyang briefly mentioned the general situation. 20 minutes later, Xiaoyang's car stopped in front of Xiao Yu's house. My cousin Xiao Yu was sitting at the door at this time, wearing a suit and looking a little depressed. There were a few friends standing around, constantly saying words of comfort to him. "Xiaoyang, you're here." Several people also knew Xiaoyang and greeted him. "What happened?" Xiaoyang asked. "It's Lin Yan's parents. They said they were going to take wedding photos today and booked a banquet. They asked Lin Yan's parents to come over and take a look in advance. As a result, her parents suddenly asked for a dowry of 300 yuan, and also said that they wanted $1 million luxury car as the wedding car. The Bentleys from the rental company would not work. Don't even mention the 300,000 yuan betrothal gift. The key point is that we can't find such a luxury car. Or getting married tomorrow isn't this embarrassing," several people nearby explained. When Xiao Yang heard this, he frowned. This was indeed a bit embarrassing. He even had some doubts as to whether Lin Yan's parents looked down on Xiao Yu and therefore made such a request in order to deliberately ruin the marriage. Is that so? Xiao Yang looked at Xiao Yu. Xiao Yu sighed. What did Lin Yan say? Of course she doesn't mind the betrothal gifts, wedding cars, etc. She is still trying to persuade her parents in the house. But her parents won't agree now. Where am I going to get $300,000 in a luxury car? Xiao Yang glanced into the room and saw a young girl trying to persuade a middle-aged couple. It can be seen that Lin Yan was very embarrassed and her eyes were a little red. It's okay, leave it to me. You notify the others and the wedding will go on as usual. We will definitely get married tomorrow. Seeing this, Xiao Yang thought for a while and spoke. Do you have a solution? Xiao Yu looked up suddenly, with more hope in his eyes. Xiao Yang, can you borrow a car? No, even if I can borrow the car, I don't have 300,000 yuan for the betrothal gift. I can't borrow a car. Xiao Yan shook his head, but I can buy one. Ah? Everyone was stunned. Xiao Yan patted Xiao Yu's shoulder, turned around and walked into the house. Chapter 30. I bought this car. Uncle, aunt, hello? As soon as Xiao Yang entered the house, he greeted Lin Yan's parents. Behind, Zhang Yan followed closely. Who are you? I'm Xiao Yu's cousin. My name is Xiao Yang. Hello, are you here to persuade us? Father Lin glanced at Xiao Yang and smiled. You look quite energetic, young man. Thank you, Xiao Yang smiled. But I'm not here to persuade you. Oh, the two were a little surprised. Xiao Yang sat down and said, I think your request is actually quite good. After all, marriage is a lifelong event and we should prepare well for it. I've raised my daughter for so many years, and now she's ready to marry me off. As the saying goes, a daughter who's married is like water spilled. This is the only time she can enjoy the glory. Don't you agree? After these words fell, Lin's father and mother laughed and nodded repeatedly. Yes, Xiao Yang, you are right, that's the truth, isn't it? After all, we are old, and we only have Lin Yan as our daughter. You said she is married, so we have to pretend to take care of her in her old age. Our family has always been respectable just like you said. This is only a chance for glory. The next time we get to shine might be when we both step into our coffins. Mom, what are you talking about? Lin Yan glared at her mother. They don't mean to look down on Xiao Yu at all, but this is a big marriage. So we have to be more reliable. I know that our request is a bit excessive, but isn't it also for the good of our Yanzi? If Xiao Yu can't even solve this one thing, then what will happen if Yanzi is wronged in the next few decades? Yes, you are right, Xiao Yang nodded repeatedly. When Xiao Yu, who had just entered, heard this, he was dumbfounded. Is this cousin of mine here to help or to sabotage? It sounds like he is here to sabotage. Actually, the wedding car is easy to get. Let me do it. Xiao Yang patted Xiao Yu and said. You do it? Xiao Yu was stunned. Leave it to me, Xiao Yang said with a smile. Let me make it clear first, we don't want to rent a car from a rental company. They have been used many times before, which is unlucky, said Lin's father. I know that the car I found for you is definitely not a car from a rental company, Xiao Yang said with a smile. Well, seeing is believing. Hearing is deceiving. Why don't you come with me to take a look at the car and see if I'm lying to you? Xiao Yu was confused. What did this mean? However, Lin's father and mother looked at each other and immediately nodded in agreement. Okay, let's go together. Who else among you is driving? I opened it, said a friend. Several people came here by car, which made it easier. Xiao Yang returned to his car, and Zhang Yan was still sitting in the passenger seat. Perhaps Lin's father and mother thought Xiao Yang spoke nicely and liked this child very much, so they got into Xiao Yang's car. Wow, Xiao Yang, your car's interior is nice, Father Lin said with a smile. Not bad, Xiao Yang replied with a smile. It will cost at least $200,000. Yes, cars are expensive nowadays, Xiao Yang responded casually. Zhang Yan couldn't help but patted Xiao Yang with a smile. You are so bad. Xiao Yang smiled. Yes, when the two of them first met, I told Xiao Yang that this car would cost at least 70,000 or 80,000 yuan. He also said that it would be at least 100,000. There's not a single word you say from the truth. Zhang Yan cursed in a low voice. Okay, let's go. Xiao Yang asked them to fasten their seat belts, stuck his head out of the window, and said, Brother, you follow me. Okay. There were 3 cars in total, and they arrived at their destination half an hour later. Maserati Ford's store. After getting off the bus, everyone was full of doubts. Xiao Yang, why are you here at the Ford's store? Why don't we bring the uncle and aunt to have a look first? We're afraid that we've chosen the wrong car and they won't like it. So we need to confirm it, Xiao Yang explained. Zhang Yan, on the other hand, understood Xiao Yang very well and nudged him in the stomach with her elbow. You're not going to give me a car. Are you a goblin? Or a worm in my stomach? Xiaoyang touched Zhang Yan's little head, which felt great. The latter frantically straightened her hair with her hands after Xiaoyang stopped. You messed up my hair. Now that they were here, everyone followed Xiaoyang into the force point. Outside the door, many sales staff had already noticed this group of people. As sales employees of Maserati, they have basically seen all kinds of people, but after seeing the cars driven by Xiaoyang and his group, they all lost interest. The cars they sell here are basically luxury cars worth over $1 million. Those who drive this kind of car have limited purchasing power and probably come here just to take a look. At this time, a young man came up. Hello, welcome to Maserati Force store. Hello, we came to take a look at the car, you can take it for a look. Xiaoyang directly stated his purpose. Okay, please follow me. As he spoke, the young man led the way. This is a Ghibli series car. When designing this car, safety is our first consideration. This model has passed the EU New Car Assessment Test Euro and CAP 5-star safety standard. The salesperson began to introduce the product, and Lin's father and mother looked very excited and stared at the product. The price of this car is 760,800 yuan. How is it? Xiaoyang looked down at Lin's father and mother. 760,000, that's not appropriate. Lin's mother squinted and shook her head. But despite saying this, the two of them couldn't take their eyes off it because the car was so beautiful. Okay, then let's take a look at the others. Xiaoyang was very patient and asked the salesperson to continue taking them to see other vehicles. This is the Quadcopter President model. The Quadcopter President offers a comprehensive L2ADES advanced driver assistance system as an option, reaching the highest level of autonomous driving currently allowed. This is a super luxurious large sedan, which looks more majestic than other Maserati vehicles. For a moment, everyone's eyes were fixed on the vehicle. Lin's father and mother were obviously very satisfied, with smiles all over their faces. This car is so beautiful, Lin's mother exclaimed. Before Xiaoyang could speak, Lin's father spoke first. How much is this car for? Hello, this car is currently priced at 1.48 million. 1.48 million, Lin's father and mother gasped. When Xiaoyu heard the price of the car, he almost fainted. If this car is used as a wedding car, it would simply be. Mother Lin swallowed. When Father Lin saw this, he immediately said, this is the car, if you can borrow this car, we promise not to hinder the marriage. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiaoyu's face suddenly darkened. This car is hard to find. Even if you find one, who would be willing to lend it to you? Even if it's just a broken wheel, they can't afford to pay it back. Xiaoyu glared at Xiaoyang and let out a long sigh. You are such a good cousin of mine, giving me such a difficult question. Lin Yan glanced at Xiaoyu and whispered, if that doesn't work, let's elope. Let's go. Xiaoyu held Lin Yan's hand and shook his head helplessly. But at this moment, Xiaoyang suddenly spoke. Excuse me, this car should not have been reserved by anyone, or, if I complete all the formalities today, can I drive away immediately? As soon as the words were spoken, there was silence. Xiaoyu looked at Xiaoyang with shock in his eyes. The salesperson was also stunned after he finished introducing the car. He vaguely felt that something was wrong. He thought that these people really came here just to look at the car, and he couldn't help feeling a little disappointed. But when he heard Xiaoyang's words, his eyes flickered instantly. Yes, we can complete the formalities today, and you can drive away directly after paying for the car. He nodded quickly. Okay, then let's take this one. Xiaoyang nodded. What do you mean? I bought this car. Swipe the card. The voice fell. Xiaoyu, Lin's father and mother, and a group of friends all fell silent in an instant. The air seemed to freeze. The salesperson was just stunned. This is. Bought it? Buy it now? Chapter 31 Amazing Gift. Xiaoyang, you are not kidding. Xiaoyu was stunned. The others also laughed along. Xiaoyang, your joke is not funny at all. This is a car worth more than 1 million yuan, not a car worth more than 100 yuan. You have to think carefully. Xiaoyang is still a student, right? Several people knew Xiaoyang. Not only was he a student, his family situation was not very good, and it could even be said to be quite bad. But this is a million-level luxury car, how can you just buy it? Besides, even if you buy it, you have to be able to afford it. Zhang Yan, on the other hand, didn't say a word. He just held Xiaoyang's arm, and her attention was obviously on Xiaoyang. Luxury cars have nothing to do with her. Seeing this, the salesperson couldn't help but smile and said, Sir, you can look at the car at will. It doesn't matter if you don't buy it. I really wanna buy it. I'm not kidding. Xiaoyang was at a loss whether to laugh or cry, and took out his bank card from his wallet. No matter how suspicious the salesperson was of Xiaoyang at this time, he could only take the bank card and said with a smile, Please wait a moment. At this time, Xiaoyu shook his head and smiled bitterly. Xiaoyang, I understand that you want to help me, But this joke, is it too loud? Besides, this kind of occasion is not appropriate. Xiao Yang smiled and said nothing, just patted Xiao Yu on the shoulder. At this time, the salesperson came back and said, "Hello sir. Please follow me to pay." Xiao Yang nodded and followed. Xiao Yu was stunned for a moment, and said anxiously, "This is a joke if you can't pay, it's just a joke. Won't this cause trouble?" Lin's father and mother didn't say anything. They didn't know Xiao Yang before, they only knew that the young man spoke beautifully and didn't look like the kind of young man who boasted without thinking. But according to what Xiao Yu said, they were also a little worried whether Xiao Yang would get into trouble. "Why don't you follow and see?" "Good." After a few people discussed it, they followed. But before they could open their mouths to ask, Xiao Yang had already walked back. The other party was holding several documents in his hand, while Xiao Yang was holding the issued receipt. "What's wrong?" everyone asked, puzzled. "Lie. It's nothing, the car has been paid for. After signing the contract and completing the formalities, you can drive it home," Xiao Yang said with a smile. "It's already this time and you're still joking with me. Where did you get the money to buy such a luxury car?" Xiao Yu looked at his cousin with resentment. He vaguely remembered that Xiao Yang was not the type of person who liked to brag. How come he developed the habit of bragging after entering college? But when he finished speaking, the salesperson came up to him with a smile and said, "Sir, Mr. Xiao Yang has indeed bought the car and paid in full. Just as he said, you can take the car home after completing the formalities." When everyone heard what the salesperson said, their jaws almost dropped to the ground in shock. Only now did they realize that Xiao Yang had not been joking from beginning to end. And everything he said was true. "No, Xiao Yang, where did you get so much money? We in the Xiao family have never committed any crime. You should talk to me and tell the truth." Xiao Yu did not immediately care about the car. Instead, he pulled Xiao Yang aside and spoke earnestly. "Brother Yu, what are you thinking about? Don't you know me well? How could I do anything illegal?" Xiao Yang explained with a smile. "I started some business with my friends, and all this money was earned honestly. I earned it from business." Xiao Yu was stunned for a long time before he said, trembling, "Lie. It's better to go to college, you have a much better future than your brother." "Okay brother, don't think too much." Xiao Yang took the contract document from the salesperson and said, "Sign your name on this document now, and we can drive the car back." Signature. Xiao Yu was stunned for a moment, but he didn't even look at the document and signed his name under Xiao Yang's instructions. "What do you want to sign?" Lin Yan stood up and asked in confusion. "Xiao Yang, isn't this the car you want to buy? Why do you need your brother's signature?" "Yes." Everyone also found it strange. "Why do you want Xiao Yu's autograph? Is there something fishy about this contract?" Thinking of this, Lin Yan suddenly took the contract from Xiao Yu's hand and said, "Let me see it." She flipped through it, and the salesperson next to her smiled and explained, "This is the contract for purchasing the vehicle. Whoever signs it will be the owner of the car." "What do you mean?" Lin Yan was a little confused. Xiao Yang smiled and explained, "This car is a wedding gift I gave to brother Yu. This car will be registered in his name, so of course his signature is needed." "Ah?" Xiao Yu was stunned, and the pen in his hand fell to the ground with a clang. "Xiao Yang, you said you wanted to give me this car?" "Yeah, we are a family, right? Is it weird for a younger brother to give his older brother a car?" At this moment, everyone's faces were filled with shock. "This is a super luxury car worth 1.48 million. This is a luxury that most people cannot afford even if they work hard all their lives. Does this mean it will be sent just like that?" Mr. and Mrs. Lin also widened their eyes. They must have heard it wrong. Xiao Yang looked at the expressions of Lin's father and mother and said with a smile, "Uncle and aunt, this car will be used as the wedding car for tomorrow. Are you satisfied now?" "Satisfied, satisfied." The two elders nodded repeatedly. But at this moment, Xiao Yu suddenly stood up. "No, I can't accept it." Xiao Yu was an honest man. He could not accept such an expensive car given to him by Xiao Yang. "We are all family, although you are only my cousin. I always treat you as my real brother. Don't you reject me? Isn't that a slap in my face?" Xiao Yang said with a straight face. "This." Xiao Yu turned around and glanced at Lin Yan. Seeing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help but laugh in his heart. "That's it seems that brother Yu is destined to be dominated by his wife in the future." Lin Yan pursed her lips and said hesitantly, "This is too expensive. I'd better not take it." At this time, Lin's father and mother stepped forward to help their daughter make a decision. "This is a gift from your brother. We are all family. Xiao Yu, just accept it." Seeing everyone say so, Xiao Yu nodded, patted Xiao Yang's shoulder and said solemnly, "Thank you." Xiao Yang patted Xiao Yu's hand and looked at the two elders. "Since the car has been bought, there should be no problem with tomorrow's wedding." "No problem, no problem," Lin's father and mother said with a smile. They looked at Xiao Yu and felt that this son-in-law was much more obedient. They opposed their daughter's marriage before, just because they didn't want her to live a poor life. But now it's different with a younger brother like this. My life won't be too bad in the future. The other friends who followed him looked at Xiao Yang with completely different eyes at this time. They all came over and gave him a thumbs up. Righteous. Brother Yu, if there is any need for the betrothal gift. Before Xiao Yang could finish his words, Xiao Yu interrupted him with a wave of her hand. I will figure out the issue of the betrothal gift myself. You have helped me so much. If I let you pay for the betrothal gift again, what will I be? Okay, I won't get involved in this matter. However, the two elders heard the conversation between the two and immediately stepped forward and said, there is no need to rush about the betrothal gift. For the two of us, it is enough to have something to eat. Lin Yan is our only daughter Xiaoyu, please don't mistreat my daughter in the future. The whole family suddenly became happy, and it seemed that the issue of the 300 Zarayuan betrothal gift was over. On this side, everyone started chatting with Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang remains as low-key as ever. On the other hand, Zhang Yan, who was standing at the side, held her head high and chest puffed out. Her eyes were full of Xiao Yang. Chapter 32, One Day Couple Part 1. The processing procedures still take some time. Xiao Yang and everyone else sat in the hall. Xiao Yang, this is your girlfriend, right? When they relaxed, they saw the extremely beautiful girl next to Xiao Yang. This girl is so pretty, Lin's mother praised. You two are such a perfect match. Speaking of this, Zhang Yan shyly leaned closer to Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang wanted to say something, but the latter whispered in his ear. Xiao Yang, let me be your girlfriend for a day. Just today. A King Xuantong has done it. I thought Xiao Yang would refuse something, but he reached out and hugged Zhang Yan, smiling and said to everyone, yes, her name is Zhang Yan, my girlfriend. My sister-in-law is so beautiful. Lin Yan praised. Thank you. Zhang Yan immediately smiled and responded with a smile. The formalities are completed. By the time he got into the luxury car, Xiao Yu couldn't believe it was real. Seeing that Xiao Yu was about to say something, Xiao Yang hurried forward and said, okay, remember to toast me a glass of wine tomorrow. Right. Of course, Lin Yan affirmed, tears welling up in her eyes. Mr. and Mrs. Lin were also stroking the interior of the car with smiles on their faces. Xiao Yang. What's wrong, sister-in-law? Lin Yan pulled Xiao Yang aside. Thank you very much for this. Your brother and I will work hard. He will pay half of the price of the car. What you said is true. There is no such thing as giving away a gift and taking back half of it. Just think of this as a gift for your child's full moon. For your golden wedding anniversary. Anyway, when I go to your house and eat, drink and take things for free in the future, just don't gossip about me. Xiao Yang said with a smile. Lin Yan was also amused by Xiao Yang's words. Given Xiao Yang's current aura of being able to buy a luxury car without blinking an eye, when will he ever fall to the point of having to eat and drink for free? We will pay it back, Lin Yan said firmly. Xiao Yang stood where he was, smiled and nodded. Brother Yu was quite good at judging people. Xiao Yu and the others left. After all, the wedding still had to be prepared. It was already afternoon, and Xiao Yang took Zhang Yan's hand and returned to the car. I'm actually quite envious of Xiao Yu and the others. Zhang Yan suddenly said. Why are you envious? You see, although uncle and aunt are demanding, Xiao Yu and the others have noble people to help them, and the final result is good. When Zhang Yan said this, her face was full of helplessness. Seeing Zhang Yan's expression, Xiao Yang felt a little distressed. I'm leaving tonight, Zhang Yan suddenly said. So fast? Xiao Yang was a little surprised. Zhang Yan nodded, somewhat reluctantly. I should have known better than to intervene in Brother Yu's affairs later. Xiao Yang sighed. You wasted a lot of our time. Hearing Xiao Yang's straightforward words, Zhang Yan burst out laughing. Now, Xiao Yang, you are my boyfriend. Shouldn't we do something that boyfriends and girlfriends should do? What are boyfriends and girlfriends supposed to do? The car has already left the Force store. Xiao Yang looked at the hotel not far away and fell into deep thought. Should we go to the pharmacy and buy some safety measures? Get out, what are you thinking about? Xiao Yang smiled and said, then tell me, what should we do? Oh, watch a movie, go shopping for clothes. At this point, Zhang Yan's face suddenly showed some longing. I want to buy lots and lots of skirts. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a bang, and the car instantly accelerated and flew away. Xiao Yang, what are you doing? This is downtown. Hurry up, Xiao Yang smiled. Along the way, the stars are twinkling and the lights are rippling. The sky outside the window gradually darkened. The night was beautiful. But for Xiao Yang and the others, the time for Zhang Yan to leave was getting closer and closer. When we arrived at Tidal Road, it was crowded with people, and countless couples were walking around hand in hand. Xiao Yang smiled and said, this is the largest shopping pedestrian street in JM City. Zhang Yan nodded thoughtfully, and as soon as she got out of the car, she habitually put her arm around Xiao Yang's arm. Xiao Yang took her hand. And as Zhang Yan was puzzled, he held her hand and interlocked their fingers. Xiao Yang rubbed Zhang Yan's head and said with a smile, "Buy whatever you want today." "Okay," Zhang Yan smiled. After talking to each other, they walked into the pedestrian street. "Xiao Yang, look quickly, what is this?" Xiao Yang leaned over and felt a chill in his heart. "Grilled insects, don't look at it." "No, I haven't eaten it." "Don't eat. I heard it's high in protein." After watching Xiao Yang eat the white and tender insect with a frown, Zhang Yan was already happy to show off. "There are so many people here for this fruit tea. It must be delicious." Along the way, Zhang Yan never spoke. But her eyes curved, attracting a lot of attention. Of course, there are also some boys who rub their waists and secretly curse their girlfriends for their strong hands. Xiao Yang grew up in JM City and is familiar with every street. He introduced each store in detail, including some embarrassing things that happen there. "It's a hat shoplet, let's go take a look, I want to buy a hat." Xiao Yang nodded in agreement. In the brightly lit store, the people kept moving back and forth among the shelves. "This is beautiful." Xiao Yang looked over. "I saw that these were two hats. On one hat it was written, 'I am as beautiful as.' On the other hat is, 'I earn money to support the family.' Let's try it." Xiao Yang smiled and nodded. "Okay, put it on for me. And lower your head, you're too tall." Xiao Yang smiled, lowered his head, and took the hat. At this time, the two of them were one on top and one on the bottom, and their postures were extremely intimate. Their eyes met. Their faces were so close that they could feel each other's breathing on their faces. "This is too." Xiao Yang's eyes were as gentle as water. Zhang Yan turned her head away, recalling the scene in the car that night. "What a nasty guy. It fits you well." Xiao Yang looked at himself in the mirror and smiled. "Yes. Then buy it." A minute later, the two men walked out of the store, both wearing the hats they had just bought. "Let's go and look at some clothes," Zhang Yan said with a smile. "Okay." Xiao Yang took out his cell phone and said, "I'll make a call." After a while, Xiao Yang came back, and the two of them walked into the largest clothing store on the pedestrian street, hand in hand. Chapter 33, One Day Lovers Part 2. Zhang Yan looked around. Her eyes lit up, and she walked inside. Xiao Yang followed. "This dress is so pretty. This seems to be a parent-child outfit." Xiao Yang was stunned. "Yes, sir, these are indeed parent-child clothes." A Salister came over and explained, and then took out a small piece of clothing next to her. "This is a baby's clothing. The fabric is very comfortable and will not cause any discomfort to the baby." Zhang Yan's eyes lit up immediately. "It looks so good. So cute, and so small, so fun." Xiao Yang was choked immediately. "It's really pretty. Yes, I see you to like it very much too. Do you want to pack it up? We are offering a 20% discount on all items now. If you buy a set, you will also get 3 pairs of parent-child socks for free." The waiter brought out the gifts. A small blue sock. It's for the baby. There are also 2 pairs of socks in white and pink. One for men and one for women, both of which are cute. On the side, Xiao Yang was stunned. "I always thought Zhang Yan was a little goblin. Suddenly it became this cute style, this character. Is there something wrong? Let's take another look." Zhang Yan put down her clothes with regret. The clerk was a little unwilling to give up, and continued, "The quality of our parent-child clothing is very good. You can't find clothes of better quality than ours in the whole city." "No need, we won't need it even if we buy it," Zhang Yan said with a smile. "You don't have a baby yet? That's okay, you're still young. You can buy some to keep as a backup." "Not us." Zhang Yan glanced at Xiao Yang and smiled. "We are just boyfriend and girlfriend for a day." "No, just half a day," she added in her heart, with helplessness on her face. He took Xiao Yang's hand again. Let's go to the next one." The clerk stood there in a daze, looking confused. Boyfriend or girlfriend for a day? What is the relationship between these two? "Here," Xiao Yang looked at the clerk and whispered, "Please pack it up. Someone named Lu Xing will come over to pay and take it away." The clerk, who originally thought he had lost an order, was slightly stunned, and then immediately smiled. It turns out that the man is in love but the woman is not interested. But giving away parent-child outfits before even getting the girl, that's too confident. On this side, Xiao Yang also took out his mobile phone, secretly wrote down the name of the store, and sent a message to Lu Xing. "This little skirt is so pretty. I bought it. I want ice cream. Wait for me, I'll go buy it." Looking at the long line, Xiao Yang glanced at the big brother at the front and said, "Hello, can you buy me 2 more ice creams? I'll pay 10 times the price." Under the colorful neon lights, 2 people sat on a bench, each with an ice cream. Zhang Yan leaned on Xiao Yang's shoulder with a happy face and talked to him word by word. At this moment, the bell and drum tower in the distance suddenly rang. Boom! 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 12 o'clock represents the end of the day. On the street, everyone stopped and looked at the building not far away in confusion. This building is a landmark building in JM City. Generally speaking, this building is always brightly lit. But today, all the lights in the building were dimmed. The power is out? No way, how could there be a power outage in the middle building? That's right, if there's a power outage, it won't just happen here. Everyone looked confused. At this moment, Xiaoyang took Zhang Yan's hand and looked at the building. Suddenly, the light went cold. This towering building is arranged in a row. 1, 2, 3. Everyone was stunned, not knowing what this meant. At this moment, the lights in the building gradually turned into words that appeared in front of everyone. 3 days is the time I've known you. From now on, be happy and joyful every day. Wow, this is someone using the middle building to confess their love. I think I've heard that Songlu has this business. But I heard that the price for such a service is calculated by the second. And it seems that 1 second costs tens of thousands. Oh my god, this is too arrogant. Rows of words flashed. The writing disappeared. Zhang Yan, 2 big words suddenly appeared in front of everyone. At this moment, Zhang Yan was also stunned, her eyes full of disbelief. I like you. Until these 4 words fell, Zhang Yan could no longer bear it and buried her head deeply in Xiaoyang's arms. In an instant, Xiaoyang felt that his clothes were soaked by Zhang Yan's tears. Keep watching. Xiaoyang turned Zhang Yan's face around. Ah, isn't it over yet? Zhang Yan said with red eyes and pursed lips. Of course, Xiaoyang smiled, but cursed several times in his heart. Damn Lu Xing. When did I ever let you add the 4 words, I like you? At this time, passers-by were also filled with emotion and talked about it. Wow, Zhang Yan, who is this girl? So romantic. If a boy confessed to me like this, I would dig my heart out and give it to him. I'm so envious. Chang Nan, I also want to express my feelings in this way. A girl said, pulling her boyfriend. Ah, I have no money, said the boy named Shang Nan weakly. Everyone envies this girl named Zhang Yan. And this girl was also staring at the middle building at this moment. At this moment, a loud noise reached everyone's ears. It's smoke. Isn't it forbidden to set off cigarettes in the city? Everyone looked over and saw the lights in the middle building flickering. The sounds rang out one after another, and the lights seemed to explode, triggering the effect of smoke. Oh my god, you can even set off smoke like this. Is this the legendary e-cigarette? Oh my god, I've learned something new. The smoke lasted for a full 3 minutes, and finally, the scattered smoke gradually merged into words. Zhang Yan, be happy forever. Finally, the scene stopped. Zhang Yan had already burst into tears and held Xiaoyang's hand tightly without letting go. Xiaoyang, why are you doing this? Zhang Yan sobbed and gently hit Xiaoyang's chest with her fists. Xiaoyang was fine, he just helped the girl wipe the tears from the corners of her eyes. After a few seconds, the two hugged each other tightly. Amidst the huge crowds of people, it seemed as if no noise could disturb them. After a long time, the two separated. You said you would make me happy. Why did you make me like this? She pointed at her eyes, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Sorry. I'm leaving. Xiaoyang didn't say anything, but didn't let go. Just then, a man came running over, panting, carrying large and small bags in his hands. Damn it, you didn't send me the location, so I had a hard time looking for it. Lu Xing cursed angrily when he saw Xiaoyang. Aha. I forgot, Xiaoyang said with a smile. Yes, I got everything. Zhang Yan's face was full of confusion, while Xiaoyang took all the bags. Your gift, Xiaoyang explained. Zhang Yan took a package, opened it, and saw that it was the parent-child outfit that they had seen first. You bought it, Zhang Yan said in surprise. I bought it. Lu Xing cursed. Seeing this, Zhang Yan couldn't stop her tears from flowing. She looked at the other packages, which were all filled with the things she had chosen. So Xiaoyang bought them all. He was lying, he said he didn't want to be tired carrying everything. It turned out that he asked Lu Xing to buy them all secretly. Do you like it? Xiaoyang asked with a smile. Yeah. Zhang Yan nodded and suddenly stood on tiptoe. A peck on the red lips. Xiaoyang stood there in a daze, as if he was still surprised by the remaining warmth at the corners of his mouth. I has really gone. Chapter 34. Can you give me a confession like this? A person left. Xiaoyang landed on the spot. He doesn't know what it feels like to like someone. Maybe that's it. Seeing her happy makes me happy. No matter how reluctant you are. At the last moment you will just smile and watch from afar. Zhang Yan. Xiaoyang glanced at the hair in his hand. It was the only thing left of her besides her name. Xiaoyang sat on the bench. What's wrong, Xiaoyang? It's okay. Xiaoyang smiled and said, thank you so much for tonight. Nonsense, you have to worship me without me. There wouldn't be so many romantic things. I'm so exhausted. I ran all over the building and talked for a long time before they were willing to take this job. They were already getting ready to go home. And those stores. Damn it, I went to each one, and you didn't even send me the exact location. You just sent me the store name. Lu Xing kept on talking, but Xiaoyang just smiled and patted his good brother on the shoulder. By the way, do you know how much this trip costs? Lu Xing suddenly said. 3 million. Xiaoyang asked, puzzled why. 3 million was the amount he transferred to Lu Xing's card, which he thought should be enough. 2,483,221 and 36 cents. There are both zeros and whole numbers. Xiaoyang laughed. That's right, I made to point for million just from the Zhonglu show. Lu Xing sighed. You rich people really know how to have fun. In just 3 minutes, I spent all the money I was going to earn in my lifetime. Aha, money is earned. But you are wrong about one thing. You can't only earn more than 2 million in your life. Xiaoyang smiled.